Holy, are we slightly late? I mean, not really, I guess, but like, dude, it's just so early, man. It's so early. I'm a zombie. Alright, chat, we get to 200 subscribers today. Just kidding, that's impossible. Oh wait, I forgot to bring up my YouTube. Sorry if anybody's typing. I don't think anybody's typing yet. Alright, let's see if this long behind link will work for YouTube. YouTube. Yeah, I think it would like to see, dude. Alright, chat, who do we think is winning EU? Dude, that's just such a long league. You know, because it will pull north. I mean, that just sounds like Kobe. It might be over for. Well, let's see if we have GG's. I should do a top 10 finish. Good. Pull up the handy dandy notepad. Live. All right. Okay. Let's do final few top 10. Let's make some day 2 predictions real fast. We got 10 minutes. Let me tweet out that I'm live real fast though. Let's tweet out the leaderboard. I made a interactive tweet that I'm gonna reply to. We're doing new methods. All right. So Vino is down by 30 points. I think Vino will still win pretty easily. Then I'm trying to think what I'm trying to think what type of day Swizzy, Queasy, and Murstache are about to have. Because they're probably like the best, second best team out of off spawn. Like, I kind of want to just... I'm just going to low-key... We're going to do like a Hail Mary and put them second. And then we're going to put Vanya third. We're just going to... I mean, they died, what, three times early yesterday, 2 times early, and they're in fifth by 50, 60. I'm sleeping on Vanya. I mean, Vanya's team can be below though. If they get more zones than they did yesterday, they win easily. And then if they like if that team, I don't know. Really depends what that team's gonna do. How would Vanya be below Queasy? I mean, because Queasy's team is better. I'm taking the team that's better. Uh, I think. We'll say iDrop stays in front of Darm. I kind of want to say Darm finishes in front of iDrop, but we'll just keep these two in the same order. Not gonna lie. And then after that, it gets pretty wicked. Like Malibuca had a pretty bad day yesterday, and they're in 6th place. I feel like they could go up. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, I'm just gonna take the better teams, to be honest. I just want to like. There's no way they blunder that many games again. Taking a bunch of like weird fights early. iDrop is better than Mali. I mean, dude, Malibuca has 38 kills. If they just stay alive longer, like they're golden. Um, what's up, Yumi? What's up, Gino? Yeah, I just woke up too, basically. Uh, I think we say. I think we say Combat beats out Country because I mean they're just a better team and they're on Con now. Unless they end up getting Con. Teeny 7th. I think Teeny has low-key like a worse day today. In a way. Bro, I'm gonna respect this team, bro. Country's team, like I feel like they played really well. I wanna give them the respect they deserve. I don't want to drop them too far. And then, yeah, do we think Tayson comes back today or they finish? Do they finish? I mean, 10th place is kind of doable for teams down here. I think I don't think they finish top 10. I don't think they finish top 10. Dude, I feel like Yana should, but like, bro, I don't think I can type their name again. I can't let them fool me twice. I think we put like Tayson in 10th. I cannot get fooled by Yanis again. CZB top 10. I'm down to do CZB instead of Teeny. I think we're just gonna go the non-believe in Teeny route. I just feel like that's just not gonna go as well today. But I mean, it's Teeny, bro. Teeny's probably the best shambles player like in Fortnite history. What about Savage? You idiot. Yeah, bro, you think Mr. Savage is getting top 10? Yeah. Bro, if Mr. Like, I don't want to sound like that guy. But if Mr. Savage did not get that island win, they're probably in 20th. Like, well, maybe not 20th. They're probably like in here. I mean, it's doable for Savage, but like, what did they show yesterday to where I'm like comfortable putting them top 10? They had one good game. They had one good game, and then a bunch of like scraped together top 12s that they always have. Like this is just a scraped. Like these are all 4 shambles scraped games. They haven't played a single win game as a trio other than the win. You hit Unreal and Battle Royale and Reload, you're him, brother.
Make it to every single end game consistently, not deal with
I mean,
these guys
like
getting
you
taken by
got to
Surge
think
there.
about it
They
like
were
that
doing
too.
so
Panthers
much
like
damage.
first in damage or whatever he is, second in damage, and they've played one in game as a trio.
These guys were third. They had 9
He's
of
putting
them
up
yesterday in the
2018
mid-game.
Braun
They are
numbers.
fighting teams all around them on the map. They're playing so aggressively, and for a new team to
You don't think
grind,
Vanya will
that
come in
is so
second?
impressive. I hope it
I'm betting on
continues.
Queasy.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, particularly
having
impressive Demus, sort of his fighting
a
ability
clean
when it comes
day.
to these end games, early games.
Early.
Of course, they're uncontested at pump power.
If that's
they're
even
having to
possible.
make these fights happen, and I'm really, really impressed as well because
Do NA
it's
Final
all of
10?
their
No, I'm
first,
doing NA Final
finals
10 later.
performance. They've never made a finals like
You
this
think I'm
before,
taking away
so
from
the
my
lobby is just
from
that
my
much harder.
NA
The
my
surge
NA
is that
content
much
piece?
higher, and of course the pressure is that much more for each of these individuals. So the way they're just sort of batting that aside and saying, you know what, let's just play the way that we like to play, and not trying to sort of hunker down and try and say, right, we'll try and play for surge and try and just keep ourselves alive. They are really pushing the boat out, and I'm loving it.
Well,
I think Kwani and Shadow struggling.
Definitely pushing the boat out, and we are
not
used
really.
to this in Major 1 finals.
Like Kwani and Shadow are both like
is
right outside the
Mustache
top
Mini
10.
Miner. He's our elimination
They both just
leader
started
for
pretty
day 1 of
bad.
the
Like
finals.
Shadow started very
I
bad.
mean, we were looking at sort of the top 5 teams and sort of the highlights from each of those teams. And how could you talk about the 5th place team in Queasy's trio without talking about Mustache and his performance yesterday? Major 1 Mustache really showing yet
Bro,
again.
I
Just look
need
at
the picture of
numbers on the
Vanya,
screen.
bro.
Eliminations leader, damage ratio leader as well. And this is exactly the sort of performances that you need out of your individual fraggers, particularly when you're contested, Levin, because that's the situation for them right now. Maybe they're not making as many late stage of the end game as they'd like. I remember game 3
Like,
and 4 yesterday.
I only have
really
a picture
not ideal
of
for them, but if you're in a situation where maybe a couple of the
2
teammates
EU
are going
trios.
down, these
I've
sort
got
of
like
solo
6
clutches
NA
are really
ones.
what
I
can
have
keep you
literally
up on this
every
sort of
team that could
higher
win on
stage
NA
level.
a picture of.
No,
Besides
absolutely.
Clips,
You know,
actually.
I'm
I
a
don't have.
football fan myself, right? And in
I don't even know if
football,
they've shown
you
clips.
have this in a lot of sports as well. You have the players who.
Chad, they've had to have
who
shown
sell
Vanya
tickets,
in
right?
the
players who
in the
you
broadcast,
buy a
like
ticket to go
the
and
3
watch them.
pictures.
And Mustache is playing
Because all 3 of them
that
went to
guy
land
right now.
before.
He's the guy that you
Oh,
wanna
Marius
see
didn't.
because he is just so fraggy. He's in his element. I said
No,
yesterday,
no,
Major
not
One
no. I
Mustache
want
is
this.
back.
I want this
Look,
if they've shown it.
They're a bit behind in terms of the leaderboard of those other guys. Still in
Of
contention.
Vanya's
I think it's
trio
about
and
60 odd
who
points.
else do I not
I wanna
have?
see these guys continue to push, and I think Mustache is
Vanya
gonna be
and
the key
Queasy's.
part
They've
of that
definitely
push for
shown
this trio.
Queasy's. If we
I
have
mean, there's
Vanya and
so
Queasy's, we
many
should be
reasons to
chilling
be
because then we'd have
excited
like
for
the top
day
4.
2 of the Major 1
Then we
finals.
just
And
have to
another reason
assume
is
eye
our
drops
commentator,
doesn't win.
Carter and the best taco, so let's check in with them.
Hyping us up too much, Frankie. Thank you. But look, I want to give a reminder to everybody watching today of a question I've been seeing asked not only in the community, but also from pros on socials. And that is there still going to be a 1.5x multiplier on points
I know they don't
going
have a
into
pick of
day
Marius,
2
but they
of
should
the
have
major
Vanya
finals? Now, the answer
and-
is no, Taco.
Oh wait, they
It
might
is
not
the
even have
same point
Vanya since he
format
didn't
as
go to the
yesterday. So
unless they're
keeping that
using
in
like
mind,
his.
who do you think maybe can perform today?
Wait, Vanya's never
It's
win
less
either.
about who I think can perform and more so teams that fall just
Oh my
outside of
God.
that top 25 in the leaderboard, because that's where the prizing is going to take place, Takata. So for those
Are we
26th to
finished?
33rd position, today is all about
Yeah, but-
hustle, and I'm sure their desk knows
I mean,
all
maybe
about
he
what
went
these
to one
players
of. He
actually
went
need
to
to do.
something. I
So
think.
let's get on back.
I mean, maybe I don't know if they're using 2023s though.
Thank you very much, guys. One of the things that we saw players experimenting with yesterday was Surge. We've seen strategies change during the group stage, some people sticking to what they know. Mini Miner, why don't you talk us through some of what we witnessed yesterday?
Yeah, there was some big changes from what we saw.
We
in
got-
the
we
previous,
got
sort of
NA
stage of the
West
season.
chat in
Maybe
the
what we
chat box
expected
at
when you look at the
11
landscape
a.m.
of the meta. You of course look
man.
at some long-range assault rifles. You look at the sort of
NA
hit scan assault
chatter.
rifles. You think, right, this is
NA
going to be a
West
sort of
chatter.
surge-based meta. It is not that whatsoever. And this map right here just highlights that in particular. Look at all of those players that are sort of bunched together around that Seaport City area, around that Mars Meadows area, to the south of that as well.
Dude, if
So many
Acorn
teams that are
drops
coming in the third
1,000
party,
points,
and that means there's just so much space where there's
I will
no
get
teams
Acorn's
in
name
and around
tatted
the
on me.
middle of that area for those surge-based teams to
I'm
sort of
gonna
tackle
get
them.
a
That's the
swirl.
adaptation that we're seeing from yesterday.
Yeah, people
on my
are going to where the
like
action is. They're desperate
forearm.
for damage, and for all the teams in the mid map who want to sit in their little surge bases and tag away, it becomes a lot harder because there's just not as many people to take shots at. And we're seeing the impact of that really sort of almost annoy certain teams, right? Because if you are someone fighting off spawn, you're
Oh wait, I
instantly
need
at
to get
risk,
the
right?
thing
I
up
think
first.
instantly to my guy Queasy. Queasy always complaining about something on social media. That's what he does.
Dang, bro,
But
why is
was
he going
complaining
after
about the fact
Queasy
that
like
he's
that, man?
dominating the Frenchies off spawn. But then he has like a bunch of other teams looking to rotate in at Seaport as well, right? So, you know, they win against Skyjump and
Bro, I need to
but
start
then you
doing
have
a bingo
team
board.
coming in, and then you eventually get Vanya's team that will rotate
But
in
all
later.
of the
So,
like most troll
if you're
things
on a
ever.
spawn fighting team like Queasy, you have to finish
Like,
the fight quicker. There's even
Queasy
more pressure
complaining
to do
on
that,
Twitter,
'cause you know there's going to be
or
sharks
Bloodex
swirling
complaining
around
on
the
Twitter.
POI waiting for you.
Yeah, and the reason why the teams are
Or,
doing it is
like,
because they have to, right? The surge
getting
damage from
fourth
sitting in
place in the
bases,
game.
from sitting in surge towers is just not enough. And we have a really nice
Bro,
sort of
we'd
stat
hit
graphic here
bingo
to
so
show
fast.
exactly why that's the case. I mean, let's take a little look at some of the teams that, and this is the sort of percentage of their shotgun damage compared to their overall damage. So we see like Vico, Veno, Flixie, they're a team that are doing so much of their damage with their shotguns, literally sort of exactly as what we'd expect from that team. Box to box
I just
fighting,
need
as we saw
Vanya's
with
trio
the
and
soft
Queasy's
fighting,
trio.
and then contrast that with True
They've-
Lex, Chase,
they've
and
definitely
Chicho,
shown
who've
both
only
of them.
done
No
less
way.
than 1% of their damage with shotguns. They're
That's
trying to
mental.
do that, and it's just not working out, as we can see on the leaderboards from earlier on as well.
Yeah, it's funny, you know.
Pull up
Those guys
Photon,
are
let's
like
scan real
just
quick.
sat in
Chill,
their
chill,
bases,
chill.
and we saw a couple examples of them fighting and it not going too well. But I think again, you see the difference in playstyle there, right? Those top two teams in Veno and Teeny's team, those teams are fighting
Aren't
a lot more.
Viable
Like
and
you said, more
Pollo
box to
Old
box.
West
And
duo?
then you have the teams in Vanya and Idol who
Yes.
it's a mixture of both, right? I think they're looking to maybe get the tags from a distance, and if you hit a beam, if you crack someone, if you get a knock, then you pounce, you jump in, you finish out the fight with your shotgun. So finding that balance, finding what works based off of, you know, your surroundings and the teams around you.
Very quickly, Mini Miner, what are you thinking of these teams continuously, well, starting to, I guess, increasingly
Yeah,
use the
but
Typhoon Blade?
Is
with their
Go
boxes?
is Gotaga
Yeah, that seems to be
um
a real prevalent thing that we saw yesterday as
is
well. Of course, we
Gotaga
talked about how difficult
no
it is to
restraint?
get damage, particularly if you are a team that likes to play outside of the box. This is an item, this is an ability that you can use that gets you right inside of that box and allows you to stay and get above the Storm Surge threshold as well. It's just so much easier, Levin. There's a clip here from Sky, which we saw yesterday, and even this next clip just highlights how important it is. Look at this in the Freezy, 400 damage
I mean, we
below.
can watch
Quickly
that,
get inside the box, Typhoon Blade in, damage
like, game
dealt,
2.
easy, now you're above the Storm Surge threshold. So
Okay.
that's something that I wasn't expecting yesterday, but saw so much of it.
Look, I don't have much to say other than teams are going to find these things, right, where they can get advantages. In these lobbies, it's so hard to go against the Typhoon Blade when someone's shinging into your box. I heard the
Me,
commentator say
Whale
shing
next
shing
season?
more than I've heard it
GGs,
since
man.
Mongrel way back in the day, right? So, you know, that there was a lot of that happening, and I think we'll see even
Happen
more
to
of it today.
King.
Well, guys, we have run out of time because we've got to shing over into Game 7, so let's head back to Takato and the best taco.
Thank you, Frankie. Look, there's a lot of metas, a lot of shinging, but what I'm focused on now is going into day
Akira's
2,
team's
how
out the bus?
these trios have prepared. We had so many
Oh, so this is where
l'air
Nikoff
d'avoir-
is today.
D'avoir un très très bon drop là du côté de nos Français, on est obligé de se rabattre sur le côté gauche. Attention de pas aller tous au même endroit. Le
And
pistolet
this is
qui a été
probably where he
récupéré,
was
est-ce qu'on est
yesterday.
Premier. Non, oh, putain, on n'a pas eu le pistolet malheureusement.
Ouais, et on se prend des
Pour le
dégâts
moment, on
du
survit,
coup
on
en
essaie de faire un maximum,
conséquence.
malheureusement, on vient de se faire cut.
On va tomber malheureusement. Oh,
Ouais.
les mouvements, mais allez.
Alex Swiss. Non,
I
il
mean, they're just finished.
Il reste que Podasa qui du coup se retrouve un petit peu en 1v3
Dang,
là, sur
chat.
la première game. Compliqué
The
là pour le moment,
Polish are
du côté de la
coming
station, il est
back.
déjà down aussi en haut à gauche.
It's 4-2.
Allez Poda, tu l'as fait hier.
Ah, pour l'instant, j'aime pas trop ce qui se passe là, je vais pas te mentir.
Tu l'as fait hier mon gars.
Ouais, on
on
va essayer de live.
On va courir un petit peu, hein. Je vais voir ce qui se passe un peu du côté de
I forgot
Merstache.
about Queasy. Wait, Queasy might die off spawn.
Ah, y a pas de
Mon
kill
gars.
à droite.
Attends, Evaniac
je
c'est
sais
chill ou
pas
pas? On a même pas vu.
si-
That would like
Evaniac,
instantly
c'est
end our run
Evaniac,
here.
c'est chill, t'inquiète.
Our predictions would be finished. Game 1.
Ils vont aller res, je sais pas s'ils ont mis des gens internes, je pense pas. Mais ils ont quand même l'air de gagner le fight, tu vois, même si on... Eux, ils ont
Ah,
l'air
on avait
d'être
une-
dans
on avait une bonne position, ouais.
ouais.
Bon, Poda est toujours en vie de son côté. Je pense qu'on va essayer d'aller récupérer du coup les cartes un peu plus tard et réanimer. Forcément, on commence pas très
Combien de temps
bien.
les cartes déjà? 3 minutes? 5?
C'est 3 je crois. Non. C'est 3 ou 5.
Ouais. Bah,
Moi
en fait.
j'ai une
C'est
mémoire.
exactement les deux
j'ai une
propositions
mémoire,
que
non,
je
mais-
fais, c'est...
I
Moi,
mean,
j'ai un
they're
problème avec
insta
tout ce qui est
rebooting
genre,
Merstache.
data comme ça, toi t'as un cerveau, tu retiens tout. Moi c'est vraiment. Oula, pourquoi ça. Ok. Je crois qu'on était en train de se parler. Ouais, c'est 5.
The thing with the team that Queasy's fighting, dude, they're just
Okay,
so
so
bad.
right.
Like,
Poda, lui de son côté.
How are you in a
Anthony,
3v2
sur Poda, voir un peu ce qui se
and
passe.
neither of them have shield to their
Parce que
name?
c'est un peu barré.
And
Allez.
you aren't even like looking at them to try to shoot at them.
Poda, pour le moment, on est en mode full sneak. Hein.
Ouais, en fait,
Like, what- like, what are they
limite, est-ce qu'on espère
doing?
pas que l'équipe elle vienne backstab qui est un peu.
One
problème,
of
c'est
them
qu'ils
is
sont
literally
complexes aussi, cette
full
équipe-là.
dead. You have all three of your
donc,
teams.
Ralentir un peu le timing où ils arrivent. Ouais, pour
And
l'instant,
you're
les
not
gars,
even
c'est
looking
pas
at
qu'on va
them
donner
or
aux Polonais-
trying.
aux Polonais, hein. Clairement, début de journée,
Moins bien qu'hier.
ouais, moins bien
Après,
qu'hier.
on s'y attendait. Il fallait bien que ça arrive
On s'y
tôt ou
attendait,
tard.
les gars. Hier, ça fait quoi? Ça fait du 5-1 du coup au final?
Ça,
4-1 plus une fuite.
5-1 dans mon livre.
Oui, 5-1 dans mon livre aussi. À partir du moment où nous, on est sorti du spawn en vie, pas eux.
5-1.
I mean,
Okay.
Podesai and them are just so cooked.
T'as
Savage
l'air à faire
died?
toi,
Wait,
t'as
is Savage conned?
Allez, on a les cartes. Est-ce qu'ils sont sneaky
Wait.
sur nous?
Mais elle est déjà en 9, hein, je crois.
He's
Oh,
just
il est
on
pas
a
allumé.
delay.
Eh, mais du coup, tu veux faire quoi?
À l'allumer, justement.
Difficult recuperation that they're gonna have to go through to come back from this game.
Yeah, but more on that later. We'll just have to revisit and hope that they've been able to bring Murstache back into this game.
Oh,
because
there's another
right
team
now,
at
the
on.
focus is entirely
on
at
them.
Lost Lake. But one big shakeup here, Takata, is that we're not seeing
Hold on.
Cami, Seti, or Hari immediately battling up against Podesai's team. Instead, it's an entirely different trio. So many parties, I think, surrounding this area by Lost Lake kind of just recognized the fact yesterday, hey, why don't we just run over early to Lost Lake, where we know these two teams are going to be guaranteed fighting for what felt more like pride than anything else by the end of the day here, Takata. But it seems as though Cami and Frostroki's teams have realized we're not
Get a pred
trying
going?
to both
True.
suffer here simultaneously. Winning that off spawn doesn't necessarily mean you'll get to play out the match.
Yeah, I mean, we did also see 2 eliminations
We'll
on
do-
Camiseti, so looks like they might have had it their way. Issue was the third party, but look
We'll
at
do
the
who
picks,
does better
Darm,
between
Demus, and I
Vino-
mean, Bush here. It looks like they kind of are waiting for a rotate to come through, open up a potential elimination,
Vanya.
sneaky one, but by the brutal boxcars, looks like we've
Or
already had an
I
elimination
drop for
be
game
made.
one. Just in case
As the
Squeezy's
Frizzy
pretty
Lucia
shambles.
far away.
We'll do
I'm
Vina,
not sure if that was the
Vino,
trio they
Vanya,
got
and I drop
aggroed
chat
onto, but
for game one.
yeah, it was. It seems as now the 2 versus 3 isn't going to be enough for them to push yet.
Just
They've already
3.
picked off one. It was Starkus, I guess, that maybe got caught off guard in a
They didn't show
separate
either?
surge base and wasn't
GGs,
able
man.
to regroup in time.
Maybe they show him today.
A little bit of trouble here, though, for Nefrizi. This mountain span right over base tunnel outside of Brutal Boxcars. The problem is that some teams from the northern side of the map might begin to push their way in if they just recognize there's these two somewhat min-map teams kind of just caught up in a little bit of standoff here. Vano, though, just so looted up already at Flooded
GG,
Frogs.
bro.
And we heard it from Levin on the
I have
desk.
to get it on the
He
broadcast
said it himself.
if
It
they
doesn't
win.
feel like they were getting fraggy enough yesterday, which is crazy to think about considering the performances that we did witness out of this trio. But still, Veno.
Yeah, they
bright
probably don't have
early, First
Vanya's.
thing saw from him this morning.
probably not
I
using old
don't
pictures.
lose. The stakes have never been higher because when you're sitting in second place leading into today, it's a lot to live up to.
And just like that, it finally paid off. Demus, Darm, Pix, they were waiting for this moment. They were hunting
Oh my
for
gosh.
a player to catch him
They
off
didn't
guard,
kill
and
that
just
guy?
like that, they've hit those initial shots, but they haven't been able to close out on multiple eliminations. They picked up one. It's a 3 versus 2 now, as Monet
I
and
will
Loki are
clip you.
forced to disengage. One elimination is what they got from that. I mean, it's good, but to be honest, I think with that much of an advantage, catching your opponent off guard, they would have wanted at least 2, but could have ended a lot
Oh,
worse.
Mr.
We
Savage
go
is
back
fighting.
over to Mr. Savage, Margle, and Panzer, who are also in fight here, still at
Oh, they're at Shogun.
Solitude, and this one's staying in Storm.
On Shark. What? I
Mr.
should
Savage
have.
just
I should have
kind of
known Shark
hesitant
and them
to
were gonna
drop down,
blunder,
but
man. Why
once
did
the
I
body's
fall
been
for the
knocked, He
hype?
wants to go for the finish.
I knew
Panzer
it.
Beats him to it. Jew no longer a participant.
I knew they were
Shark
gonna blunder.
Still hunting around, but it might just have to be a full disengage. The
I knew they were
main
the frauds.
problem here, Takata, is that this was just
They
third-party
didn't
nation the
change
whole
his
way
name.
through.
His name is Z
Jew,
Fix the
Zandy,
server.
and Shark are giving no
It's
time
Zandy.
here, and unfortunately, that's just going to be
Surprised they didn't change his name. They'll probably
another
change it next game, maybe.
point that they've essentially missed out on because Ewik's team was the starting point as far as Shogun Solitude battles are concerned. Mr. Savage and them, they just took full advantage of the situation and watching these teams collapse on each other.
We pan back over to Seaport City though, as
Is
it looks
Peter
like
winning or Pollo?
Shakeoff
Probably
Momsy
Peter.
are
Oh my
still-
god.
Oh, no, you can't let that
How do they
happen.
all fall to their
As he
death?
gets dropped down, Shakeoff on the ground now, crawling, as his teammate's gonna have to come pick him up. But is that gonna be enough? Are
Oh,
they
they're
gonna be
dead.
able to defend themselves
just
off
threw
from
their
the
game.
aggression that's gonna come from that knock? As now the pressure's on. Defense has started. I drop Sky, Scroll, looking to see if they can successfully third party, but Sky goes down, putting it back into a 2 versus 2.
Sexfully.
iDrop doesn't even have that much shield. Momsy's fully cracked, as they might even fully disengage. Scroll gets cracked as well.
Let's just ban
pressure's
the
on
little
them
kid now.
as they're gonna look to
Saying,
do a
I will
quick
clip
reboot
you in
potentially.
2025.
Yeah, without Sky, they don't have any other options. They want to make sure that they stay as intact as possible moving forward. But Seaport City has just turned into an absolute nightmare because another
they just
team has
insta-rebooted.
entered the mix. Convict, Mixon, and Blaha are not giving any rest to the Frenchies.
I mean, that was like
Momsy,
back-to-back
Skyjump,
selling.
and
Like,
Shakos have just been
you've got
duking it
him
out
selling to fall
from
damage,
the
and you got
very
Sky
beginning
just
of this
chilling in a
match.
box,
The reboot has
asking
come
for
through.
his life
Now,
to be taken.
iDrop trying to make use of those chug splashes to get his trio back and healthy before they potentially get into this next engagement.
Oh, Chicho
Blaha
got a
comeback.
kill.
Mixon are going to be in the
Maybe
elevated
Tayson's
position
gonna
with the
play
Omass
in-game.
coming through. Looks like they might want to fight this one. Taking the elevated position, another reboot coming through. As the fight at Seaport. It is absolute chaos.
Seaport's just turning into
iDrop
a...
overall though has better elevation in comparison to Blaha. He's just going to continue trying to apply some pepperings. A little bit of damage here and there.
I'm not gonna lie, I
Mustache
think the whole like
also
Acorn gets better on
a
day 2
reboot
thing, I don't think
survivalist,
that's
but
gonna be
He's got to be careful here.
a thing
Robin
this
knows
year.
This is a team that's a
I
little
mean,
bit
he's not
hindered.
playing with
They
cold.
had to go for that reboot deep north.
Oh.
Canyon's crossing, and yeah, that's just going to be
Dang,
an
Swizzy-
immediate disengage
dang, they're
sign
dead.
for Queasy. Whether or not he's able to
GG's
even
for
recover
that
those
second
reboot
place
cards
prediction, man.
is
Any
going
drop
to
changes?
be
Nah.
so problematic. A fully intact
Not
trio.
really.
They know just how injured Queasy is at this
I'm
point.
pretty sure
too.
everybody's like at the
Yeah,
same
I
spot.
mean, this is the second recovery that this trio is going to have to go through from losing the initial fight at Seaport to now losing a second fight after already rebooting one time, forcing Queasy to look for another reboot. I mean, he has 2 med kits. He has a water sprite now, so he'll be able to tank zone, but it's going to be a difficult comeback as we look at what Noah, Riley, Yanis, and Shap have been doing.
How many kills does Mongrel and them have?
Huge. Absolutely
3.
huge for Noah Riley.
They must-
but
Did they
worse
kill Zianda-
if you're Venya,
Zianda's full team?
considering what they're trying to
Oh my
defend.
god,
I mean, this is our
Podesai
team.
double
4
rebooted.
out of 6 matches yesterday, Takada. We saw them in that
That's
top
crazy.
3. They didn't even get a victory royale, and yet they were still
Dino
leading
just got a
the
kill.
day, heading into our day 2 of Major 1 finals. So Vanya fully understanding.
I mean, I don't think
definitely a
Acorn's winning
competent
grants
player.
because
I mean,
he's
we're
a day
talking
2
about
player. I'm
last
not
year
gonna lie.
even, Major 2 final success. And yet, here today, everything hinges upon these final matches.
Yeah, it makes it
Like, I think the whole
difficult having
day
that
2
much
gimmick
pressure.
is because he had
as it
cold.
looks like Queasy is going to be able to get a reboot. Is it
And
gonna be
because
both
they always
players?
needed to clutch up on day 2 because they were con.
As it looks like it might just be Swizzy. And this is going to be a tough one to recuperate.
The main issue is even if they
Now he has Pollo.
manage to somehow bring back
Yeah, but
Mustache,
Pollo, I mean,
actually, that's
I
not
just
even
think they're
going
gonna
to
be
be, I
more
think,
consistent with this,
in
like
the
on day
question
1
here
and
at
2
this
with
stage.
this
It's just more so.
trio.
I'm thinking about the
And
storm
in
sickness,
trios,
Takada, and
they're
the
gonna be a more
developments there for
like
Queasy and Swizzy. If they want to
consistent
play for
team
placement,
across
that's
both
not going to
days
be
than
easy. But teams that are
needing a
trying to
pop
avoid
off
dealing with
on like
storm surge in
on day
general,
2.
looking to get their fights in early here. Malabuka caught up with Nathan.
This is no surprise.
Like they're not gonna need the clutch.
having such
Like
a
they just
strong
need to play normal.
drop spot, setting themselves up with the amount of loot.
Like if they
to
do good again
take
today,
these
like what are you gonna
engagements
say? They
early
did
on
good
the
because
trios
it's
that
day
tend to fight
2?
in the
Nah, you're just
surrounding
gonna be like they
areas.
played
We
insane
have a
both
clip,
days.
CZB and Nathan.
Like a whole
They're
different narrative
elevated,
now.
but looks like they're a little scared here as they're gonna use the Oni masks to
You put him second, chill,
try and
bro.
get out of this
I
situation.
didn't
Malabuka
expect
look for
them
potential tags,
for Mustache to sell off
able to
Smonin, so
connect
I
a
did it.
couple,
We're getting sold.
but not enough to make them want to continue with that aggression.
But what's crazier to think about is all the side sprays that are coming in as well. You got teams from Twinkle Terrace. You got teams that are a little bit more central towards Foxy Floodgate even.
People have been talking about all season, like,
signs from
Cold's gonna win for the third straight year, first season. What about Acorn's gonna win for the third straight first season?
Teams just reminding him of where they're actually left standing. Mappy, Cade, and Cringe. This is a tough situation.
Wow, Mappy is so poor.
They're gonna need to fight their way out
This
of
is
this
the type of loot Momo would have if he was
anything.
playing in this lobby.
They need that refresh, but I mean, it's still kind of early on in the zones. They do have a fishing rod, so if they're able to
Landing
make
on
it
a
into
shack
zone,
somewhere.
they can recuperate a lot of that HP and shield. But without having, you know, minis, without having bigs, anything else, it is going to be a little difficult with the distance they have to travel.
Dig stole that
But
tweet from
it
me
looks like
yesterday.
after using
Momo,
the
I'm not
water
gonna lie
sprite,
to
it's
you.
put them back at a
I don't
healthy
even know why you
position.
make
They're
tweets
worried
like
now
that.
is getting enough mats
That's not
and
your
somehow
that's not
making it
your
safely
type of
into
tweet.
zone,
You're like
avoiding
that gets no
those trios
motion
that
for
are going
you.
to be holding them back, which then allows
Like
them
you
to
gotta
kinda
leave that
fish
type
their
of
way
tweet
in,
to
but
like me.
It's going to be more of a long match.
That's
for
not
that
that's not
trio.
doing
As we
nothing
look at
for you.
Marius Pixie, who lost Vanya,
gotta stick
as we
to
saw
clips,
not
buddy.
too long ago. Now Marius with 0 materials.
Wow,
gets
Marius
knocked
is dead.
down, leaving it all up to Pixie as he's getting
First
shot at
place
as
is
well.
dead.
6 shield
First
to
place is
work
dead.
with.
Queasy's
Magic's
about to
gonna
be dead.
popped, and this is just looking worse
What
and
is
worse
happening,
for our
brother?
leading trio going into day 2.
Even if Pixie has material, it won't make a difference if he's not going to be able.
Yeah,
to
Broadcast
play this
is
one
turning
out
into
with the
solo
rest of his
FNCS.
team here. Takada
Vanya,
just stuck
Pixie's
on
solo,
Shattered
Queasy
Span.
solo.
Two teams separating him
I mean,
from his ability
chat,
to
Vico's
even
about to take
try
first place this
and
game, and
toy
then
with
it's
the
just
idea of
over.
moving
And
closer
they
to
got
zone,
zone, it's
much
over.
less being able to recover those reboot cards. And again, considering that we are looking at our
Who's
first
getting the
place
4P?
position team now essentially shambles.
I'm not
for the
gonna lie.
mid-game,
I
that's got
still
to
think
be
Peter's winning.
a
I kind of feel like they're gonna win
huge
easy.
boon, I think, to Vico's
I feel
overall
like
game
in a
plan with
way,
Benno.
Acorn is not gonna be able to replicate what they did
Now,
yesterday.
Malabuka once again
And Peter
continuing
is
on
gonna
with his
get better.
engagements. You can tell they've been hungry to
Most
not only
likely.
do damage, but also
I
pick
would
up some
assume.
eliminations. But you have to be
I mean,
careful,
Ritual
Malabuka,
literally
2 pumps.
had like
It's
the
gonna be
worst
enough
day
to
one
knock
of all
him down.
time.
Ping now forced to play
And they
defensive
played
here and try and pick
one
him back
in-game
up.
as a trio.
Meanwhile, Walk's doing what he can to assist as
If-
Akira
if
is
you
cracked
can
just
even
one
say
shot
that one
away,
game
but
was
so
them
is
playing as a
Walks, now
trio.
he has to make the decision. Do I get into the box with my teammates? Can I help them out
So,
in
like-
time? Yes, he can, as they are going to pick up those 3 eliminations.
well,
Akira,
Podesai is dead.
Podesai getting
I
fully
just-
elanded,
I feel like
and now Malabuka, Ping, and
Malabuka-
Walks are going to have time.
Like he
to
plays
continue
like a
back
lot
to
of
zone,
the
not
NA
having to
teams have
worry
been playing,
about
and
damage as
EU
much.
teams like fighting in zone or whatever.
Hey, we were talking
But like I
about
feel like the fights
strategies that
they
teams are trying
take
to
in
employ
zone
for
are
today,
like
but Shogun's
a bit
Arena
weird.
still seemingly a big part of that for Veno's trio, as they do manage
Like,
to play
everybody
not
fights
only
in
the
zone,
height
but they,
positioning,
like,
but with all
they
the
fight
action that's
very
taking
late
place towards
in
that
zone.
west side of the map.
Or
this
weird
is going to
fights.
be ideal opportunities for them to sit on top of that Shogun's Arena
Yeah,
now
Pixie's
and
just
just
a goner, bro.
look
He's
to
below
spray
with
all these
bandages to
scattered
his name.
teams around the edges of the map, really prevent anybody else from coming close.
I watched
Yeah,
I
speaking
watched
about scattered
Jacob
teams around the edge of the map. Pixie's still in zone now.
West
Gonna look
yesterday.
for the reboot onto his teammates.
like
as
if I was streaming, I think
it's
I
gonna
would just
kinda
do it. To be
open
honest,
up that vision for the other trios that are close by. Most likely will hear this reboot, and it could cause them to kind of hold them once they do make it to zone. So they'll have to keep that in mind when they're planning their rotate. If they need to take extra
I mean, Peter
time
definitely
to,
didn't play
spend more in zone,
the
get
best
those
we've seen him
materials,
play.
get that extra loot, but
he also was
Giannis
left
close
in
by
pretty
with no Rayleigh
unclutchable
Chap. We know the
situations.
fighting power of this trio, and now that they've
Fell
spotted
to
the
his death
reboot,
one game.
I don't know if they're gonna let it slide.
I mean, it's just like
two
it was just a
players,
bad
though,
day,
not
low key
even
for them.
just the one.
A
So
bad day that they
know
somehow made a second place.
just how
Old played bad, Ritual
the
played
loot
bad,
is currently
Peter played like
for
not.
Pixie's team, and they're really just trying
dominant,
to
like,
look
to
to
be
set
honest.
up in a zone engagement where they're just not going to allow this team to enter.
Savage has 4
Already
kills.
getting
That's
held by
good.
teams on the
Or
mountain
that's-
as well. Everybody
I mean,
has
if
just
they
got
want to do
their
good today
eyes
and finish top 10,
on
they need to
Vanya,
get kills.
Pixie,
so.
and Marius's current positioning, and this is. It's something that they can recover from to potentially
Cole
build
didn't
more
play bad. I mean,
placements
Cole
later on,
didn't
but
play
I don't think
great.
that this is like a winning position by any means.
I don't know if I'd say he played bad, I guess,
Definitely-
but like he definitely didn't
not.
play like we're
As
used
We
to
can take
seeing.
a look at, speaking of the top teams, what Queasy has been up to. From having to go for a
And
reboot
Queasy
as well
got-
to once again getting into
They
another
got
fight.
res just to
be
die
fair,
to the
give them
team
the
they're
props,
conning
they
off
made it pretty
spawn.
far from all they had to go
That
through
is
in
unlucky.
this match. So
But it's the fact that it's against
Okay, so
Mumsy,
first and
Skyjump,
fifth place
and
are basically
Shakos,
dead.
The team that's contesting them
If-
initially, and now all the way.
If
through
Vanya
fifth
makes it to
zone, and
endgame,
still
they deserve to win
continuing
FNCS
to
right
hunt
now.
them, continuing to just.
He was
be
a 100 below in zone
restricting factor,
with
or
nobody alive on
attempting
his
to at
team,
least, but they'll have to wait
and
and see what
bandages
Game 8
in
has
his
in store for
inventory.
them.
He has to
Venom,
be dead.
very happily, though, starting to poise in prime positioning compared to the rest of the lobby. With the way the zone is pulled now towards that northern side of the map, Takata, we are getting closer and closer to teams just being so
Lavesh,
prevented
what do you think
from
will
actually
win?
crossing these small
FNCS?
points of elevation.
I
Yeah,
think Vino's winning on EU.
You talked about it earlier.
They didn't get any
Vano was
zones
saying he wants to
yesterday.
be
They're
more
finally
aggressive,
kind of
but
getting a
they
zone.
literally had the most eliminations
First place
in
is about to
zones
be
2 to
dead.
5, so the
Fifth place is
mini-game
dead.
of yesterday as it's
Yeah,
continuing on
here's
forwards for
Pixie's
Pixie.
dead right now.
We can see how this continued low-key. He's
First
not
place
able
is
to
going
hit that
down.
Initial shot. Marius is now left alone as he's trying to clean up the rest of this engagement before Pixie gets finished, but Pixie is at just a sliver of HP. The clock's taking seconds before he gets eliminated. Loki does get knocked, but Marius has lost Pixie in the process, as Vanya is also just seconds away from getting fully eliminated.
We are in a
I'm not gonna lie, the only
two-tick
top
zone
team
here,
I'm a little
Takata.
disappointed in is
Marius
Kanada's
is
team, to
also
be honest.
underneath the
I thought they
surge.
would have had a much better
We
day
are
after winning
witnessing total
game 2.
desperation at this point. There is still another player above him. Lushi is not intending to let this one go at this stage. You're going down with me seems to be the mentality. And poor Marius, he's got no other choice. He's out of heals entirely. It's going to come down to who actually managed to get the siphon off the
I
other.
really don't see how
Yeah,
the
I mean, those
Mythic
extra
not being
points,
there
they can come in
affects him
handy
that
as
much,
Marius
but
goes right into it, confidence blasting
unless
through
it hurts their
as he picks up his
RNG,
third
like
elimination, but
it's a Mythic
now the solo
SMG that's
journey
like
back to zone.
whatever.
I mean, he's got the loot. Now a bit
In
of
a
damage,
mass.
got the mats, as I believe he's even gonna be looking for a potential.
And I guess
Ooh,
if
I
they
saw
never
some
had
players
triple
close
mass,
by.
it
I don't
makes
know. We'll
sense.
see. We'll come back to that later. Take a quick pause. If Marius is somehow able to recuperate this match for his trio, it's going to be absolutely insane. But Mongrel, Mr. Savage, Panzer, 4 Elans.
I mean, they got it back
starting this
today.
off before the late game, and
We'll
they're
see if they
still
make a
only
comeback.
83 above.
They've had a lot of success since their early venture from Bird into Shogun Solitude. The third
Yeah, I'm
party
gonna stream an A
opportunities
later.
definitely just opening up an avenue for them to continue trekking their way north. Here at
I mean,
Magic
they have
Monsters
4
now, though,
dude,
they've got Scroll
Panzer,
in their
I'm not gonna lie,
sights.
Panzer
Full
is
spray
doing,
comes through, not enough
like,
just yet, but the dings were so heavy from Panzer. He does successfully find that knock.
insane
The elimination
things for them.
claim, though,
5
elsewhere,
kills.
But they're trying to get to the body. They know that this is a weakened team. They want to try and break into the box.
Meanwhile, we have Marius who made it back to the edge of the zone, but it doesn't
Like,
look
he's
like
getting
gonna last much longer.
little to no
Being
help
13
from
below and 7 HP
Mr.
as he
Savage and
continues to
Mongrel,
get ticked here,
in a
doing
way.
what he can. Just 1
Like,
HP left.
when
Marius
it
is
when
gonna
it
go
comes
down,
to
so Mr. Savage,
in-game and
Mongrel,
stuff.
Panzer, with that quick refresh they got, bumped themselves 240 above the Storm Surge threshold. As now they should
Am I
start
doing West
kinda
today?
looking
I don't
around
really want
find
to, but I
potential
might.
rotations to get to the zone here, but iDrop, after losing Scroll, is now left as a duo on a lower position where he can't really see his
I feel like West
surroundings.
is
He
only
can't plan
ideal
that
to watch
rotate,
if I'm like
and
the
only
only
being
one watching
73
it,
above,
but
they're
that's
just
just
gonna have to only
not
mask in.
probably ever gonna
Trying to
happen.
play this end game though. Another one of our top 3 teams in that third spot specifically, but I drop Sky.
Because other than that, bro, I'm just gonna be at like a mid viewers watching replays, and it's just gonna be so boring.
Gonna be forced to crank up just a little bit though. So much of his hard material having been committed this early is going to make it.
I mean, I
very
don't really think
difficult
I'd
for him to
compete with
continue
Faxity
moving
that much.
deeper
But
into the center
if
of the
Faxity
zone,
had
but
like
at this
Faxity had
point,
like
he's just
4K
trying to play next
yesterday.
to Sky. He's just
But
trying
I
to
don't know if he
create
got hosted by Clips or
brief
whatever. I mean,
moment
maybe
of
that was like just how
relief
much he
to
had,
gauge
but
out
like,
whether or not it's
and
gonna
then
be
Ozzy
over
had
to
like
make across that
10K.
hill, but he doesn't really have much time to think. He just needs to get the damage on now.
Yeah, good news is they have that
Like,
water
that's just
sprite that they can
crazy,
place
man.
while looking for tags. Looks like he might have gotten enough with that crack, but in the meantime, he got cracked as well. As now
dude, the crazy thing is, dude, Baka won 4
above.
games and they have like a
It's
50-point
kinda
lead.
still on the borderline in these
Because they
levels of the
threw.
game, as you can see, and it just
They
half a
basically
second
only have
drops
4 games
instantly
played.
down to 49 below as they continue to look tags from afar, but I don't think it's enough yet to full on go into an engagement. The issue is iDrop has no more minis, no more bigs, no more water sprite, nothing to recuperate this potential storm surge. So As the clock starts ticking in Sky as
Well,
well
it's
as
like
Crack,
crazy. Like,
they're gonna have to make a bigger
I mean, I
play here
understand
soon.
why their viewers
They're
go up
just
so
gonna have
much,
to commit
but
to the low ground. That's where we saw them have the most success in yesterday's matches. Even that's where their victory
for my
stem from
like their
initially.
viewers scale up. Mine
Not saying
doesn't
that
go up
this
at
is a
all.
repeat
Actually,
opportunity
kind
here
of sad.
necessarily, but at least in the low ground, they can look to try and play backside, try and pick off somebody who's
Mr. Savage
worse for wear
died.
than where
Oh
they
my
currently
God,
sit,
can we
because
please
right
get
now,
Panzer some
in
help,
this
guys?
secondary height position, they're just drawing in the focus of teams that are already based up, already looking to try and ensure that nobody else has the opportunity to try and challenge them.
Storm closed now. It's starting to tick. Sky has just a few seconds left to his name, trying to make it count, as it's going to be all up to iDrop shortly here, as now with the siphon mats and 2 seconds left as well. iDrop needs a miracle to get out of this situation, as it looks like he is going to go down.
Yeah, I mean, that is
Good
true.
effort.
Fact City always
It
has
was
like
difficult to
Peter,
get out of.
and Peter
As we go
equals
back
viewers.
to Malabuka, Walks, and Ping, who are having
A lot of viewers.
legendary match with the amount of loot eliminations and everything they've gotten to lead up to this end game.
That
Even
was
still.
a massive jumping over shot, but Mongrel Panzer, disaster has struck for this team.
I mean, this team
They
is just
look like they're in
finished.
a relatively good position on the low ground, but now fully
They're dying to
shocked here,
surge
as Panzer holding
with
on to his
5
last little bit of HP
kills.
alongside Savage. They're trying to see if there's even a path forward at this stage, but everybody surrounding them just taking note of all these weakened trios trying to take advantage of
What
the
were
fact
they
as well.
doing
They could
outside
at
of getting
least
those
look
5
for that
kills?
revive onto Mongrel would be massive, but Panzer knows they've got to create space at least if
Do
they
they,
want that
where's
to come to
Mongrel
fruition.
at?
I mean, we talked about Merstash being the elimination
And they
leader.
just got
Panzer's
pre-edited.
number
Yeah.
2 in damage
Dude,
from
this is
yesterday,
so
but after
finished.
He goes down with his 5
They just got
eliminations, it's all
pre-edited.
up to Mr. Savage, trying to get ahead a good amount of materials, but the issue is damage, shields. He's got the fishing rod. If he gets lucky enough here, if he pulls some shield fish, some floppers, anything to put him back into
Wow,
the game,
shield fish.
it could be legendary with the shield fish getting picked up from the first fish. As now he's
Imagine
still
he gets a
87
flopper
below,
right
though,
here.
Taco. I don't know if he could just fish this
Oh
one.
my
out.
God,
I think he
shield
might have to
fish
just start
again?
looking for tags.
He's just fishing for placement at this point, hoping that the shield fish and the floppers
Yeah,
can
they
buy
got a
him enough
5 kill
time
12th this
that
game instead of a
somebody
2
else
kill
gets
12th.
eliminated
They're
in the
improving.
process. A small fry even just to give
They're
him an extra
actually
little,
improving.
touch of HP, but again, you're
Come on,
fishing
Savage.
inside of the first moving zone at this point, right? There's nothing.
Put that pole
left
in the
for him to
water,
do
brother.
Other than hope that more teams just continue.
He
to
gets
fall
one more
around
shield
him.
fish here and it saves
Will
him,
he be
and he
able
gets
to
win.
outlive
He
Surge?
solo clutches
Is
the win.
this the ultimate strategy?
Oh,
Night
he's
zone
so
fishing
cooked, man.
Gets the small fry
No.
now, forced to make the rotate, 1 tick away from being eliminated. It's all or nothing.
I
as
mean,
he gets
29
taken
points.
out.
I
Veno,
mean,
Vico,
that's
Flixie,
that's
though, looking to
something.
start off strong in day 2.
It's not
Already
nothing. At the end
tarping
of the
their
day,
way
that's
through the
not
mid-ground,
nothing.
And
Know what I mean?
considering where the day started for them, Game 7, Veno. a
Veno's
menace
also 60
with
below.
his Invis medallion,
They have
just
2
making
kills.
Sure to tarp
I mean, they'll be
through
fine.
all of the secondary height. It's only a matter of time before they look to
Are they gonna look
challenge
for- oh, they're
ultimate
looking
high
for a
as well
pre.
in Takata, but they are clearing out
That-
the
that's
teams
enough.
behind them, the teams that aren't so fortunate
F it, just go
enough
for height.
as far
That's
as
your
their loot
surge.
is
Kill
concerned
the
to
team
be
on
able
height.
to
That's
actually
400
charge their
surge.
way forward. And Veno,
Kills, match,
he's just
high ground.
ready to pounce.
You can see how effectively they're able to look for those tags, look for those refreshes when they're in desperate need. But Demas picks Darm, the trio in their first ever FNCS Major Finals, showing how aggressive, how confident
Oh my gosh.
they're still able to be, coming from yesterday on
Oh,
fire.
Veno did go for high. He
Now,
took my
Veno,
strat.
Vico, Flixie are making
He
the play
listened to my
for
strat. The surge is on the high
Veno's
ground.
already taken it. The other team pushed down.
Free
He's gonna
surge.
give a little bit of backup here to Flixie, who's caught up in a bit of a sticky situation, but it's no problem. He's got it all under his thumb. Hijo gonna be the
All right,
next
Veno's
victim
on
here,
height. They have
potentially. He's just trying to
literally
stay
0
safely
builds,
concealed in that
but
secondary height layer, but
no way
Veno,
he's going for
he
that.
knows
I mean, I
there's a
guess he has
body
3
behind
chugs.
him. He knocked it earlier. He's gonna go claim the loot even. Make sure he has as many mats as possible. In the low ground though, Malabuka fighting for his life.
in the trenches.
Oh
just
my
7 builds to work
gosh.
with, but he hits a huge pump. It's
Malabuka
gonna
has
give him that
10
siphon
kills
needed to
again.
last just a
The
bit
bad thing
longer.
is, like,
The
what if
materials
they
to
could
tarp
get
ahead as
another
Davis,
8th place.
Pix, and Darm continue to
If they
claim
can just
their
get
ground
top, like,
on low.
5s,
Rex
top
gets
4s
taken out.
with
All
this
they
many
have to do
kills.
now is stay ahead, claim space, but the issue is Davis has no mats. He needs to find some for his IGL, for his Tarper. He needs to hunt for some sort of refresh. All the good news is though,
Oh,
they
they
were
got
able to
four-
make
I
it
mean, they
ahead,
got
but
4th.
Malabuka is gonna go down.
They have 84 points. And they just got absolutely slammed by Vino. Vino has 11 kills. This is about to be like a 14 kill win. Yeah, it's over. Vino is taking the lead, and they're never turning around.
As his team goes down one by one. Pix is low on shield. Venom,
Wait.
though, in the blink of an eye, they had 2 eliminations.
Oh
And
yeah.
all of a sudden,
Wait.
they're in double
1v
digits, and Vico
1v1.
picks up another one, looking for the last one on Demas as he has 4 splashes left.
Oh my God, Vino has
Forced
no
to go
mats.
into zone here, tank a bit, look for a potential angle.
Oh, he just got
on his
invis
last
coin.
opponent. Medallion's gonna be
That's
picked
win
up. He can
condition.
turn invisible now. It's a 1 versus
Whoop,
1.
he just
Demas
got
looks for the
invis.
angle, drops down low as Vico looking
He's
for
got
any
50
possible
builds. Oh, it's
connection,
Vico.
gets
It's not
back
even
on high
Vino.
ground, but all it takes is one big shot.
Yeah, Vico wins this.
The difference here is Vico.
This would have to be like he's nervous. There's no way though. I mean, that's just free. No builds. GG's. 15 kill win. 15 kill game 1 win for Vino, Flixie, and Vico. They have a 50-point lead. I fear it's over. They have a 50-point lead now. If they keep getting zones, I fear it's over. So they're on 468. They have a 55-point lead. Pix is in second. Vanya's third. Ping is fourth. And Contri is in fifth. iDrop drops down to sixth. Swizzy drops down to seventh. Mongrel and them just somehow keep staying around this spot. I mean, I guess they got 30 points that game. That's not bad. You call Demas a random tier 3 trio. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 dude. Whoa, 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 dude. Let's have some respect for the predictions, please. I was one of the highest believers in the trio heading into grand finals. I have them getting 5th, I think, on both. I think I have them getting 5th today. Oh, 6th today. But we're already finished, bro. Queasy's already finished us. We're cooked. Queasy almost has no chance. He's 2 games behind. Maybe 3 games. Queasy's finished for... I mean, I guess we have Queasy second. It's not like we need him to win, I guess. Still could maybe get second. Needs a great finish. Dude, I just can't believe Mongrel and them are just scraping by in 11th every time. Every time we go back to the leaderboard, they're just somehow at 11th. I mean, I guess they're playing an 11th. I guess they're getting like 11th every game. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. They have a 40-point lead on 12th. They might finish 11th. If they learn how to play in-game, they could get 10th or 9th. Which is somehow... Dude, I'm not gonna lie. If they get 10th or 9th place, like, that would blow my mind. Like, they just got 10th or 9th, not playing a single in-game. Like... Or like, top 5 outside of winning. Like, they could literally... Like, if they fix that next season if they play, which I don't think Panzer should play with them again, to be honest. But Panzer could probably get like a good trio, like a upgrade somehow. Maybe not. I mean, Panzer clearly is like him, I guess. He's like Malibuka 2.0 or something. He's looking pretty teed, and his teammates are not really giving him much here. All right, who won the prediction? Oh, Vino won the game. All right, chat. Let's do who wins off spawn. It is 4-2 France. Cami Setichari or what do I have? Akira Podosai X-Sweets chat. Predict. Who do you think wins off spawn? We'll watch it from the Gentlemates broadcast here. We have Cammy or Akira's team. It is France versus Poland. It is 4-2 from the official scorekeeper, Drizzy. 4-2. Game 5 yesterday doesn't count. Mickey Mouse. Who to pred on? I mean, Cammy's won 2 in a row technically, so Cammy has the momentum right now. 2 in a row for Cammy. Did I see Resub's tweet about Demis? Bro, I feel like Resub's been glazing that trio. That and the one like freaking Denmark guy. A wee bit of glaze. Does Peter drop a masterclass? I say he's going 5 out of 6. I mean, if Peterbot wins 5 out of 6 games today, I don't even know. I retire. I better be right. Oh, I mean, I didn't tell you to put points on Cammy. I would never put points on the Polish Hoff spawn. That is a donation waiting to happen, brother. You're putting your hard-earned channel points on a Polish team to win off spawn in Fortnite? GG's. Bad betting. That's bad bets. That's like hoping I don't even know. That's like betting on the overs of like frickin' Jonte Porter.
Même, tu sais, c'est une game, t'es dans le gaz.
T'es dans la merde, ouais. Tu cours
Et
après une
Mersage,
situation.
même game. Genre, ils sont.
Il perd juste Mersage.
Ils perdent juste numéro spawn, ils partent du spawn, ils réaniment, et pareil, la même game que
Tu
Poda.
cours après le loot, tu cours après la zone, tu cours. Ouais, ok, d'accord.
Ah, notre écran était violet tout le.
Alright. They have 55K, dude. GG's. 5K viewers is weird. What is this? What is what? What is this? This is the Gentle Mates broadcast. They watch like Nikov. But it's Gotaga stream today. Gotaga's the org owner. So we're just vibing out. Where's Tayson? Tayson's dudding, bro. I fear Tayson might be finished. FNCS. 18th. Tayson is about to get another 15th in FNCS. At this point, he might as well get 15th, just to like keep getting 15th, I guess. Foxy just sucks. I mean, everybody's got that one excuse every season. You know what I mean? It could suck, but it could also make it work. I was hearing Foxy's underrated all season long, but now it's all of a sudden it sucks.
Welcome back to day 2 of
Bucky
the
isn't
FNCS
doing well either.
Major
Yeah, but that's
1
Bucky,
finals,
though.
and Europe is truly representing today because we just witnessed.
If we're weighing Bucky and Tayson here on like a rating scale, I fear they'd be pretty different.
And Demas, and there's plenty more to talk about from this game. One of the things I want to draw people's attention
I mean,
to
I
very
don't
quickly
think
is
Foxy's
the
that
top
great,
5
but like
is surely
other
left
people have
wide
been trying to
open
tell
now
me
because
Foxy's
actually
good.
3 of our
I don't
trios
think it's
who were
good.
in the top 5 at the
I've
end of
always
day
been
1
saying it's like
actually
very
went down
weird.
early. So we
It's very
lost
spread out.
Queasy's
Doesn't have a
trios,
lot of
Sky's trio,
like
and
chest
Foxy's
or
trios,
ammo
and as you can
boxes.
see, that's clearly had
If
an impact
you
on
don't
the
get up
standings
to
for
the
the
mountains, teams are gonna get up to those mountains and farm you, and that's what happens. It's just a very awkward,
You can even
weird
see, look, the top 5
drop.
teams, only one team out of those has actually picked up a victory royale across the
teams
course of
outside
7
earnings
games so
start
far. You know,
griefing?
look at that. Vico, Venom, Flixie with 3 at the very top, and that's really the difference maker for those guys right now. They're sort of
Probably not,
separating
because I mean they
themselves from
can
the rest
still
of the
make
pack in
money.
terms of the fact they're not necessarily that consistent.
Like they're
but
definitely
when they are getting
griefing.
into these end games,
They're
having a lot
like
of
these
success,
teams
but
are
some of
probably
the other
definitely
teams
trying
down
to
below,
grief
Demas
each
picks
other,
them
like
down.
off
They're another one
spawn.
that's been really consistent.
But
Yeah,
like,
it's funny, right? 'Cause
I
if
mean,
you
these
had told
teams
me
still
that
have
Vico,
something to
Venom,
play for.
Flixie at the start of the season are going to be in a rivalry in FNCS with one of the best Polish trios, I would have agreed with you. But I wouldn't have thought it'd be this Polish trio. Oh my goodness, these guys are lighting the world up right now. And again, I've spoken so much about them, so I won't repeat myself. What I will say is, in this game, the low ground domination from them, right? In terms of just clearing out everybody. Like the way they're just hunting
Vico
down
used to
these
be
teams,
goated?
any sense of weakness they sniff out.
That's what you
Look at
think.
just how quickly they just completely 200-0 these guys. Demas hitting every single shot needed. Dom doing the same. Pix leaded the charge. This team looks just so strong, so good. Again, bit unfortunate in a 1v1. He runs out of mats there. He can't continue to build and keep himself alive in that one. But again, that game pushes them into second place now. And if this is going to be the team that's pushing Vico, Veno, and Flixie towards the end, they're going to be a great competitor, but still so impressive that
map command isn't updated
in the first place, frankly.
I mean, I just don't have. I don't have like the updated map.
I have a feeling that they're definitely
That's why I
going to be
didn't pin map.
Top spot at
I mean, I feel like the map's
the
basically
games we have today. And another trio that's stepping
really
things up
it
into
matters.
day 2 is Malibuka, Ping, and Wox, because Malibuka, he is not going to go down without a fight.
Oh, you're up 200 soul. Let's. I mean, 5 gifted.
Yeah, it's a very similar sort of team to Vico and Flixie, albeit having a little bit less success, quite a lot less success over the course of this weekend.
Let's tier 1 subscribe.
We talked about it yesterday. They're a team that maybe hadn't had the best day 1, and they needed to get off to a good start in day number 2, and of course game 1 of day 2. 4th place for these guys though, 10 eliminations. That's really what did it for them. Malibuka in particular really popping off, Ping as well here in this end game. But this is what we need to see more from this team. Of course, another sort of well, more of a favorable zone for them.
If Nina was still on A, you think Peter would drop Ritual for him?
Because they can do it, and they're a team that can have that firepower.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know you're saying not the best start on day 1.
I doubt
they
it.
Were sick. Like, it's not like they were like way in like the down. Like, if you told me, oh, come in and say you had a bad start,
right,
yes,
chat. Only OGs remember when Cold, Peterbot, and Vino trioed for 5 hours.
A lot of people saw them as a contender. I did. You did, right? You had them as a winner, right?
I did.
Say too much about that. But, you know, they're getting back in
Yeah,
there.
did somebody like make a tweet like, why have 2 people came in and said random tier 3 trio
them to win, so
talking about
picks?
picks?
Get back to their best firepower wise.
Like, are these people real?
Can I just also PSA, Cammy did make it to the end game in game 7, whereas yesterday I think they had issues in every single game in terms of their off spawn. We didn't make a single end game, so things are looking up. The problem is for the likes of Cammy and Seti and Chari.
Wait, when did I say that though?
There is no 1.5x multiplier on day 2. You just have to carry on your consistency from day 1 and just keep swimming or keep fragging in the case of Veno.
Wait, did I speak it out loud or did I tweet it? Because those would be 2 different things. If I spoke it out loud, I was trolling.
Thanks so much.
If I tweeted it, I was probably being serious.
But Takada, if game 7 is
I spoke it, I was definitely trolling then. I always troll when I speak.
The rest of our matches here today in Major 1 Finals, it's going to be a barn burner.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be non-stop action. I mean, when some of these trios are able to make it to end game, they just absolutely pop off. But speaking of the early game, we still
unban me from Boop. You don't want to be unbanned from there, man.
Lost Lake, Seaport.
That is a crazy play.
4th party, 5th party. I mean, team after team are going in to join the party, and we don't have to wait long before we see it again because game 2 starts now.
Oh, is that what? I can't listen to that clip. I don't like listening myself.
Our secondary match of day 2 here, but the scene has been set. All of these teams, particularly the ones surrounding the
no, dude, I called them a random
map,
tier 3 trio when I was trolling. No.
Heavy fire
don't worry, dude. Wait, where did Boop and L predict such a trio to place in FNCS? Let's see if I believed in the random tier 3 trio more than Boop and L.
Anyone is going to come over and
I didn't. Bruh.
Yeah, UX and his trio
put them one above
taking out Haris, Gavi, and Tini in the last match. They're actually also in their first ever FNCS major finals, so seeing them take out a veteran trio that's so good at fighting as well is quite impressive. We'll see if they're able to do it again here though, as Haris is looking for some connections with the SMG, but as Gavi has already been cracked, the pressure has been put onto him, and so far it is just kind of angles back and forth. But a Seaport, we have it once again. Murstache, Queasy, Swizzy need to be careful here as they do find that initial pick. Queasy got dropped down to just a sliver of HP, but it doesn't matter as long as they got that.
Alright, we need a Queasy comeback.
The main thing here is that none of them were not.
Bro.
So
yeah, bro, I'm not gonna, bro, Pablo. EU viewers are like,
for any semblance of saving
EU viewers are a different breed, man.
There probably won't be as much third
the
party
hardcore
taking place because teams are going to notice, okay,
it's like a
was
cult.
Cleaned up a little bit too quickly. They're likely going to have a massive advantage with establishing themselves in Seaport. It's better to just rotate elsewhere for Surge.
Taking a look at
no, it's not a Boop stream. It's of my stream. It's a clip
no
of me.
eliminations on the board yet. 0 materials to work with as the fight has kind of unfolded a little more here. But that
wait, that clip's pretty recent.
to give them the advantage.
Wait,
here
so I was
on
definitely
UA
trolling.
in
Wait, this
the
clip is like
2v1.
literally from like
Teeny
4
needing to
days
connect
ago.
one shot, and
I have to listen to it
just
now.
like that,
I thought it was old.
it's gonna be 1-1 here at
Oh, I
Shogun
don't even.
Solitude.
What do you think about Dimistry on
Yo,
you, bro?
this
What do
is
you think
so-
about Dimistry on
Yeah,
you,
I
bro?
was-
I
off
don't
in
even know
time,
who that
but
is. Yeah.
Still have to think about.
I said I don't even know who that is.
opportunities.
Like, dude,
It'd be nice to see one of them looking to kind of keep tabs
that is so funny.
on scoping the landscape surrounding them or feeding into Shogun Solitude. That seems to be
Dude,
the
I
intent.
like people are actually
from
not
Teeny.
real. Like, I literally
Wants to make
troll
sure
every
that
EU
Svi's
viewer that
reboot
comes
goes
into
off
my stream.
uninterrupted.
Yeah, we did see third parties come through, but hopefully they should be good.
Like, how is that not a given
As
by
we look
now?
back over to Lost
I
Lake
don't think
with
there's a
Cammy, Seti.
first-time EU chatter that I don't
Kari.
troll on stream.
I mean, they made it to the
Yeah.
end game in the last match. Didn't get top 3, top 5, but it
That
was
might
an
be the most
improvement,
low
a
IQ, like,
significant one
streaming community
from
of all
yesterday's
time.
matches. And even though they don't have a lot of loot or mats or basically anything,
No way they
at least
split. I
all
gotta
of them
refund
are up and
again.
running.
Oh my. Yeah.
But it's the fact that they've essentially had to
Uh,
abandon Lost Lake.
Let's add
Last match
Malabuka.
and what looks like this
the
one
prediction.
as well, Takata. They're just not able to get any of the material, any of the loot they need, like you just mentioned, and they're going to be encountering teams that are hungry for those early search fights. So when you're left so weakened just by your starting
I don't want to
point,
do Queasy still.
It's gonna be
just in case.
very.
I added
difficult,
Malabuka,
I think,
though.
for Cammy and Seti and Hari to make something of
Pico,
it. but
Vanya, I dropped
X-Force 9,
Malabuka.
Robin, this is a very familiar fight here at Magic Mosses.
Yeah, the patience came through. They looked for that 3-2-1. Unfortunately, though, I think they just landed a singular AR shot onto Gripey. So,
Have I seen Faxi with no beard? Yeah, he's.
As the tags have followed
I'm not gonna lie,
through,
bro.
it might actually be enough to just corner
it's a
themselves
sight to
here.
behold.
As for 9, X-Force and Ravana
Beards
not
really do
done
crazy
pushing.
things
They
for people.
continue to get on in. Looks like even a potential pre-edit coming through as the triple spray continues. Water sprite on the ground, back and forths.
He looks like a guy
I'm
from a
thinking
show.
this might even end in a soft engagement. As X-Force cuts away as he goes down. Potentially just one shot more. This is a
El
world
Chapo?
of
No.
danger for X-Force.
He looks
and
like,
this
he
trio.
looks like the
Noms,
penguin.
Gripey, Rizoi turning this fight around.
Just an underground battle, duking it out, but Noms, Rizoi, Gripe, the moment
Bro,
that they
people that like
recognize we've
have
already
beards
got
and then
knocked,
shave them
we've
off,
already
they
got
actually
the
look
elim,
so like
you know
different.
that there's
It's
going to be
crazy.
no other result
Because like,
other than a
when's the last
full-on
time you
key
probably
charge
seen
here.
him with no beard?
Eyedrop Sky Scroll continuing to make their presence known on these southern sections of the map. They love making these early rotates from Rolling Blossoms Farm.
I feel like to
onto
make it
teams
not look weird, like he's
that
got to
are
like buzz his
trying
head
to
too.
essentially
He's just got to go all
themselves
out.
from getting cleaned up super early on. Janice, Chap, and Noah Riley had
Maybe not buzz it, but like
relatively difficult day one.
make it shorter.
We saw there are instances where we thought that they were gonna have crazy
How do I have
pop-offs,
a
and they
beard already?
did
Because it
towards the
grows
end
kinda
of
fast.
Yesterday, but you want to.
That's why I should have shaved it like a week earlier. If I shaved it like a
Yeah, that's
week
the thing
earlier,
about
it'd be
having
pretty
12
much back
matches
by
to be
grand.
played out. In terms of Eyedrop Sky Scroll, what
He
they're
looks so young
consistently
without a
doing
beard.
are looking
Yeah.
for those third parties.
I mean, 'cause
It looks
beards
like
make you look a
maybe
little
it
bit
was
older.
earlier, but at least not now. They didn't go over
Have
to
you seen the
Seaport.
drop map?
Normally that Seaport third party is
Oh, the
literally
NA
like
drop
a
map is
minute, 30
exclamation mark
seconds
map.
after they drop. But with Queasy having finished that fight off so early on, it looks like they're just at Mask Meadows looking for a bit more damage. And Frizzy, Lucia.
I
Rakuzo,
feel like
which is
I should do
Starkus,
like a
had a
sub
rough
goal like that
start
every
to the
FNCS
previous
or
match,
something.
But
the thing
it
is,
looks
like,
they were
bro,
at least
I just
able
have
to
like
get
a
bit of damage in this engagement. We'll see if it continues
a
on
weird
later
feeling
as we
that,
head
like,
back
what if I
over to
don't hit it,
Venno,
bro? Then I
Vico,
kinda
and
look dumb.
Flixie. We're getting a bit more fraggy here in the early to mid game.
Like some type of
Yeah.
either like a 24-hour sub goal like Ozzy does,
What's been going down at
or just
Lost
something
Lake, and
so
they
troll.
want a part of it. Vico just immediately.
Oh, I do need to update the
editing
game, that is
Vipro
true.
into his box. That is so tragic. There's nowhere left
Sorry,
to run.
I need to have Grizz
Two
on
big
game update
eliminations
duty.
this early on, Takata, and depending on how these zones favor them, have to remember yesterday we did see a ton of south pulling zones. If I'm not mistaken, I believe at least 5 of them were leaning that direction. So knowing that it might be a little bit more favorable for them if the zones continue to pull
subs a
north
stream?
end
No
like they did in
comment,
Game
man.
7. That could be a real runaway opportunity here in day 2.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we did what was interesting, only see a couple eliminations from them up until like what, the second or third moving, but then they turned a couple into 15. So as long as just able to get to those late games, the good amount of loot, mats, damage, everything you need kind of from that checklist, then hopefully you can see them continue to frag out. And also, hey, shout out to Pix, Bemis, and Darm.
We'll get our first sub of the stream soon, bro.
The first game
people will start
of
waking
day
up.
2, still on fire with the amount of aggression we saw in that late game. Hopefully they're able to keep it up, because
I
these
mean,
could be
that's facts,
contenders of
Master.
not only breaking records, but making history, as Ju now has lost Shark. And that's going to leave it up to him and his duo to try and get out of this situation against what most likely is iDrop, Sky, and Scroll.
Bro, it's
no,
like
it's
so
actually
funny that
gonna be
somebody
Chap.
clipped that. Like,
Gonna be
that's
Yanis.
actually so
You
cool.
gotta be careful, the pressure's on them. Water Sprite coming through, but you hear the
He's probably
Typhoon
like, God,
Blade.
these
It's
NA people are
dangerous.
so
It means I want to
stupid.
go in your box, as the knock's gonna come through. One more player left to be eliminated by Yanis and Chat, but are they going to continue pushing? Do they want to get a bit of a disengagement? Doesn't matter. The double pump comes through, and Ju gets knocked down.
That is definitely not what Ju was anticipating.
I don't think that
on
clip's
the
getting
other
forgotten. I mean, that's fine,
end
bro.
of that wall here, but Janice,
There's probably going to be
he's
more of
still-
them,
they
because
just
I'm going to do
start
that every
trying
season.
to fend for himself.
Every time
Chap,
some random team wins a
unfortunately,
cash
picked
cup on a
off
year, I'm going to be like,
third-party
who the hell
success
is
so far
that?
From Pixovsky's trio. They lied and waited for so long in that southern portion of the map, and now it's paying
Oh my God,
off
Mr. Savage with a
dividends
kill.
here because,
Giannis is dead. That team is so
isolated
finished.
Giannis, nowhere
Who
left to
let me
run.
type them on
Fully out
my
of material to begin
predictions?
with, and
Who?
Pixovsky
Why
just
did I do it,
fully
bro?
benefiting, fully ready
Why?
to start
I knew
actually
it.
moving
I knew they
forward.
were frauds.
I mean,
I
doing
shouldn't
what
have
they
did
could.
it.
Well, Yanis was doing what he could to survive, but
I'm pretty sure I
you got
said
3
that they're
players
gonna
playing
sell
full
me.
aggron
I
to you.
knew it was
It's only a
happening.
matter of time.
I should have known them and
Pixie
Zandy
Vanya Marius.
were fraudulent.
Hopefully able to make something happen here in game
Not
8.
picking any more
Not the best
2020
start
people to be top
to
10.
the day, but
2020
with 2 eliminations on the
Fortnite
board
players are
already,
canceled.
our
Payson
higher
canceled.
hopes for this trio
Thomas
so
is
far.
canceled.
I think the higher
Freaking
hopes
Noah's
conversation
canceled. Dandy
is
canceled.
largely just stemming from the fact that you have to remember this is one of our teams that just barely scraped by to being in the Major One Finals in the first place. But
Cap got back-to-back
if you
seconds. Yeah, he's also
managed to
playing
catch
with
it, they're
Noah
actually through that
Riley
last chance
and
qualifier.
Yanis.
I mean, they opened
Canceled.
up with a
That's double
massive
canceled.
entry point. The 3 of the first matches they played being Victory Royales in a format that was
He's
exclusively
not
dependent
trying is
on
insane.
Victory Royales in order to win here, and yet throughout the course of this Major One Finals, Takada, we have yet to see them win a game. We know that they have the firepower capabilities, but the fact of the matter is,
Bro, some
they
teams just
haven't
don't win
managed to
games,
connect it
bro.
all the way
Like,
through.
Vanya's trio
Just
just
shows
doesn't
the
have
difference of
ice in the
play-ins,
veins.
groups, and
Wow, this guy's actually
you
getting
can see
chopped.
Major Finals as iDrop, Sky, and Scroll are looking for a chop here. A potential
Are they gonna be
opening
smart
for some
enough to
shots
throw
on
an
the trio
orb?
up above. Have they pre-placed
Oh, they
their
have
Oni
swords.
masks? Hopefully they have, because if not, it's a world of danger for them.
Yeah,
as
he's
Sky
saving it
continues
for
to find
globals,
an
man.
angle here. Gotta be careful, as now eyes are gonna be on them from all the trios in the surrounding area, but all they need is a
Nah,
bit of
Levin
damage,
doesn't
even a knock to
commentate.
give
Levin
them
just
that
does
entry point
an
to
analyst.
continue aggressing forwards. Shots coming through, but nothing big connecting yet.
Couple of tags onto Marvik's legs, but Sky knows. Just want to stay on layer above. Scroll also gonna make sure to try and take over, but height completely cut off from him. Other teams still surrounding the area.
Guy needs to have a good game. I want to
just
see Sky do
refuse to
like top
allow
3.
Scroll, iDrop, and Sky that
Very doable.
leverage, because it's going to be Radion and Rax Predage, the Italians, holding them steady. Not
I watch
going
Gravity
to allow
Falls,
this
yeah, it's a
actual
mid-show.
full box fight to take place either. Sky, Scroll, they know it's better.
That's
Let's
like a
just disengage.
C-tier
Yeah, but to play it
Cartoon
safe
Network
here.
show.
They did get a bit of back and forth anyways, so half of a set
whatever it
by a
is. Is
soft
that
fight is gonna
Nickelodeon?
be enough to withstand a little longer. I
Whatever
mean,
it
how
is,
central they
E-tier.
are as well in terms of the zone, the amount of trios around them. There should be more opportunities here to find those tags as they continue to make use of their time.
I mean, maybe
reforming
B.
builds from POIs or just
Who's in
previous
first?
structures.
Vico's in first by 50.
As we look back at Vico, Veno, Flixie. What's going on over here?
Yeah, I'm EST time. I'm
Just
not no other
clearing out
Mickey
the
Mouse
area. They've got
time zone.
great bush coverage as is, just natural
place do I
map
think Clicks is
environment
getting? Fifth?
doing them a solid here, but
Bro, I think Clix is
Vico,
just the 5th best
Flixie,
team.
Veno,
4th best, maybe.
They're definitely still hunting.
5th,
They notice Surge bases.
I think
off in
Clix
the
is already
distance,
pretty doomed
so they're
from
trying to
getting
make
top
sure that
3.
They keep a wall.
I think top 3 is already
constantly
cooked for
blocking
him.
off that angle from other teams to try and take
Bro, the
advantage
bad thing
of
is
it.
though, like Clix, bro,
But
why do Clix fans like?
with the way that the Shogun's
They're acting
arena
like
is
Clix
just
got like
coming into our
40th yesterday.
viewpoint, Gotta,
Like I was
this
looking in the
team
community,
has one thing in
kids are
mind,
like,
and it
why did I
is
believe in it?
tackling
Like, dude,
Shoguns for
those
sure.
those kids are
Already
not
marked
real.
on the map. Vico
Like
just
he
say,
can't
"Hey,
win
yeah,
every
you know, we're taking
game.
a little bit too much time here, guys.
And,
Let's
and going into this
clear the
FNCS,
bushes in front of us. Make sure
they're
we've
the
got a direct
4th, 5th
path
best team. It's
and
just
try
like
and make something happen as the
they're
superiors, but
where
it's gonna
they
be
should be.
Frizzy, Lucia,
They're
and
not better
Starkist who are
than
under
the other teams. And
the
people
island
were
as
saying
well.
they're
Will
better
they
than
make a play
Acorn.
for
They
it, though, is
never
what I'm
were.
wondering.
And
forget
Grand's
know.
not even
Easy.
close to Acorn.
Yeah, they know.
Peter's team is worlds
about
above
to
them,
happen.
and then Vidil's team
As
is
it looks like
worlds
Swizzy
above
on the
them.
opposite end. You said
It's
it
just
yourself.
like
Queasy and his trio want this.
they're
Now
getting
Frizzy
where they
wants it
are.
as
They're,
well.
they're just this is what they are. This is where Iamsa
got
would
a
have
lot of
gone with
trios
Mason.
contesting it this time
Maybe
around.
maybe worse. I don't
A
know.
lot of action taking
Like
place
same.
shortly here on top of Shogun's arena.
They were the 3rd best trio,
Venom's team
and
will at
then
least
now
make
that
use.
Cooper is actually placing again, and he has Vidil and
Some of
stuff,
these,
like
barrels lying
Yamsa's team would have been the
around,
4th best trio in
More
OG.
importantly still, they can never feel comfortable. Whether or not they recognize the fact that it's Queasy's trio, you can probably get a good
There's a
read
lot of
on the
team.
fact
Oh
that
my
there's
god.
just more than one team up here with us, and until at
Queasy,
least one of them
Lucia,
gets pushed
Bino,
down, at the very least, though, they're not
Mr.
caught
Savage.
between,
I don't
so
know if I
the
love where
sandwich
Mr. Savage
taking
is right
place
now.
potentially
I
for
think he's
Lucia
fishing though.
is a really difficult position to be in because getting off the island is next to impossible, especially
They weren't
when
really
you've
getting
got
zones
two
yesterday
teams full
either.
of sharpshooters.
Maybe you won't
But
want to
so
get off
was-
the island anytime soon, though, because due to the zone,
Nobody.
I mean, I'd
I
say
know.
there's a decent chance that this island actually does pull
mean,
towards
Rise
the
got a
later zones in
gifted
the
win.
match, so they might be able to use that to their favor. But the issue
Actually, I
is
don't
now,
think they won that game.
you know, getting aggression from the
Actually, no, I
Shogun
think
boss
that's
is
the
going
one
to
they did
cause
win.
a world
I
of
mean, that game was
chaos
kinda gifted for
around
Rise.
any trio that gets it. So in the meantime,
But
it is just going to be
they
look
won.
for tags and kind of wait for an opening if they ever do want to try and take on that boss with the other
Yeah, I
trios
think
around.
Peter's gonna win most likely. Queasy still win?
Shogun just waiting
Probably
for
not.
an opponent, waiting for an
Queasy's
enemy.
down by 150.
Imagine somebody
That is
accidentally manages to
two,
crossfire
like,
him in the process of looking for tags on the
5
others,
kill
but
wins
Swizzy
with
just
nobody
keeping
getting
steady
points.
tabs right now.
So
Vico and Flixie.
92-point lead for Acorn surely
It is
can't
nice,
sell.
though, all
You got to
of
think
the
about it like this
valuable
though. Peter
resources,
hasn't won a
material
game.
That's actually
There's no way
provided,
Peter
and,
doesn't
like,
win a game. Like
obviously
he's got to get a win
viewpoint as
today.
well. From being
I
so
feel like
far
today
up
they're
in
gonna fix
comparison
their
to the rest of the
mistakes.
lobby. Mongrel and Panzer specifically
Whatever
are going
those
to need
were,
to be really
I
careful
guess
in
you
that
just
surge
don't
base
die.
because
Like that's basically their
Queasy
mistake
knows
was dying.
exactly where they're at.
I love the angles that Merstash is taking too under the ramp.
They're kind of
edits,
losing
trying to
fights
just
that they don't
close
normally
as
lose
much
too.
off
Like
as
Colt's kind of
possible
been
to keep
losing
himself
fights.
safe and secure, while still having openings on the opponents rotating through. But it seems like the zone is pulling further away.
Bro,
From
that's
this
the scary
Rift
thing about
Island,
Peter's
so
trio. Like
Shogun's
everybody's
arena is gonna
acting
get
like they
started
played
here.
bad
The battle
yesterday, and
is
they're
gonna
in
commence
second
for the boss fight.
with over 400 points. Like
Who's
that's the
gonna end up
crazy.
taking it?
That team is actually like
Right now,
so
it seems to
so
be in
broken.
favor of Swizzy and Merstash. They're trying to prevent any tags coming out of Vico's team so that the Shogun doesn't teleport over to their side as well.
Yeah, I mean they
want
removed
to
1.5
limit its
times.
movements
I
as
mean
much
I
as
just don't think it'd be
possible.
very good in
Savage
trios.
still having to be incredibly wary, not just of the team up on the Shogun's
And
arena,
it was
but
good for
also the
comebacks,
teams
but
directly
that's kind of
surrounding
Mickey
his area,
Mouse.
Teams that are trying to cross
Like,
over
you shouldn't be
into the
gifted
zone,
a good tournament placement
pushing
because of day
from
2,
those southern sections up towards edge.
making
just
up
pulling just a little bit over
90%
Twinkle
of your
Terrace.
points. Whatever.
But Savage
Makes
got
bad teams
ample
fall to
amounts of
land.
damage above this
Not gonna
threshold
say.
right now.
Not gonna say who.
they're not in a rush necessarily.
Yeah, but maybe there's some trios by them that are.
I don't know.
And those are the
I
ones they
just
wanna
think it's
capitalize
better
on, but
like
the
this,
only
to be
masks
honest.
are gonna come
I think
through
it was
as
cool.
Flixie
It was like
has
cool to
gotten
see
into a
teams
fight
come
and
back,
said,
but
"I'm
I
not
think
gonna
it's just
give you the
better if they do it
Shogun's
like
boss
this.
for free."
Wait,
Hydra
what? Why are we
Sky
fighting on the?
joining
Wait,
party
Vino's dead.
as they are
Why are we
131
keying?
looking to see if they can finish off
I guess
any
they're below.
player. Flixie got knocked, it seems, on the feed. I think
Flixie's
Vico or
dead.
Veno as
Vino's
well.
dead.
Looking not too great for our lead. leading trio so far. As Vico seems to be the only player.
I think they just got keyed by iDrop for Surge.
And iDrop might have just found him.
The Danes just heisted.
Or Vino just got his head literally obliterated.
Never
two
saw
of
it
them.
coming. He was so fixated
Oh my God.
on Queasy's team.
He just got, like,
that he
quad
didn't
dinged
have an
by
opportunity
two
to
different
actually
people.
defend himself there. iDrop, what a beam. More importantly still, they might have that Shogun's Battalion Takata, but what they don't have is Matt's teams continuing to collapse directly underneath this arena. And now it's going to come down to whether or not Queasy Merstash even let them leave the island.
Gotta be careful as the shots are big from Merstash. iDrop dropped to a sliver of HP.
Dude, why is everybody, guys, the island, chill, guys, please.
Well, getting ticked second
Good
by
vibes.
second. It's a 2-tick. Merstash, Swizzy, Queasy, are they gonna let this one slide? Are they gonna try and finish it off quickly? That's the decision they have to make. There's so many trios directly below them that are gonna be looking back at this island. It's not gonna be a simple rotate. You have a full trio in front of you that originally wanted to fight you, and now it's gonna
We're
continue.
still fighting?
Cracks are gonna come through, but
It's a 2-tick.
no full-on get in yet.
Merstash just trying to find these separate overhead angles.
We're like
but they might
absolutely
not have time
torching
to
the
stick
whites.
around. Only one splash left on
I don't even care.
Merstash. And Queasy knows.
Wait, W
They
barrel?
can play the barrel for a time being, but they
W
need to
barrels?
get off the island. They don't want to get caught
That's
up
30. That's actually
for
pretty
much
big.
longer than what they need to. iDrop's team, they could look to just try and hold inside the edge of zone if they beat them there, which, by the looks of things,
Wait,
they're definitely in a
iDrop's team
much
is
better position
wait.
loadout-wise in comparison to iDrop's team.
Yeah, well,
Guys,
actually, they might not even
18
have to get off the island. I mean, it's gonna
HP
pull
and
back
they're below.
towards it. So with the amount of heals, I mean,
Gotta
it
be
could
dead
be a
to
potential
surge.
just stay put
After it
situation.
closes.
But iDrop Sky Scroll 138 below 18 HP.
Wow, they're all
It's looking
dead.
a lot more grim
No,
for
is
them
iDrop
compared
Sky
to
and
Queasy
Scroll
and
doing
his
the day
trio.
2
They
fumble?
have waited long enough.
Come
but
on,
now
guys.
they really have to hit their
Come on, young
shots.
lads.
All the trios rotating in, but Sky has already been knocked down to the storm. Malabuka knows this now as he's got the knock. They can choose to just play aggressive here and take them out.
Nico dead? No.
Queasy and Swizzy, they weren't
mean,
able to
he's
get
pretty
close
much
enough
dead,
in
though.
time.
He might as well be.
iDrop Sky, Scroll, forced to make their way closer. Scroll on the other side of the wall is the only healthy one, realistically,
Well,
from his
Queasy's
trio,
about to
and
get
it's not even
fed
by much.
Island
Merstash
medallion.
nearly managed to find a big shot onto him, but
So-
Scroll's gonna keep looking for that right side peek. Tagged one more time from behind, looking to just try and break down into their boxes. The wind tunnel's working against him, and so is Surge.
They can't let them take damage here. They know
I mean, Queasy's gonna win this game.
Need the tags, but they are gonna be able to
Yeah,
eliminate
Queasy's
them.
probably gonna end up
Merstash,
winning now.
Queasy, get
They just
the
got
medallion, get
invis.
prime positioning on the island, the triple refresh, and now everything needed to close out the rest
I mean,
of
they
this
need
match.
this win. And keep in
With
mind,
that medallion,
Vico might
too,
die.
is definitely a frightening
like, the lead's
sight.
not even
Vico,
going up.
all the while, this poor man just getting held outside a zone.
But
The
this is
odds
actually best
of him
case
being
for
able to build
Queasy
up
and
placement
everyone
from
else, I
this
guess.
Position is so heavily
everyone
against
else
him, but
also
he might
kinda
be able to
dying.
make something work. We all know Vico is definitely capable of picking up frags in clutch situations. It's just
He actually might be able
when it
to.
kind of stems and the future
I think he's gonna
of
get
the
like a top
zone
12,
just gracing him
depending
there.
on how many zones he pulls, and also depending on if Marius fights him.
on the other end of his build at a similar
Wait, is
plan in
Marius a
mind.
solo?
As now they're kind of
Why is Marius so far from his? Yo,
More players come through, and one of the
Yeah.
teams is
He
gonna
just
be
wasted
Merstash,
all that
Swizzy,
metal.
and Queasy. If they find out Vico's a solo, could be tragic. But so far, the triple sprays are gonna come through on the backside of zone. Merstash gonna pick up that.
He's more entertaining than an A this season. I don't even know if I'd say
Marius
EU
Pixie
Grants
Vania
has
just
been
doing
more
what they can
entertaining
to
than an
stay
A.
ahead.
I feel like EU Grants has been
This is big,
good,
though. Look like Chicha
but I
and
feel like
Trolex
NA yesterday was
definitely trying to
crazy.
get
Peter bot
involved in
solo
the
clutch,
action.
10
Underneath
kill
that
wins,
bridge.
crazy
Upple
consistent
as well.
performances.
Gentry, Fincheck, another one
Like,
of our teams.
Peter
Considered
bot kind of struggling, which
dark
people
horse, but
people
up and
didn't
comer
think was gonna happen.
scenario.
So it's not a
And they've
boring
had
Grands because
a
Peter
pretty
bot's not
solid
winning by
performance
200.
Stemming out of day one, they even moved themselves up a couple of places after match 7 on that leaderboard to be in the top 5. But Fincheck, he's got to
Like
defend
NA
it
was
now.
like perfect yesterday,
Mixon
literally a perfect day.
on the other end, but currently
The only thing NA's
favor,
missing is like
the
any
tide
type of
is
off
just not
spawn.
in Fincheck's favor. He has to get into the box.
But like
Yeah,
EU
looking like
only
a
has
fighting
one
angle.
off
You
spawn
can't
that's
check
good.
tags when you're 308 before.
I guess
You gotta
I
get
guess
on in
Queasy's
here.
on, but like
Shotgun shots connected, even a pre-edit anything
That's
to
just
play
like 3
aggressive
kills.
onto Blaha and Mixon, but Cammy said he's taking shots from the side. The eyes are on them now. Fincheck gets knocked down. Upple, it's all up to him.
Dang,
The shots come
Fnake's
through,
about
his
to die,
team
bro.
explodes right
5th
in
place.
front of him. Gets gets the refresh. 87 above. Floppers put the good use, but now they have to withstand as a duo.
Like, I just don't get why we always have to compare. Like, why do we have to compare EU and an A? Why can't we just say they've both been good and just leave it at that?
Kind of squirm their way through that low ground.
It's always got to be a comparison battle, like a war.
Surge continuing to just tick away at their HP bars. Chino not gonna
Wow,
get the
Teeny's
chance
dead.
to TP away just yet. Teeny taking a good chunk of his HP with it, but Teeny's also cracked. Teeny's just so
Wait,
low.
no way he's about to. No way he's rotating with 40
This is a weakened
HP.
player.
That's what he needed, though. He needed that damage.
All right,
Exactly what he got now. Just a bit of time to pop those big shields and regroup with his team. They're ahead of zone. This could be good. All they have to do is recuperate what they lost, but Haris doesn't have any heals. Teeny just had a couple bigs. I don't
Yeah,
even know
Mongo's
what
still
Scooby
alive.
has. This is looking worse and worse the more I
I haven't really
inspect it. As
heard
Malabuka
much
is
of
gonna be the
Mongo
trio
this
on the
game.
other
They
end
must
of
have
their builds.
really
Here, I
haven't.
would just look back,
That's
see if they
honestly
can get
low-key
tags
good.
on
If they're
trios
not getting
rotating
watched on the
in, as
broadcast,
they still do need more damage.
that means they're like above Surge and doing
They'll
nothing.
likely have to forfeit front side.
Like, I feel
of
like
that
that's
low
like a-
ground.
like a good
Healthier
thing.
teams are gonna have it in their
They actually might
sights.
be playing
Then
in-game
you have
for
Pixie
once.
Marius
Wait, let's
still
go to
dealing with the likes of Surge as well. 7 below.
200
A
above,
singular
decent
shot
match,
is
like
all
222, I
that
think.
separates them from the
I mean, it's
ability
probably going to be a
to
bit
have
shambles here,
time to
but
think about where they want to trek next. They're still making
Payson
it
and
work
Mongrel
just
in an
a bit
in-game.
above
This
that
might be the first time
currently,
it's
but
happened all
they need
tournament.
to TP ahead. Teams
In
already
an in-game at the
establishing
same
themselves on
time.
height are going to shut them down if they don't make it the front side
Briss
soon.
is dead.
Haris has lost his team, now left alone.
Looks
He's
like
gonna
Teeny and them are
recuperate
dead.
what he can, but with the Oni mask coming through.
Who's on height?
30
Up and
HP.
Tayson's. Okay.
It's gonna be a difficult
And
one to come out
Tayson's
from.
is-
Malabuka, Ping, and Walks are gonna get the triple Oni mask ahead of zone. Good job playing into the zone there. You tank a bit, but it's what it takes to get a front end position. Now it's all about
Yep,
claiming space,
yep,
blocking off the
this is a
others.
Queasy win.
What a surprise! It's Queasy. It's
Invis coin
Merstash,
on
it's
height,
Swizzy
that's a
once
freebie
again,
for sure.
Claiming the high ground.
They would have liked a little bit more match though. These wood builds are bound to be chopped out by teams sitting in the mid-ground layers. Atris though, just trying to remain as hidden as possible. Doesn't want anyone to recognize him. Malabuka!
Oh my god,
they
Malabuka,
tag
chill.
behind.
Malabuka, free
Not
kill though.
enough,
Wait,
though,
Pixie, chill.
to even
Chill.
cover his shields.
Guys,
Pixie
chill.
Now gonna keep trying. to
Wait,
keep his
don't
attention
do
towards
this to
height.
each other.
Merstash
You
even
both
gonna play
need
a
the
little bit of
points.
disruption factor here. Make them reconsider if they actually want to have those floors.
Oh wait,
open
Merstash
above
has
them.
nothing. Okay,
And
they might need to go for it.
tagging
Wait, they
teams
actually
as
should go
continue to
for
try
it.
to move frontwards.
You called
6
it out.
builds
It's a
on
red flag
Merstash.
of only
Wait,
wood on the high
Mr.
ground. It's,
Mr.
free
Cabbage.
pickings for the opposing trio, saying
Mr.
these guys
Cabbage.
must not have a lot of
Oh
match.
my
We can
god,
make
they're
it
about to win
contested,
another
and that's
game.
exactly what Mr.
Oh
Savage,
my
Mongrel, and
god.
Panzer had in mind. With 47
Where is
builds, a bit
Mongrel?
more hard match, they might just
There
be
he
able
is.
to successfully
Wait.
overthrow this.
Savage won a game yesterday. Savage trying to win another one here today.
Are they about to
Marius
be a team that just either
trying
wins a
to
game
keep
or
moving
scrapes
his way
together
forward.
a 12th
He is
place?
so
They might be
smothered. All these
crazy.
other teams, Pixie though, what a massive shot. That refresh gonna buy him a little bit more time onto the likes of Chicho. But still, they have to tank a little bit of storm here. They know they can't be the first ones in, but that
Bro,
pull
Mr.
back
Savage.
saving them.
Huge.
Is Mr. Savage gonna be the only team to have 2 wins?
Just wait and go on backwards. Merstash though, popping his minis to just recuperate that little bit of shield back.
Oh,
As now
oh
the
yeah,
aggression
Vino
is
won
gonna go
twice.
out to
Yeah, never
Marius. They
mind.
connect one shot, not enough to get the knock though. Good news is Merstash does have that
Wait, they have
medallion,
3?
but high ground, it's getting contested once again.
And Savage, he doesn't have the HP to
they
continue
only
to
had
fight.
1.
He's been knocked.
I forgot they won yesterday, too.
Looking to clean up the pieces.
Oh, they got griefed on height. And
he's gonna be forced
they
to
still
drop
ended up
here
only getting
instead.
like
Nom's
8th
gonna
or
catch him
7th, bro.
on that
Like,
rotation out.
we
Spotted
just
the
griefed
fact that it's
him.
a solo. Malabuka, Ping, and Walks though.
Various and
Still a fully
Swizzy dead.
intact trio, a decent amount of
Mr.
maps,
Savage
and
dead.
They continue to control the low ground.
Look above.
Is
though.
anybody
It's
still alive?
Cammy, it's
Panzer
Seti,
still alive?
It's Harry, all from
It's
yesterday
Cammy.
getting annihilated to now.
I didn't even know Cammy was alive.
Everything's on the line for them after Merstash goes down. Noms, Gripey doing what they can to hold low, but there's still more players
Panzer just
down
got
below.
5th. I mean, that's like a,
Malabuka, Ping,
what,
and
8
Walks
kill 5th maybe?
just on the other side
Dude,
of
that's a
these
good
walls.
game.
That was who their real
That's
contenders
way better
were
than
going to be
getting
for
a
this low
2 kill
ground all
12.
along. You can hear the feet stomping all around.
Or
Malabuka
5
might
kill
have the
15.
angle, but Eclipse looking to get involved.
They just got so many points. They might, they're definitely gonna be top 10 now.
Malabuka trying to find another angle to stay ahead.
Malabuka's playing so well today.
Onto Eclipse here. They need to get him out of the match. The shots come through. Trying to play a bit defensive, but
See, this is
Walks
what I
getting
expected out of
massive
Malabuka,
one
a bit
onto
more
Noms, taking
consistent.
him out. A
and still getting the same amount of kills, Malabuka might be a threat to win if they keep playing like this. Consistent with kills instead of kills with mid consistency.
This is huge though. Malabuka, Wax and Ping, they've still got to deal with the likes of Bolin dropping underneath. Hari,
oh my gosh.
Things up here. Massive engage. This is so
2v2.
This is the massive game.
Chari and Cammy versus Ping and Malabuka. They have the massive HP advantage though. Ah, it's over. It should be over here. What does Cammy have? Oh, GG's, doesn't matter. Alright, 7-kill win for Cammy. That was a Malabuka prediction win. Alright, after 8 games, we have Vico, Vino, Flixian first, Ping Walks, Malabuka second, Vanya, Pixie Marius third, Ping, Darm, Dimas fourth, Swizzy, Queasy, Murstache fifth, Contry, Finnick, Upple sixth, Eyedrop, Sky Scroll seventh, Mongrel jumps up to 8th after that, Combeck in 9th, and Harrison 10th. I mean, there's a 40-point lead almost between them and 7th, but it's basically like these three, 8, 9, and 10. They might stay there for a game. But Mongrel moves up to... That was a 6-kill 5th. Cammy and them are in 19th. Akira is in 28th. Lucky. I mean, they just need to... I don't even know. I mean, Cammy's obviously way better out of off spawn. Yeah, Poyo, through 8 games on EU, Poyo would be winning EU. For 6 games. That is actually kind of crazy how good they did yesterday. I mean, they're basically doing the same thing. Like, Malabuka would probably have the same amount of points as them. If they, like, look, 10 kill 8th, 8 kill 11th. Like, if they make both of these games, like, top 3s, like, that's so many more points. Like, they just left so many points on the board yesterday from dying too early with a bunch of kills. Do I think Poyo has a chance of winning? The team in first place, do they have a chance of winning? I'm not sure. I'd give them a slight chance, I'd say. W Shari team, I have no idea who they are. Don't know who Cammy and Seti are. You're not sure who these people are? I mean, dude, all Mongrel... Low-key, I feel like if Mongrel plays like... I wonder if they do this every game, if it's enough to keep top 10 now. There's 4 more games. Doing this is what? That's 30 points a game. That's definitely enough to keep top 10. Bro, they actually are like really consistent, but they're like really consistently mid. That's the thing. Like, they have an average placement of 10. But that average placement of 10 is like almost 10. Instead of like a bad game, really good game, bad game, really good game. Mongo could top 5? I mean, I feel like that's kind of unrealistic. Like, you think they're gonna be... You think they're gonna cut an 80-point deficit to Squeezy? I do not think so. I think they could finish like 7th. They could definitely get up 1 more, maybe 2, 6th, 7th or 6th. Did Momo already reply to the Dig tweet? What did Dig tweet? Oh, they took that garbage video? Dude, I hate Momo's Twitter. All right, we're gonna watch Akira again, I guess. Momo edit. It's not even a Momo edit. I think Momo stole that. They'll have another good game. I mean, I think Mongrel could have another good game, but I kind of feel like their ceiling here is 6th. I think 5th might be too far. Unless one of these 5 teams just completely fall off. Which is, I mean, that'd be insane. Imagine Mongrel gets top 7, top 6. Nobody expected that to happen outside of like Mongrel, like Glazer. Bro, we're never gonna hear the end of it, man. If Mongrel gets like top 8, dude, nobody's hearing the end of it. Nobody. Ozzy's not hearing the end of it. I'm not hearing the end of it. K-Dog's not hearing the end of it. We are cooked, brother. We are cooked. Mongrel outplacing Tayson in the big 2025.
Welcome back to the
GGs,
Major 1
man.
finals of FNCS Europe. I'm Frankie. I'm joined by Mini Miner and Levin2K, and I feel
Hasn't
so
happened.
ready to crown our first champion of Chapter 6. But we've got a little way to go before then. So why don't we break down what happened in game number 8, boys? We're looking at the standings and seeing how they've impacted things. Because Cammy, Seti, and Cherry, they might have just taken the victory royale, but we won't see them on page number 1, Mini, because they didn't have the best start on day 1 of the finals.
No, that's definitely not the case at all.
19th for Seti.
19th place.
Bro, if
for this
Seti
team.
can climb back the top
really
10 here, that'd be
nice
beautiful for
them,
the
boosting
predictions.
their way up. This is exactly what we know that they can do. Nice
I feel like we
victory
could
route
low-key
for
have
them.
a good
That was
finish
probably
here.
the most messy game we've seen in terms of high ground takes, so they were able to sort of take advantage of that really well. But I'm just looking at this sort of top 5 right now. Look at how close it is. Vico, Venom, Flixie went down very early there.
Like, this could
18th
very well
place.
be
They
the
didn't get any
top 2.
placement points there, and that's why their points haven't gone up too much. But look at that ping, Wox, Malabuka closing in really closely right now.
I mean,
And
it's
all
cooked,
down to
bro.
this
I
game
mean,
right
just
here.
having
11 really,
Tayson,
nicely played. A
Yandy,
second
and
place, of
Noah.
course,
Like, I don't
in
even
the
want to
end.
look at it
And I mean,
anymore.
wow, this is exactly what I expected
I
from
don't
this
wanna look
team.
at it.
I'm really glad that they're starting day 2 with a plum right now.
I just see Tayson, and then I get like, I just
because
get
when you
confused.
know, when I was doing my
I'm done.
pod reviewing and research going into this final, the one thing I loved about this team is that they very much remind me of like Manabuka and Mustache way back
Everyone
in
at
the
pink
day
top
in
12.
duos,
Yeah,
where,
see,
like,
that's one player
you
I'm
just
not
don't
getting
wanna be on
fooled
the
by.
same layer as these guys in
I gotta
mid-game
stop
or
getting
in
fooled
endgame,
by
sorry.
Tayson, though.
Right, like they're just a nightmare to
Tayson
play
fooled me in
against,
Chapter
and
5,
you
Season
give them the
3. Fooled me
opportunity,
again.
they're
Back-to-back
gonna make your
FNCS
game,
is
make
just
your
straight
life
foolish.
so difficult. And again,
been
if they can
fooled
keep
twice
putting
in a
them-
row, man.
Keep putting them in those situations in the end game, they're gonna cause havoc in this lobby, and they're gonna keep rising in those standings and give Venom.
I probably shouldn't have had Cammy in the top 10. I should have
And just
known
as a reminder, if
their
you
off
missed
spawn wasn't
yesterday's
going to be that good.
pre-show, Mini Miner actually predicted
They
Malabuka's
could still
trio
finish top 10.
to take the active champions, whereas 11 put them as the
Thomas
runner-up
probably
because
split
11
with his
actually
trio?
put
Yeah,
Vico,
probably.
Benno, and Flixie. So
Hopefully
the two
Thomas
of
plays
you
with one of these
are
guys,
looking
Duddy.
like your competition is going to be
Thomas,
the first to support. These trios
Malabuka,
representing you. Your reputations
I don't even know
are
what I'm
on the
saying.
line. Let's talk about the mid-game of the game that we just saw, because there was a lot of focus on the island this time. We had 3 parties going at it. One of them, yeah, even more than that. But as you can see, though, Levin.
What trio would win if they're still together? Ritual, Cold Agers,
Yeah, so
or
look,
Acorn,
already this is
Kanata,
very
Peter?
different to what we were seeing on the island the first day, right? And it's something that I was waiting to see if it would happen, because
Probably
for any of our
Acorn,
NA
Kanata, and Peter.
enjoyers watching the show right now, you would have noticed that there were a couple games
Not
on NA that
be
didn't look like
a
this.
question
right? Where
that
you
has
have a
Peter
lot
Bond
more
in
teams
it,
on
where
the
I'm not
island,
taking
different teams
spot.
claiming certain islands, and in this game there was about 4 or 5 different teams that were up here at some point. iDrop's team eventually go up here, they end up getting a big beam onto Veno, they take him down, they push Veno, Vico, Flixie, take them out the game, but they're still low on Surge. Nefrizzi's trio was like, I don't want any problems in this, like there's way too many people up here, this is not what we signed up for. They dropped down. Queasy, Mustache, and Swizzy though waited for the perfect timing. They waited, they knew if they played a long game,
Like,
they were
I
gonna
just
win
saw
it out.
everybody
And I think
predicting
now we're gonna
Andy
see
and
the
them to
island
do
look
like
that
really
in a lot
well.
more of these games, especially
But I
in some of
wasn't
those
really
more
getting
open
it.
calls.
Like,
We're
I
gonna
don't know.
see
I
4 or
probably
5
should have
different
just.
teams up there.
See, that's one that I
definitely.
put in the
think it's gonna
top
be less and
10
less
where
of
I
a
was like,
path to
everybody
victory
else
now that
is, so
more
they've
teams are
got to be
going up
pretty
there. We saw
decent.
it with
Like,
Queasy,
I
as you
didn't really,
mentioned.
I kind
They,
of
of course, ended up being the
didn't
team
really
that
think
managed to
they
claim
were,
the
but
island. But
I
what
guess they
happened when they
maybe
took
still
height?
can.
They didn't have the materials to hold on to because they were battling it out with all the other teams that were up there.
The one
now
that's my
once
fault
that
is
was
putting
the island that was
freaking
the sort of easy win
the
condition for
Mass
these teams.
Meadows
Get
team
up there,
in
make sure
there.
you
I don't
save
even
all
wanna
those
say their
materials.
names anymore.
Now you have to fight for that position, and that, of course, expends so much of that.
I should have known that
material
team
and
was
and
finished.
the
I should
ammo
have
that
just
you were
read the
saving
names and
from doing
knew
it
they were
previously.
finished.
So that's why Queasy's team didn't quite have as good of a day there. But I'm excited to see how this island dynamic changes now throughout the rest of the day.
Levin, what does this mean for Veno, Vico, and Flixie's game plan? Because we saw them rotate early. They didn't go for the medallion that went to Mustache in the end. I'm just wondering, given that it was such a key part of their game plan on day one, do you think that's going to change today?
No, I think they just need to be a bit more aware and play the long game a bit and realize that realistically they can handle anyone in a fight. They just can't give early damage away like they did to iJob's trio.
All right, well, everything's to play for the Acts of Champions, but also the island itself. So let's head into game number 9 and let the showdown begin.
Thank you, Frankie. So many things to keep in mind. Island battles, off-spawn engagements, continuing forwards. I mean, we had Cammy, Seti, and Harry.
Oh wait, we should have went to
came out. I mean,
Kozak a un très bon drop. Hein. On est très bien positionné. Il n'y a pas de son sur son truc, donc on va laisser
Their
sur,
delay
sur
is
Akira, qui a
like
eu un petit problème de PoE, c'est pour ça qu'on n'a pas vu sa deuxième game. Oh, le pompe Tarzan, ça c'est bon. Ça c'est très
30
bon.
seconds ahead of the
Allez, faut
broadcast.
surprendre, faut choquer un mec direct là, faut essayer de cut une rota, s'il te plaît.
Maybe not even
Pas
that.
rater les balles surtout. Ok, la grosse patte qui va être récupérée. Xuz, il a quoi comme stuff? Rien, on a 2 splash.
No, yeah, the FNCS pickaxe is.
On va se les mettre
They
ensemble.
killed the poor FNCS pickaxe.
Katana. Faut essayer de
There's
tirer
not
le
going to be a
coup. On a
single
récupéré
soul
un kill
using
hein,
that
direct du
bad
côté de
boy
Merstache.
now.
Il y a le contest aussi du côté de.
Nobody,
Oh,
I don't
il y a
know if there's a
Non,
single
Merstache,
person that likes
non.
one-hander.
Et en même temps, je sais que ça va déclencher du côté de nos Français. C'est un 2v2. Hein.
The other one's so good because it's like
J'aimerais bien voir
it's like
mettre pause à un
literally
endroit et
the
revoir.
FNCS logo.
Bah, on
On
voit
a
au-dessus de la
stick.
cam, les gars, regardez. Au-dessus
Oh,
de la cam,
attention.
là, vous pouvez
Akira qui est en train de se faire all-in. Xuz peut venir l'aider, c'est cracked. Attention
I
quand
think
même.
we are dreaming,
Alors, pour
Kanye.
Merstache, le spawn est gagné.
Non.
Ils ont 3 kills, ils sont en train de réanimer.
Magnifique, magnifique.
I mean,
Ok,
they
donc Merstache,
like
très sans moi.
like
Ils ont clear, ils sont en train de
they
regarder, tout
are
va bien.
consistent.
Côté français, on est en train de suivre. ce qui
It's
se passe.
just
Il y a un peu le classico là, ouais. C'est.
that's just a playstyle that works, I
Au moment,
guess,
0
like
kill,
in a
hein.
way.
Tout le monde se
Le
regarde un
Katana,
petit peu dans les yeux.
ça a l'air
Scraping
bordélique à
out
jouer,
top
hein.
12s. I mean, I
Ouais,
guess they're
c'est-
consistent
Et
enough
justement,
to
c'est pour
not
ça
die
que
to
les
surge
gens all-in
every
avec,
game.
c'est surprenant en fait.
I mean, that must be like a
Ouais, bah ouais. Mais.
Non, on va
like a
interpeller
Panzer
Christophe.
thing, low
Nice.
key. I think
Allez, on
Panzer's
village.
just putting in
Nice.
God.
Nice.
bro.
Nice.
il est low de
Nice.
baiser, il est low de baiser, mais nous aussi.
On voit
And it
un-
keeps
il
them
faut-
alive.
Non, mais justement, mais non.
Wait,
c'est
they're
le-
killing
il y a un
him.
petit peu de délai entre Xuz et
Ah
Poda.
merde, putain, ok.
Ouais, moi aussi, je me.
No, there's another
Je suis
team.
dégoûté.
No
Putain, viens voir la giga balle.
maze.
Ah, attention, hein, parce qu'Akira il est
Bro.
très low. Il faut pas tomber Akira qui vient de tomber, il reste que Xuz. Et du coup,
Oh
se retrouve
non.
en clutch de
Alright,
son
thank
côté.
God we didn't
On
run
a
a
plus de mats.
prediction.
Et le problème, c'est que là, le pompe, il
Yeah,
faut pas
yeah,
nous
they're
laisser-
consistently mid, but consistently mid is like 30 points, which is like a lot.
Non.
Non, il met la balle
GG's,
ici.
bro.
Non.
Aïe, aïe,
They're
aïe,
getting
aïe, aïe.
cleaned up every
Putain, hier,
game, bro. That's actually so boring. Just let them fight.
and Hari coming from the victory royale, it would be
Who was
devastating if they get eliminated so early on in the next match, as Akira and his trio are doing what they can to hold their ground.
There's a team from
But
South.
if they get third-partied here yet again, super early on, I love the fact that we saw them in the last match just full-on disengaged. Don't even bother trying to extend this fight.
Yeah, they're like, they
Podesai,
can't
though,
even
he's
fight
kinda
anymore,
forced
or
to
else they
reckon
just
with
get
here, but
clean.
Doesn't stand a chance up against Ari. It's gonna bring him down. Cammy though from behind Akira with a surprise factor, and Ari now left. It's a fend, just barely a sliver of
Who's the other
HP.
team?
The biggest issue, there's a whole other trio coming in to join the party.
That Moneymaker?
Even though Akira Xuz Podesai are going back to back with Cammy, Seti,
Oh no, it's
Hari,
the same team.
now with a whole other trio looking to finish it up.
GG's, bro.
This
These guys
is
are just getting
a repeat
freebies.
of what we saw yesterday.
Did they kill Cammy's team?
This is a
Shari's
tragedy
alive.
as well for both France and Poland. When you really
I
boil
mean,
it all
dude.
down here, Takata, it's only Ari that is left to survive from that initial engagement. And
I
he's
mean, I
gonna
guess
have to
this is
sit
like
tight
a
for a while because it
decent
really
strat, I
does
guess.
seem as though Bithro's team is fully aware. There's
works.
still one member
Kind of.
straggling
Like, what
around
place
here,
are these guys in?
and they want to find him.
Yeah, Brannick, Kaiser's, Dynus continuing with that. You saw how quickly they were able to get from their drop spot
17?
to the third party. I mean, that
Oh,
was
they're
the
Polish?
pro of at Seaport City, how fast Merstache and his trio were able to kind of clean up that fight before any potential third parties could come through. But for Ping Walks and Malabuka, not only feeling confident going into this match with their place on the leaderboard, but also having 3 elims off the rip.
Well,
to back it
Malabuka
up.
did get
How did
landed
that
on
even
by
happen?
Volko.
Volko. It's gonna be the starting
free
point
3
here, but
kills.
here Wax, big cleanup, and he just continues it as well, finding that secondary elimination onto
I mean, they're just gonna
Vostroki.
keep getting kills, I guess.
Contesting Malabuka's team at Night Shift Forest is definitely a
I mean,
bold
3
decision.
kills, and this is
Maybe
a team
Volko's
that's
team was
already been
hoping
getting a
to
lot of
catch
kills
them
a
little
game.
bit more off guard here, but Wax and Ping, when it comes to clutch scenarios, especially for Malabuka's team, they've been delivering for the most part.
Yes, they have, and I mean, just gave them some free surge now in game
No, I don't
9,
think so, Momo.
we'll see if they continue doing that in the last few matches as I Drop Sky and Scroll are in a bit of a
Or the whole like
hustle
landing on
themselves.
first place thing might be the most like
Starkiss and Frizzy on
played
the
out
defensive inside the box as I Drop now
over
has to make the decision as an aggressive trio. Are they
over
gonna
wanted
just
strat.
look for separate angles to try and find an opening? Are they gonna go for a fully aggressive play? Normally, when you have potential third parties like Vanya and the surrounding areas, you want to just take these soft fights. You don't want to fully go on in, because even if you end up winning the fight, if you lose one of your trio and the third party comes through, it's just not going to end well.
This
So
was
I think
just
like the
Damage is what they're looking
Cammy
for.
Queasy
It's
one
just
made
such
sense because it
quick
was a 50-50
extension,
drop.
though,
They
from
had a drop
iDrop's
map for it.
team so soon, aggressing
Night
southern
shift, you're
portion
landing
of
night
Hopeful
shift.
Heights, and it's the
Or
fact
like,
that they
it
decided
doesn't
to
make
strike
sense.
before
What about you're gonna
Vanya's
land
team has
night
actually
shift?
gotten into position.
You're just
because
gonna
all
run
day
around,
yesterday we saw
outfight you,
Vanya, Pixie,
make you grief
Various,
yourself.
they were
So
typically
you
the
don't,
ones
so you suck.
engaging
Don't get points.
to start things off with the teams at Hopeful Heights, but now iDrop caught off guard entirely. Monet was just
And they both get coached by the
stealthy
same
as ever,
coach.
waiting on that turtle
like
for him
that'd
to
be
rotate
like-
through.
Gotta be careful now.
What if they agree to
As eyes
that?
are on
Like what is
them.
like what is
iDrop
Raz
having
do there?
Gotten eliminated, leaves Sky and
Doesn't tell the
Scroll
other
in
team.
a bit more of a panic here, but the good news is
Lets one of his teams grief
I was
his
gonna
other
say
team.
good news. I mean, there's not much, honestly.
It'd
They're
be
in
so
the middle
troll.
of a sandwich that is not going to be easy to get out of.
Not the only ones trying to escape. Veno, Flixie, Vika, they've got Robin in their sights yet again. They want to be the ultimate janitors here at Lost Lake. One elimination already underneath Vika's belt. And even though Flixie and Veno still like a chance to cover some shields here, Joe just
Fine.
immediately jumped the moment he was trying to break away, just separated for a second too long from his team, and Vico certainly not someone to get caught out with.
Already one Elam on the board now, just kind of looking around to see. There's an opening for more, but
You don't get the Raz gimmick.
Vico, Veno, Flixie, they're good
Bro,
for
Momo,
now.
you know
As we look
coaches
back
don't-
over to Shogun
Like they don't
Solitude.
have to be live coaching
Shaq,
all
Noah,
3
and
teams,
Giannis
right?
once again trying to fight for their tags. They were doing it all
Like
throughout
that's
yesterday.
like
on the
there's
southern
no way
side of the
Acorn
map
wants
here,
to get
trying
live
hold
coached.
any trio they could from rotating back on north.
Like you think
if the zone
Acorn's
was
sitting there
pulling
getting live
towards
coached
them.
by Raz?
As now it is going to be Jew up above, trying to withstand the pressure.
We saw Jew, Shark, and Z Andy. They're very familiar with trying to pressure teams at Shogun Solitude, coming out of their extension from the Big Bed Tunnel. But Shark, he recognized the fact Z Andy's gone down. He's got to close
Why are
in.
there-
He doesn't want to
why are
allow
there
Giannis
4
the time
teams?
to actually recover, just trying to scatter
At
his
Shogun?
way into the box. But now Shark gonna be
Why-
forced to disengage.
why is
He's
Giannis
gotta
here?
break out of here. He knows Jew is low, and Shark's getting tagged up along the way.
Finds another player. Zip lining in. Does he know?
Bro,
What's on
what
his mind as the
is
third party
going
comes
on?
through. It looks like Shark was able to play the sneaky route out of it. As Giannis,
I mean, Chocolate
Chap
still
and Noah are
coaches
just going
Bucky.
to try and play defensive. They know there's more trios looking to join the party here, so it's that much more risky to do anything aggressive.
Chap, get a review of what went wrong for Z Andy. Just trapped and nowhere left to run. But the real interesting part here, Takata, is the fact that one of our original teams from Shoguns is actually making their way back in. UX team.
Any notable teams dead
And
this game?
considering
No.
their initial tussle with the Teenies, it's surprising that they would still want to revisit.
Nobody's dead yet.
Arm picks Demas though. We saw them pop off in game 1 of the day. Now
EU and NA
we
both
are
get
in the
2.
third, which is ninth match as the pre-edits are going to
Both
come
have
through,
top 2.
continuing with their aggression. I'm hoping the confidence stays there no matter what happens, as they didn't fully commit to it, but they definitely wanted something. They saw other players kind of coming in from the back end, and now they're thinking, oh, this might be a little too risky for comfort. But they're going to stay around and see if there's any openings.
The big thing, though, that might just favor Pix's team, considering how aggressive we've seen them naturally be.
That's like the first time I've seen face cam.
It's been how they've carved their name into the leaderboard in the first place. So this might actually be an entire environment they could thrive in. They've got to just be careful, though, wary of not over-peaking, essentially. I do like that they are giving some grace period against Group A's team, because they know Pink, Tino, they're all kind of lurking
Do I
around
want
as
to
well.
win on an A? I don't care
They
who
got
wins.
22nd in the last
Whoever
match,
wins
so
is the best
it would
team.
be quite tragic if they end up going
Acorn
down
wins,
again
or Peter
in kind of
wins.
the mid game as
That's
they look
cool.
for those fighting tags. So
Yeah, he's getting those
it might just
V-Bucks.
cause them to play a little safer, but
Gotta respect
we
the
know
hustle,
that this
man.
trio likes playing aggressive. They're good at it, and they've shown that they can stand against some of the veterans in the lobby, as Pink, Chino, and Nebs are going to want to join as well. Pix gets a nice little
I mean,
trade
if
off,
Peter gets second, they make land.
as I
so
think this is all they're looking for.
I don't see why
They
they would
can't go for a
split.
full commit here. It's more just trying to maybe even get a knock, just damage.
The only way they
The
could
shots
split
come
is
through,
if
they hear the
they
shotguns.
mix trios with Acorn,
Potential
I'm pretty
opening now
sure.
onto Rezoid.
This is getting
Which, I mean, I
so
guess is
messy
possible.
so fast, and Pix, Darm, Demas, they've used up the bulk of their material. Pump Power, not exactly an optimal spot for refarming when there's this many teams surrounding you as well. All the while, Teeny over by Night Shift Forest now. Atris V, they've entangled themselves with Chap and Noah Riley, but Teeny waiting for the right-hand peek. Might have an opening, instead loses his shields.
Uh-oh. Good news is more than enough heals. Bad news, Chap is not going to let him pop them. Pressure comes through. There's a whole other duo, it seems, or even trio coming in from the storm as
Yeah, dude,
well. So it's
Ritual's
only a
so
matter of
nervous
time.
on land, man.
Hopefully Haris is able to kind of keep his awareness on check, look around, and spot that trio once they get closer. But the Onimas seem to be coming through here, and it looks like they're going to try and make an escape as Teeny tried to cut him off.
There's just way too many opponents, teams, that they'd rather hold on the edge instead.
Well, Jew is a goner.
was successful in bringing back Z Andy with the reboot, but now these teams that are going to be so late upon making their interest
No way they're not
Teeny
keying this.
recognizes
They
it
are.
immediately. This is a handicap player, essentially, because Jude doesn't have his teammates close by to try and
Let's
back
get a
him up
predict.
just yet, and they don't necessarily have the loot either to take that
Oh,
fight.
let's do who does
And
better. We'll
finally,
just do.
it looks like the
Eye
tussle
drop's
upon
kinda not
power
doing too
is
well.
coming to an end potentially.
Let's
But
just
there's
do
some new trios
Vino,
kinda joining the
Vanya,
party as they hear the
Malabuka
shots.
for this
You
game.
can see for yourself at the bottom right on the mini map. More engagements happening in the surrounding area once again in Storm. As now Darm, Pix, and Demas have to kind of decide, are they going to go towards those shots? Are they going to use it an opening? Or are they just going to try and go around and safely make it to zone?
All of these teams just held each other for so long here at Pump Power, and no one was really seeming to budge. But Teeny, he's trying to get this battle to happen here, does manage to get the elimination onto Shark finally, but it comes at a steep price. Janice and Noah Riley on the other side, they've picked off Skvi, and now Teeny finds himself in a
Panzer
position
farming
where
Kinshasa, dude.
if he
Panzer might
exposes himself
be
too
the best
soon,
surge player
he'll get ripped
of all
apart.
time.
Yeah,
Might have it turned
Shaq
out today.
continuing to apply pressure from above.
Today
He
ain't
knows
it.
Haris is alone in this box. He has his teammates.
I mean, he had,
by
like,
him.
second
just
most
can't get
damage
caught off
yesterday.
guard. He can't get boxed up himself. as
I'm
he
sure
continues
if
to
it's
find a
like
shot
AR
onto
only, he
Haris.
probably
Giannis got
definitely has
cracked.
first.
Noah, incredibly low as well, forced to pop some heals, as now they're going to be switching to the defensive. As Team's going to take this chance to kind of run away. And once again, trying to recuperate this match.
I mean, he literally has like, got 5 of their
He's
kills.
got the
Like, I think
exact
all of their
same
kills in the
idea.
first game.
He's just got to sit
Most of their
tight,
kills last game.
especially when you know that there is a trio so close nearby. But despite the successive measures that Yanis, Jeff, and Noah Riley have had in terms of
All right, Chad, 30
finding,
seconds left.
The one-off
Pico's
elimination
trio,
or two,
Vanya's trio,
it
or
hasn't necessarily
Malabuka's trio?
given them a spot where they can try
Which one of
and,
those
and go
do
for
better?
that winning moment. That's what teams really need to try and transition a lot
Yeah,
of these
Panzer
mid-game
is,
engagements
I mean,
towards
he's more than
is
that, Danny.
those end-game winning moments, and think being able to
people
be healthy
think
enough
he
to
has
actually
the
challenge the
hops.
teams that are going for Shogun's Arena consistently is a big element to
People
that.
used to.
Yeah, yesterday we saw how powerful the players that ended up securing Shogun's Arena were. I mean, how well they were placing from it. And this isn't like yesterday. They don't have another 6 matches to play tomorrow. These are the last matches of the EU FNCS
I
Major
don't know, Danny.
Finals for Major 1. We are in game 9 out of 12, so
How did
the
Panzer
clock's
end up with
ticking
them?
for these
I
players,
believe
and
somebody,
some of them
Blood X
need
wanted them
bigger
to play
matches than
Panzer.
others. But as we look back over to Shogun's Arena, we have Merstash, Queasy, and Swizzy. This time around, without pressure from another trio.
Nowhere near as
Vico's
many
winning
visitors.
by like
as
10,
match
10 or
8,
10 or
but
something like that.
that could
Oh.
be a
Eno's
bad
got a
thing
little
here
lead.
for Swizzy. He's got to be real careful with who he's trying to pick his battles with. It's tough because sometimes you think you'll have the overall advantage just being so high up on Shogun's Arena, but when you start to actually take a peek off those edges, other teams in their surge bases,
What the heck is
like what
this?
Flixie's attempting to do, they're gonna keep good tabs on you.
Yeah, they got that one elimination earlier on in this match and haven't chosen to continue kind of fighting as much. I mean, we saw in terms of the stats, I think they were at the most damage with shotguns compared to AR in the early to mid game, so they're a lot more comfortable with those close range engagements in terms of tags. But it worked out quite well for them in the first match today, which was game 7, where they got to the end game without too many eliminations and were able to just absolutely frag out once they had that end game under control. So looking to have kind of a repeat of that this time around for another big game.
Glimpse at that top 5 leaderboard though. Only 1 point separating first and second place. Vico, Veno, and Flixie know that they cannot afford to take another early exit from this lobby. They don't want to allow the opportunity for Ping, Wax, and Malabuka to actually try and leapfrog over them. The longer you can stay in the driver's seat as far as that first place position is concerned, the better off your odds are going to be.
Arch
once
is
we
dying
actually draw
again.
towards
Dude, that
those
trio is
11th
just
and 12th
infinitely
lobbies
dying.
here
Unless
today,
that's
Takata, but
been a bug.
right now, HRSTD and SV, they're just hoping for any sort of combat situation because they need a refresh. They need it desperately. They might have bandages to work their way into zone, but they can tell Jebno, Riley, and Janice, they've sniffed out this stealth maneuver.
Yeah, they've got the fishing rods, trying to just get what they can, and Tini, Haris, Skavit looking for a 3-2-1. The good news is both trios have a good amount of damage.
Look
Bad
at
news is
these
Tini
two
cannot make a single
absolutely
footstep
cooked
here,
trios in zone.
as it will be seen. So all they got to do is kind of hold on to the patience, wait for Noah, Yanis, and Chap to disengage, and just like that, go for the 3-2-1. Have they secured the
And
knock
Yanis
onto
is
Yanis?
dead.
Yes, they have. The patience paid off, as now the aggression is going to come through. That opening to play extra aggro, as Tini looks for a wall, get right on in to the
Dude,
knocked
this
player
is-
Yanis to recuperate that loot. The question is now, do they continue forward as Chap hits a huge
Yanis
shot?
is killing my
causing
parlay,
them
but
to back
Tason's
up
killing
now.
it more
If
than
Chap's
Yanis,
able to
low
pick
key.
one off here, this would be massive for the trio.
But all of those fish that Chap and O'Reilly Yanis just spent time acquiring, now having already been squeezed away from them essentially. HRSTD and Speed.
It just looks like
finding
Tini
that
and them just like
elimination onto Yanis
don't really know what they're
is a
doing.
big opener for their conversation
like-
as far
I mean,
as
I guess
game
Tini
9 is
really never
concerned,
knows
because
what he-
they definitely are
what
going
he's
to
doing.
need the surge with the way they've been playing the fringe for so long, but it's still not going to be easy. Chap and O'Reilly though definitely not happy.
dang, Savage and them at 5 kills.
Mongrel, Mr. Savage Panzer though. looking
might
like
have fixed
might even
everything.
want to fight for something here. Panzer got up close and personal.
They hit the VODs.
One of the Elim damage leaders going into today as they continue to kind of find any opening with the regroup
Wait,
coming
does Savage
through.
have less of a delay on today?
And the zone that they just pulled. They're almost in
no.
prime positioning. Not
Thanks for
counting
the 22 months
Island.
machine.
That's the
Almost
main
2
issue is
years.
that Shogun's Arena being directly above where the zone is pulled in their current position. Sure, Savage managed to find a good knock onto Eoic, but now he's got to deal with the team way up on the high ground that can just continuously look down on him
Dang.
and spray him out should he keep trying to fight.
Mongrel and them are actually playing well today.
Yeah, this is going to be very
But the
big.
question is,
For Queasy,
Are they gonna
Swizzy and Merstash,
play in
assuming
game?
that they're still up
Wait,
there.
Vino
But
Vino
for
dead.
Veno, he's been
Wait, this
taken
is
out
wait.
completely.
What
Vico,
are these
Flixie left
two
as a
teams?
duo as Vico just
Wait.
watched. He gets knocked as well. One of our
Why are
top
they fighting in
competitors
zone?
to take home
Guys,
the trophy
guys,
today of
guys.
Major 1. Now looking more
Guys,
grim.
guys.
Two of our teams in the top 5 though, Pix, Demus, and Darm, they're sitting in 4th place position. They
Fourth
know
and first
that they
place,
are
fighting in
looking
zone.
At eliminating
At least they're
the
alive.
#1
Vino's full
leaders
dead. Vino's
in
not
this
getting rebooted
lobby,
this game.
But Flixie
That's bad.
will manage to bring Vico back with the revive. They've at least been able to create enough space to force Demus, Pix, and Darm to come
Yeah,
to a
I saw
halt.
Sync.
Still, they are looking
saw it.
incredibly low here as far as everything else you would desire to try and make their way through this endgame. And they know they've just got to get a move on. Even as a duo, they can still try to hold somewhat of a mid to low ground position, try and get some of those extra placements going.
What's good though is due to them pulling the zone here, I mean, even if you're Pix, Demus, and Darm, it might even be beneficial to build up 1 or 2 boxes so you have sight of all these players rotating in. But I mean, like you said, with the Rift Island right above them, it just makes this whole situation that much more complicated. But for Veno, well, Vico and Flixie, after Veno got eliminated, they are in a good position to take a lot of shots. So even though they're a duo, they
Queasy's
should
on island again.
have a simple enough time. getting enough
555 on
damage,
island
as
too.
Swizzy's trying to do what he
Oh
can
no! Oh,
to
never mind.
stop people from.
I thought they were about to
getting
do
close
the
them.
classic below on island.
Swizzy though, working off of that Invis medallion. He's got the ultimate peekaboo in store for teams that sit directly underneath, but it's more so the fact that we are witnessing Queasy about to enter 8th zone here soon enough, Takata, and practically cap mats on everyone. And the #1 thing that the analysts have already addressed even is if you give Queasy cap mats heading into your end game, everyone else in the lobby is about to have a real bad time with the way these guys look to control height.
Oh no, we're losing Takata, man.
Zone, all the moving zones. And looking at how this zone is pulling out. I mean, if it pulls to the west side here and closes towards.
Everything else that Marius is doing here now is just trying to extend their lifeline. They've got a little bit of low ground control here, but only 70 above means that they are fully aware of the fact that they're going to need to take on another fight. They're going to have to find some more damage. Flixie, Veno, Vico, Veno likely just calling the shots at this point, trying to help.
He's on
his
stream. Is
team
Flixie no
make their
delay?
way through,
I'm
but
good.
Flixie, smart enough IGL in his own right. He can definitely scout out where their shots should go next. Try and see if he can get some attempts onto iDrop's trio, but unfortunately nothing to build of steady use just yet. Everything just boiling down though to our team on high.
Oh, is this a
Swizzy,
Taco
Queasy,
solo?
and Merstash. It comes as no surprise. That quick stat as well. Only team who have not been hit by
Quicker.
Surge in our top 15 here. And for all
Mongo's
these other
chilling,
teams
bro.
that are
Look at him.
struggling
I'm
underneath
vibing
them,
right there.
they are just suffering.
All right, this
immensely.
is probably
Atrus,
the Queasy
we've seen
win.
him play from
Their
Tatter,
mats are way
sticks and
better than
stones
last
all
game.
long just about, but they'll be
Yeah, Taco's got a
eliminated.
solo clutch, man.
Those guys on high picks, Demus, Darm though, they've definitely found what they were after as far as brawls are concerned, and they're going to continue.
Pixie's team might grief them
trying
again, though.
to
Give
just
them time.
break their way through the mid-ground, but they've
Pixie,
got to
Marius,
be real
and
careful.
Vanya.
They got to make sure they're watching their backside. Pixie opening up the ceilings, triple spray.
Vino
Not gonna
dead?
be
Yeah,
enough
Vino's
just yet,
dead.
though, but Marius,
Vico
Vanya,
and Flixie
Pixie,
are still alive.
one net benefit is the fact that they are at least sitting just slightly above that surge damage threshold, and Flixie now
Just do a
looking to take
clutchable.
over.
Let's see if Flixie's going to be able to make something happen here alongside.
And they might go
Vico.
get that.
They've been playing as a duo for this whole end game. Every single moving zone they've lost.
Mongo
their
got a
partner,
kill,
but if they
another
wanna
kill.
take
I
home
think
the prize,
Mongo's
if
got
they
6
want to
kills right
win
now, either 6
Major
or
1
5.
of the EU FNCS finals, they have to come
They
out
are
strong here and at
dragging.
least pick up a decent amount of points.
King Malibuka walks though. They don't mind playing from low. Although they definitely know they're gonna have to do something about height eventually. Vico, Flixie, they're also trying to ensure that teams moving further ahead aren't gonna have the opportunity to get the positioning that they want. Instead, they're gonna look to TP in. Demus, Darm,
Dang.
Pix, Still controlling the low ground though.
Fourth place
Issue
is
118
115
They need to
below.
find something. Their full trio,
30 below.
incredibly healthy. They have everything in their
Above.
favor to get those tags. All that they have to do is execute onto it. It's Pink on the receiving end. As now they're gonna
need a refresh either way.
to make it the zone.
Hasten's in game again.
Pixie, Vanya,
Back to
they
back.
recognize the fact that there's so many teams just up and over where they're currently situated. Monet though, a solo potentially, and Pixie, he wants what Monet has to offer as far as Siphon Materials is concerned. Just another
Wait,
4
Pixie's
points off the
200
eliminations,
below.
too. But Pixie can't manage to connect. And, it'll
And
be a draw
Marius
instead.
just
Marius, though, the surge
Oh
just
my- wait, they're-
not
they're-
gonna allow him the
they're
chance.
bottling it.
He is down and out once you get
They just
tipped
let him
one time too
die.
many.
Yeah, you don't get knocked down, so it's a full elimination. The timing on that is absolutely tragic.
Wow, there's no
But
way
for
they
Team
just
is
let
Pix
him
and
die to
Darm,
surge
there's a bit
and
of
have that
faith
many
as
heals.
Pix is just on a sliver of HP, but he's not been
Wait,
knocked down
Mongrel!
yet. Meanwhile, up in the
Mongrel's going
clouds,
for height again.
contesters for high ground. We
Queasy's
thought it was
gonna
be
fight him
Queasy, we
for
thought
it.
was gonna be Merstash,
They're just-
Swizzy,
oh
but it looks
no.
like it's Panzer,
This is
Mongrel,
back-to-back
Savage
games. They
want
go for
to
height
clutch
on
that
Queasy.
dream. They want to take the high ground, but the issue is so much pressure, even from below. This is gonna be a tough battle to overcome.
They're just gonna immediately
they
try
just
and
griefed
fly
Queasy.
towards that
Queasy's
front
gonna be
side. They
so
know
mad.
that it's gonna be a matter of
They just
time
made them
before
waste
Swizzy
so
versus
many
Queasy
builds.
look to challenge them. Flixie and Vico still keeping this one alive, but the builds are
Mr.
running so
Savage
incredibly
dead.
thin. They're going for the backside of zone. They scouted out the TP though. Nathan getting lit
Roll
up,
dead.
but Flixie not able.
Dang, they
to
just
fall
griefed
back
themselves
look to
and
finish it off.
Queasy.
They're getting so much value though, playing as a duo from the start, and they're not even finished as Nathan gets knocked down. Another elimination for Flixie and Vico as they continue to make their way towards zone. The Siphon keeping Flixie alive barely as he makes it in. with
Flixie
just
and them are
9
top 8 as a
HP.
duo.
How is he still up?
Pixie's top 8 as a
He knows that
duo.
there's players directly behind him. He doesn't have a moment to stop and
top
think.
two
He's just
teams.
got to keep barreling forward. Pixie, Vanya,
Queasy might still be able to win it on height. Oh, it kinda looks like Queasy has no match. Two builds. Malabuka's team's dead. Verstash is one build. He killed Flixie though.
Taking out Flixie with it.
All the top teams getting taken out one by one, and the leaders of the
Oh my
pack
God,
up in the
Mongrel and
clouds is
Panzer are still
Merstash,
alive.
Queasy, and Swizzy.
Mongrel
All
and
they need to
Panzer
do
just
now is
duo
close
clutch
out this
top
game.
5.
But Pixie, Vanya,
Top
with
4.
just 10 HP left, he goes down. Vanya left as a solo now. Pure chaos on the low ground.
Trulex
gets
is alive,
knocked
and
down, but
Merstash
Vanya
wins.
goes
Wow, they ended
down,
up winning
and
12
Merstash,
kills.
Queasy, and Swizzy.
That's actually a big game out of Mongrel again. All right, that is a big win for Queasy. It is very close. 30-point lead from 1st to 5th place. Vico, Vino, Flixie have a 12-point lead on 2nd place. Ping, Walks, Malbuka. And then Vanya, Pixie, Marius are in 3rd. They are down by 20. And then Swizzy, Queasy, Merstash are down by just under 30. So the top 4 is very close. And Mongrel and them closed the gap on 6th. They're still 100 points down on top 5, though. They're 10 points below 6th, 100 away from top 5. Jeez, there's a big gap between 5th and 6th right now. Big gap. Tayson is climbing back. Tayson's 12th right now. Not doing too bad. Eye drop's kind of dropping. Eye drop. Lucky. Eye drop's got a 19th, a 20th, and a 10th today. Mr. Savage is a 4th and a 5th today. What are they today? Malabuka's 4th today. Or Mongrel's 4th today. That is a win for... I think that's a win for Vanya on our prediction. They just got 2nd. Yeah, it's another 2nd place for Vanya. That's 4. Dang, bro. I think that's going to be the difference in them winning and losing. I'm not going to lie. They now have lost 44 points to not winning. more if you want to count this one, but even just counting second place, they have lost 40 points. That would make them in first right now. Sky and Scroll are in 8th place. That's actually gonna come back to haunt them. Not winning any of those games. Who won that game? Queasy won that game with 12 kills. 12 kill win for Queasy. Queasy battling back while Khan. Tayson's actually not doing too bad today. Tayson has a, what, 0-point game or 1-point game? 0-point game. And then an 11th and a 3rd. If they didn't have a 0-point game 1, they could be fighting for, like, top 9. Yeah, Savage and them are cooking. They're kind of like gambling for height, which isn't great, but that's also like Queasy on height. So I mean, if it's not Queasy on height, maybe they win both of these, but like yeah, Savage could get top 6. I don't see them getting top 5 still. I mean, it's a 100-point gap with 3 games left. They would need, like, picks to just literally full sell. 6 is a great placement, though. Not gonna lie. Would be a great placement. Top 6? Yeah, the 100-point... Like, cutting off 100 points to teams that have been doing pretty consistent is gonna be hard. But, I mean, if they just get 6th place, that would be a insane placement. All right, 3 games left. Let's tweet out. Let's make a tweet. All right. We are waiting on the broadcast to be back. Yeah, Savage's game plan has been good today. I mean, it's gotten them to end game. I mean, they've played 2 end games in a row. They played 1 end game yesterday. As a trio, they've played 2 in a row today. There's a chance to make globals a major 3. I mean, that's if Panzer sticks with them, though. That's going to be the hardest part, is getting Panzer to stick with them. I feel like Panzer might be getting some trio options with how he's playing. Like some good trio options. Maybe like Russian trio options. Maybe not, though. Like who? I mean, anybody, bro. Like who? I don't see who wouldn't want to play him right now. He's literally like, he seems like a complete Surge demon who's good at fighting too. He just seems like the perfect player that people probably want. Run a new prediction. We'll see. We'll see if Queasy lives off spawn and then run a prediction.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we could just run it and refund it. Yeah, let's just run back the same prediction, but add Queasy.
5th and 6th. And it's really heating up. I feel like every single one of these games now, Mini, like one of these
Actually,
teams
I'll start it when I get back, chat. I'm gonna go get some water.
Like a couple of the ones at the top maybe are a bit quieter, just to keep it as narrow as possible as we head into the last couple games.
It's exactly what we want to see when we're looking at this overall finals. I mean, that was a huge game from Vico, Veno, and Flixie. I mean, of course, mainly Vico and Flixie in that end game. Just the way they were able to stay alive. I spoke about it about Mustache at the very beginning of the show, about how important it is to make sure you can make the most of these games when maybe your team isn't quite in the best position, you don't have the best materials, maybe you're not all alive and healthy in endgame. These are the moments that really win you grand finals and the major one finals here today as well. These are the sort of games that are going to really clutch up, and this is exactly what this team do best and exactly who you'd want in this sort of duo clutch situation here, Levin.
Absolutely, and I think if you're actually looking at like the timeline of FNCS and EU, Vico and Flixie are the reigning champs, technically, right? If you want to look at it like that. They came off the back of a great season and a great year where they both established themselves as top players. And if I'm being honest with them, you know, I love those two, and I'm a big fan of this trio as a whole. Veno really was the player yesterday, I felt like, stepping up the most for this trio. And so it was nice to see those two showing, like, we are contributing to this success. We are going to make this happen. Even if Veno isn't here to help us in this endgame, we can get the job done. It was really nice to see, you know, all of the boys in this team right now stepping up to try and get that win.
Can I just jump in and ask a quick follow-up, boys? I mean, Levin, you know Veno so well. How much do you think he's currently conscious of that leaderboard and how close his rivals are behind him?
I mean, I know a lot of the boys on that leaderboard right now, and I know they'll all be very conscious of it, right? How can you not be? You back out to the lobby, you take a look at it, and it's like, you almost have that pressure of you can't mess up. There's that feeling of you mess up one hiccup, one wrong step in one of these games early on, and instantly all your fortunes changes. It's why actually, when I look at it, Frankie, I'm almost most impressed with Queasy, right? Because they're fighting Osborne. So it's like that initial Osborne fight changes everything for the way their tournament looks, but they're handling that pressure well.
And what about the likes of Marius, Pixie, and Vanya, guys? Because they had such a stellar day one. They were actually in #1 position at the end of the first 6 games. However, now we're seeing some cracks start to form, Minnie.
Yeah, not quite the ideal start to day #2 that they would have liked. Of course, you know, they haven't quite had the best day. It's not been absolutely terrible, right? They have made a couple of these end games. They've played pretty well. I think it was the 2nd place in this game right here. So it's not been absolutely disastrous, Levin, but they've just struggled a little bit with the Storm Surge. We saw it there with Marius going down. I think the early stage of their game haven't quite gone as they were expecting.
And the big reason as to why that's happening is what I talked about at the start of the day, Mini Miner. When you looked at the group stage and how they did their Uncon at Kappa versus how they were doing yesterday, in the group stage, there was only one team landing in Hopeful Heights in that south area, right? There wasn't a lot of action there. Yesterday, there was 3 different teams. Today in game 1, I went back and checked, there was only one team landing in Hopeful Heights in that first game. Again, there's not enough action going on in that area. It's part of the reason why we saw iDrop, Sky, and Score, I think, struggling as well in a couple of games. Yesterday, the south was the hotspot. So much was going on there. Now there's a few less teams in that area for those southern, you know, top teams to get damage on, get tags on, and to take fights with.
I mean, look at the zones
Hopefully
as well.
Queasy
Look at
does
where the
not
zones
die.
are pulling compared to yesterday. We had so many south zones yesterday. Now it's all almost the complete opposite, right, to what we saw yesterday. So huge shifts for these teams that are down on the south of the map and now falling down the leaderboard.
If we look at #2 on the leaderboard, Malabuka, Wox, and Ping 11, what exactly do these boys need to do to take over the #1 spot? Because there's only 12 points between them and first place.
I think the big edge that those guys have
Top 5 are
is that
basically
they kind
locked.
of anyone, I think, of
yeah.
these shoes need to change the least. Like, I feel like they're the ones that are
Top 5
the
are basically all
steadiest ship
finishing
right now,
top 5.
where we're seeing these volatile games from Queasy and Veno's trios. You know, both of those, you know, teams loving to play for height. Whereas these guys can just sort of play their own game, and I think the points will come.
Yeah, and what I love about this team right now is they're actually contested in that game by Volko's team from all the way to the north of the map. Those guys have landed here this season as well, so they have experience off spawn there. But Malabuka, Ping, and Wox, they're just saying, right, we're just going to brush you aside. We're going to take you out as quickly as possible and not let that affect the rest of our game. So really, really promising stuff from these guys. Just got to keep up that consistency on low ground.
Well, let's head back to Takata and the best Taco for game #10, because I can't wait to board that battle boss yet again.
Nah, probably not, defenders.
You're not the only one, Frankie. I cannot wait to see what our final 3 matches of the day look like, Takata, especially with the way that we're starting to see that top 5 of the leaderboard kind of break away with things.
Yeah, it's getting extremely close between all these top teams. And I mean, Levin was talking about the only ones being contested Squeezy, but I think last game Malabuka got into a bit of a fight in the early game from Volko and his trio. I mean, they landed close to them. I'm not sure if they fully went night shift or it was just a quick fight, but we might have
So
a
we've
bit
been
more
here
danger.
for 20 minutes, bro.
Yeah, regardless of the circumstances of
something
how
like that. It's
players
like
ended
8.
up somewhere, the
It feels like
reality
an
of the
hour.
situation is the
The
map
longer the
is
tournaments
changing,
get like
and
go
we've got a
on,
chance
the
to
longer
see
the
what
breaks
Match 10
feels.
has in store.
So many off-spawn engagements for these top teams, but what matters is being able to make it count when you make it to that mid, to that end game. We saw what happened to Vico, Veno, and Flixie. They lost one of their teammates going into the end game, but they were still able to secure a solid match, 6th place with 5 eliminations. I mean, you can't do much better than that. Playing as a duo from the start,
did
and
not
that is
do
exactly
good last
what you
game.
need
Vino
if
died
you want
pretty
to come
early.
out on top.
But I love
His
that
teammates
shout
clutched,
from
but
Levin, because when you think about the
Vanya got
entirety of
second
Chapter
last game.
5 in EU, it
Alright, chat, make
was
sure to predict.
Vico and
Hopefully
Flixie
Queasy does not die right
completely
here, so the
running
prediction
things.
can keep going without
And
being refunded.
knowing that, even they're still able to kind of channel that same energy in a trio scenario, working as a team. Impressive.
Well, you were
stuff
predicting
overall,
Queasy,
really,
who is
but
having a pretty solid day. Vanya, who just got another second.
Found
Vico,
their
who just
entrance
won like a game
and
ago.
realistically trying
or
to
Malabuka.
attempt to take over that first place position. But this fight in Seaport City, it's got to be quick. It's got to be finished nice and tidy. Otherwise, other teams are definitely going to make their way over.
Yeah, I'm still
last
gonna
match
do
they were able to
an
clean
A.
it up quickly when both trios
course,
contested
dude.
main, but this time around, Shakeoff and his trio just gave
could
main
never
to
miss the
Swizzy,
best
Queasy,
three.
and Merstash, so they were able to land and get looted
Region
up, and
with-
now that's
with-
going to
with
cause
Peter
this
Bot.
fight to kind of delay
Gold.
itself a bit.
The World Cup
Question
champion.
is, like you were saying, Taco, is that delay going to
It,
be enough for
Hound,
some
I will never
trios to
lose.
start wandering on in and seeing, hey, why is there no shots going on yet? What's taken this trio so long to fight?
It's largely a team like iDrop, Sky, and Scroll that really enters the conversation here, because we already saw them, don't want to say desperate, but they did extend rather early
And
into
if you're
aggressing
EU and you
that
can't hang, dude,
turtle
it's okay.
section south of Hopeful Heights, because they wanted the fight. They're trying to establish their surge early on, and more importantly still, they're trying to prove, iDrop especially, that he is capable of a high place, if not a win entirely, holding that Axe of Champions here. But if they want to even retain that position from yesterday,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to earn it back at this point, Takata, because one by one they've just been dropping in the leaderboard.
Take a look at this though. Fincheck thought he was just gonna go get a quick refresh on his
Oh,
Sprite.
so Momo, that's what we're
Vico,
doing.
Beno,
No, ban
Flixie.
this retard.
Didn't want to let that one slide. Good for him though. Upwell was able to take some shots back at Veno, cracking him and kind of halting that engagement, as now they're going to be forced to disengage once again and not continue the pursuit.
Actually,
Vico and
you know what,
Beno
Momo?
now, though.
You just pissed me off.
The team so close. Well, that doesn't matter. As far as Darm, Demus, and Pix are concerned, they love when it's only one team that they've got to deal with.
I
Crusaders
streamed
and
you
Mappy,
yesterday.
They're not going to be able to escape. Demus finds that first elimination to really crack things open here. Mappy now
I'm a
getting
grinder, bro. I've been
completely
putting in the
keyed down,
hours.
rolled over. Doesn't even get a chance to try and escape.
2 streams a day.
He's
we
the
streamed
last
EU
surviving
Group 3
member,
and an A Group 3
essentially, and it's
too.
not going to be enough here, as Demus and Darm are just doing everything they can to capitalize on these early fights.
We've been
This is
streaming
big, though,
evals,
'cause
which normally
they
don't do.
were able to get elims in the previous matches earlier on.
Sold
but
cash cups, which I
they were
normally
still
don't do.
struggling a bit.
Solo cash
for
cup
surge
streams
and
have been
damage. They went down 22nd place in the last game.
slightly
they got
better
9th
than I
place, so it was
expected.
an improvement. But now starting
Don't
off
have
so
high
strong with a quick
expectations
3
for those.
eliminations, hopefully they're
Like
able to
they
get a
could be a
match to
bit
kind of
better,
bounce
but-
them back, because they've dropped down to 5th place now.
Yeah, the servers are
as
laggy.
They were almost leading the pack going in.
Who do I think's
today
gonna win
after
a
the
U?
first match now.
I
with a
think
big
Vico's
game
gonna
needed
pull
to
it
kinda
out.
Put themselves back into check.
Malabuka,
Swizzy and Merstash though coming.
I don't know.
from
Malabuka
that
like
victory
gets kills,
royale.
but
I
they're
mean,
not very
All
consistent.
you gotta do.
Vanya
is play
doesn't
like you
win
did in the last
games,
match.
so they
Hopefully,
scare me.
Rift Island's at their favor.
Vico wins
Whereas
games,
Teeny,
so
though,
I'll take Vico here.
trying to do something as a duo here.
But On an A, probably Peter.
It's crazy to think that it designated
Peter or
a
Acorn.
drop
I don't
has
really think anyone else has a chance.
almost seemingly worked against Teeny's trio.
Yeah, 2
at
spots
this point,
globals for EU
because
and NA.
they've had issues with this early off-spawn battle in the sense that they're just not closing it out fast enough, and that's opening the doorway for other teams like Giannis, like Shark, Juicy,
Nah,
Andy,
Pumbaka-
to then come and
Pumbaka
pressure
Parts
after
don't
the
even
fact
have that
third
big of a
party
lead on
them
West.
for easy pickings.
They're only up by
and
like 50.
Helix team is also left in a
They're
similar
one game
note
ahead.
where we've oftentimes just see them either running to try and get a reboot,
Like, they've won
or
4
just
straight
barely
games,
surviving.
yes, but like, then they
Yeah, we've still
kind of
got
had
matches
2
that
mid
have been
games.
kinda,
They basically
trying to
have
just
4 good
clutch from
games, while
reboot
the other
after
team played
reboot.
like
But I mean, as
little
long
bit
as you're able to
more
secure
consistent.
a
They also, I
decent
think,
amount
won
of
back-to-back.
points to kind of stabilize your place on the leaderboard, sometimes it's just enough. As Shakeoff, Momsy,
No, Momo's not
be
getting
careful
untimed
here.
out.
They've decided to go towards Blaha and his trio, and actually already got one.
Bro,
Caught him off guard at the bird to go, and Momsy, Shakos, they're still lying in wait. We're gonna look back on what went wrong here for Blaha. Just wrong doorway, wrong house.
why is he on a
Wrong
new
place to
account?
be, but
Fortunate.
that's a big come up for our French team, especially considering the situation they've been dealt.
I can't
Last
unban
couple of
him.
matches,
I hate
he
it.
limbed off rip essentially from
Momo,
Queasy's
you
team,
unban him.
so
I'm not doing it.
anywhere they get something going is always going to be better than the nothing they've been left with.
Speaking about nothing, Walks, Ping, Malabuka, no quick eliminations this game compared to the last. As
You
now
have mod.
they're gonna most likely go.
It's not.
to their
It's not letting
surroundings
me
once
click the
again to see
button
what
and
they can
unban him. I'm not
find.
typing his name.
Vanya, Marius, Pixie though, elevating themselves by the Shattered Span. Triple Onimax gonna come through. Looks like they want to get extra aggressive here. It's Combeck. That's gonna get caught off guard as the pressure's right onto him, directly into his box. He fears that
Try to stay
danger
awake
as
for
he
an egg,
gets
dude.
knocked
Just pop a
down.
chug jug, dude.
And now Marius, Vanya, Pixie, they might not even be done yet.
Chasing Convict all the way to the
Bro, you
Overlook Lighthouse
why
is
isn't it
insane
working?
work. And not only that, but
Alright, you have it now.
Mustache, Swizzy, they've definitely taken notice of the action that's unfolding east of Shattered Span, and they want their own slice of the pie here. Squeezy setting up a nice little surge base on this hill that overlooks that direction entirely. Swizzy as well from a
think
separate
your
angle
issues,
here
I
in the
know.
bush. They've got total bridge coverage here right now, Takata, and they can definitely get a firm grasp on teams in the surrounding area as well. That overhead view doing an excellent job to really shape just what kind of advantages they have.
Yeah, I think they kind of forced Momsy, Skyjump, and Shakeoff out quite early from their drop spot, having won the main building, and then from then kind of followed them to their surroundings to see, hey, you're gonna go for damage.
No,
well, I'm gonna
I
follow
timed
there
you
for the
out
third
because
party.
you just
But
unbanned
luckily enough
some
for
random
Skyjump and his
first-time
trio,
chatter.
nothing kind of turned out from it.
My bad. I didn't know he was chopping.
Veno, Vico, Flixie. Still no elims on the board. Kind of playing edge of zone here, just rotating through, seeing what they can potentially find.
Oh, I forgot to unban that guy. Here, I'll go into my.
They might get exactly what they're
I'll go into my
after if
YouTube
it's surge that
settings
they're
real
looking
fast.
for, and considering that Veno's already directly
really don't
made
know how
notes
to
of the
do
fact
that,
they
though.
didn't feel
Not
like
gonna
this
lie.
team was getting aggressive enough. And we saw a big moment from that, but Clownski, Gudenbri,
Oh, wait.
Moneymaker,
I
they've
think
got
I
to be
got it.
careful.
I gotta
How
find him
many
now.
times have we seen Veno's teams just crouch walk up to a surge base and chop them out? So if nobody is looking back to recognize this rotate
YouTube
from
name?
Vico's team, it
Is
could
that
be
their
disastrous.
YouTube name?
I mean, they
What's-
have
what would their
Moneymaker
YouTube
down
name
below,
say?
so they're actually gonna go for a quick shot. Build the ramps, and just like that, 2 knocks instantly. Are you kidding me? Vico, Flixie, Veno not missing
Vico
a
just got 2
single
kills?
shot. Guden goes down, Clown shortly after, and now
I don't
everything's
see
on the
him like
line for
this.
Moneymaker as a solo.
Moneymaker is devastated. Seti and Cammy as well. I mean, they were the ones that were initially looking at Gudenbri's team in the first place, and now they have to watch and
Oh, I got
witness as Veno's
Alright, I
team
unbanned
just swoops in, steals those eliminations away from them. A massive amount of surge as well that they've definitely been able to establish here in Game 10.
What's crazy is they got both players. Normally you do like a 3-2-1, you pick out the outfit or whatever that you can kind of distinguish the
Just
player
don't
and just
miss.
focus the same one, but they got both of them. Like, That was insane. As we look back over
Amy
to Walk's
Uncon?
ping,
Nah, they killed him off
who
spawn.
Are also on a surge
For
base.
sure.
Luckily enough, Vico Venom Flixie aren't in the surrounding areas looking for them, but might just be as dangerous as Walks gets
Ninth
knocked
place
down
is
to
dead.
68 HP.
All things considered, though, Watts
Dang,
being
what's
a
happening to
Malbuga
Sky
have
and Scroll
had
today?
a relatively consistent time throughout the course of Major 1 finals in comparison to Scroll, iDrop, and Sky, where they need some kind of engagement to be the catalyst. And they're not the only ones. Seeing Tayson, seeing Trulix Chicho try to get active this early on, just kind of recognizing the fact sticking by in a surge base for Foxy Floodgate is not working out for us. We have to get involved in the action early on to get our surge tags, because all these other teams, they're being pushed towards those outskirts of the map. So teams that are center map like Tayson's, they're not having opportunities to actually get surge tags like what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, I believe Levin was mentioning exactly that. There's just not enough trios rotating through, and Tayson and his trio were dependent purely basically on AR tags for Surge in the mid game. So now seeing them opting for more close quarters combat, it's a change up that they might desperately need if they want to make a comeback.
And if you get into the real nitty gritty of it as well, Tayson, Trulix, and Chicho, they even had struggles where even when we saw them in endgame moments, Foxy Floodgate just did not bode enough ammo for them to be able to consistently try and actually challenge players on height. So they didn't really have anything that could generate those winning moments, so to say. All these teams, though, still looking to try and get a clear grasp on Game 10.
Just isn't
Farm
Tayson's
takes
meta?
Demons. We
I'm,
saw
just,
them
I'm
get
trying
those
to
3
figure out what is
eliminations early
Tayson's
on.
meta.
Is now they're just gonna look for
Big axe only?
the AR aspect of it. I mean, being kind of on the edge of zone here at Pump Powder, all those teams that are east of them are gonna eventually have to rotate on in, but it is a hill, so it's not like they have, I mean, they have a good amount of vision, especially how high up Darm is, but I'm wondering how many tags they'll actually get as their eyes are just set locked on Fistropy
Rangers
and his
dominate
trio.
this EU lobby for sure.
Crazy to think, though, that Darm's actually got that mythic AR for once. That it could be a very menacing weapon to put into Darm's hands, considering just how technically mechanical we've already seen him be. When you hand him the best weapon in the game right now, his firepower just increases tenfold.
Marius, though, put himself
Sorry, Tayson's got meme coins.
in a slippy situation
He's
by
vibing.
Demons here. What's going on? The pressure
just
all
like
around
Bugha,
them. It's
but
Yanis,
Bugha's
it's
top
Chap,
5 right now.
It's Noah, who wanted to find a way to get damage. This is a trio that always goes close for their surge. They fight for it when they need it. As Vanya looks for an angle on the outskirts here. But so far, not enough damage has been done from either trio to fully commit. So it looks like a soft fight is how it's going to end.
But while we're at Demon's Dojo, I have to start to wonder, where's Pink? Where's Nebs? Where's Chino? Surely those guys are still hanging around somewhere, and that's also another discussion entirely. I mean, Pink, Nebs, Chino have definitely had a pretty rough time so far, but leading off from day 1 into day 2, they were looking at, you know, that top 25 still at
Need to
least.
put Fizz
Pixie,
back in
Vanya,
comp.
and Marius, though, they are clearly trying to
I'm gonna have to
create
pass.
some form of surge.
Speaking about Surge, Malabuka walks ping. We haven't seen them fight yet. I mean, on con night shift, what they tend to do is just loot up and look for kind of third parties in the surrounding area. Last match, they kind of got a free gift, but this time around, curious to see what they end up doing. They haven't really had too many struggles with it. They've been very consistent
Dang, now Bugha
throughout
and
the
them.
day. And hopefully that doesn't change in these last matches.
Just trying to get a couple spare
Need to
shieldfish where possible. Considering the
Dude,
zone
Vino's
pool
getting
over by
zones.
Lost
This
Lake
is
area,
scary.
plenty of water spots for Malibu to
Another
take
zone for
advantage
them?
of, so he'll likely hold on to that fishing rod for a while. They can continue
Then
to just
first,
play
Vino.
tag with some of these
Oh.
other teams. Vanya, though,
Vino's in first by
very
10
difficult
points.
situation here. Might be caught between Darmpix, Demas, Chad,
A very
Morale,
close
and
leaderboard.
Yanis on the other side of
First
that
to fourth
mountain.
place is 40-point difference. 30-point difference.
Two of the top teams fighting each other, both in the top 5, is a scary sight to see so early on in the match. It is 4th zone here, so Rift Island should have appeared. I'm curious to see if once again we'll get Queasy, Murstache, and Swizzy with a primed up position for it. But in the meantime, Pix, Darm, and Demus got out of that
Yeah, I would assume
potential
Queasy's gonna
scare.
go for Island.
And now can continue getting a bit more into the zone here.
Vanya, Marius, and Pixie are probably looking for more hard material, which is why they were by that bird to go in the first place. But what they don't know is that it's basically just bones at this point. Demus, Darm, and Pix surely wiped it clean of most of the metal available there, and
Dude,
gas
what
stations
is
having
Mongrel
already
doing,
been
dog?
slightly reduced in terms of what they have to offer for hard material. It's going to make things
Taking
very
his jolly
tough
old time getting
for that
down.
mid to late game approach, especially
Panzer leads all
considering
players
that
with
I've had a
11,000
chance
damage
to
though.
actually take
Jeepers.
notice of what's going down over by Shogun's
Panzer's
Arena,
just
but
him, bro.
Panzer, Mongrel, and Savage, everybody should be so happy. If you are a Savage or Mongrel fan, a newfound Panzer fan as well, these guys are in the top 10 currently, just trying to hold on to that position. When you consider that so many people counted them out, so many people were saying they didn't belong.
When did
and
he
yet
get this good? I
here
mean,
they
people have
stand
been
tall,
saying Panzer's pretty
seventh
good.
leading into game 10.
Malibuk always
The
plays with
damage
him.
count is crazy too. The most damage in the lobby. I mean, Panzer's got 19 elims throughout these major finals. Murstache has gotten 30 elims, and Panzer still has more damage, which is insane. Look at this zone as well. A full
Wow, this is a
North
terrible
Pole.
zone.
Half of the zone being
Look at where
water,
look at where
as
Vino and them
Vico,
are.
Menno, Flixie were quick to rotate on in, having already 500
Little
damage above
scary
the
spot
threshold.
for Surge, but I mean, if they
Scary stuff for
If they get
anybody
Surge,
that has to actually
this
trek
spot's
their way
dangerous.
into this territory. Because
They're
of getting
siphoned?
some
Yeah,
friendly
it's,
hellos from
75
across the
HP over
pond,
time.
essentially.
White
All
HP
these
only.
teams very wary of the fact that it's a relatively flat landscape. There are some hills to take advantage of, but it's largely just the fact that it's got water, so much water everywhere, Takata, and zones can be so unforgiving in those types of circumstances.
What I'm thinking here for Darm, Demus, and Co is that they already have so much damage, they don't need much more, and they're on an incredibly congested side. When zones pull very far to the
Marius
north,
might be getting
south,
free
any
kills.
edge of the map, you have so many trios
Oh,
and
they-
players rotating
never
on
mind.
in that
I mean, maybe
it's
they
just
still
gonna
get
cause that side of the zone
one of these.
to be that much more congested. But it looks like it is going to pull back west. So
They are
Vanya,
stacked,
Marius,
and it pulls
Pixie
over to Vino,
most
by
likely
the
gonna
way.
get on the rotate here.
Vino's
These guys
west
made
over there.
fast work of moving to where they needed to be. Considering
Vino
the
is
last
getting
position
a
we just saw them at,
beautiful
and they are
zone.
wasting no time with trying to get ahead of the pack. But they've been trailing ever so slightly behind Pix, Darm, and Demus.
They're
for
gonna be
some
up north
steady
edge.
Time now, Takata. They've got to be real careful that this Polish trio doesn't decide, hey, maybe we want to come to a pause for a second. Maybe
Polish
we
is
want to just
so
take
unlucky,
a
yeah,
direct
timing.
fight with these guys instead of keeping them on our backs the whole game.
Honestly, at this point, the
to
position
run in
that
that earlier.
Demus, Pix, and Darm are in, they have chug splashes, they have mats, they have loot. You can see they're just kind of playing placement. They're holding out the zones. They don't want to risk anything. They just want to keep themselves in a prime position for that late game. And once those moving zones start, that's where it all comes down to play. As we look back
Rocket Ram
over
is in next
to
season.
Swizzy, Queasy, and Murstache, who are still in the storm. But have
BG's,
to
brother.
figure out a way to rotate themselves back in here. If they go more towards to that side of the
I'm not
zone
gonna lie,
that's
bro.
already
Sheena
in the
posted like a
storm,
picture
they know that once it starts closing, there will be less people there.
of
So
something that is
you can see
literally
they're
like
kinda making their way
120p,
over
and
to that
oh
side
my
to
god, I did not know
have
what
a
I'm
safer
looking at.
rotate.
I don't know how
Gotta
they
get
see
a
the
move
rocket
on,
ram.
though. Two zones are very
How is that a rocket ram,
unfriendly,
brother?
and especially when there's teams already kind of based around the edge.
Oh,
At
it's
the
a
very
rocket
least, Queasy
drill.
Definitely trying to path a dead side pool, but they're gonna definitely be well out of sight
Man, I
for
should have read the tweet.
everyone else.
And look at this elevation, Taco. The zone is pulling
A bin.
towards an already elevated build fight. But if they end up pulling the half and half, I mean, it's gonna take quite a lot of luck. It's gonna take a lot of RNG, but hey, it's
Sorry.
possible.
We'll be
In
back.
the meantime, waiting for those
At
zones that
3 for the
unfortunately
end
do
game.
end up pulling west for them.
Vino
Not the
just got a
corners they were
kill.
hoping. They still should have a pretty decent rotate through, but Demus looking for a quick shotgun shot, unable to connect. Oni masks are gonna come through, and the rotates will continue.
Yeah, let's
for
stop,
these
Bubba. Let's
trios.
just stop, bro.
Ooh, shut down there though.
Let's
Vanya
stop while we're
happy
ahead, man.
to collect that extra elimination. Pulse team maybe sweating a bit. Not sure if they were in as tough of a spot as Gantry just now.
Team
but
Hypex? Yeah, I saw.
Malabuka, Ping, walks. Again, really steady, consistent.
Yeah,
throughout
Mongo's
the
probably
course
gonna
of
finish
Major
top
One
10
Finals
now.
so far. And Swizzy, Queasy, Murstache, they didn't get the
Probably
immediate
finish, like,
pull that they were hoping for here at Takata.
six
But
to
at the same
10.
time, they're definitely trying to clear out the team on elevation across from them. They want to take over that position. They're also making sure to keep their line of sight as clear as possible. That's why Swizzy shooting out the trees.
They're gonna have to
scouted.
battle
There
for
is a
6th place,
survey
but it's
way
possible.
off in the distance. It might belong to Veno.
They also have to battle with iDrop.
No, Vico Flixie
for, like,
still
6 and
leading
7.
the pack, but there's only a 20
pretty
point
hard.
difference between first and third place. So although they're in first going into this match, everything can change depending on how this one concludes. Marius, Pixie, Vanya, 114 above. It's not safe enough as they're trying to just find any opening on trios rotating in. But so far, unable to find many connections.
Swizzy definitely doesn't want to have to deal with all this pressure. My man's is just trying to make a humble fisherman life. Still looking to extend, but Malabuka from out of nowhere completely doused.
I mean, Rip
Now it's Wox
Malabuka.
and Ping.
As a duo, the second place trio put into panic as they've lost one. I mean, they're
No,
in zone
definitely
here.
not,
We
Tyler.
saw what Vico and Flixie were able to do as a duo in the last match. They clutched it up. And it looks like we're going to need the same thing to happen from Wox and Ping if they want to maintain their spot on the leaderboard.
Asen dead.
Shaco's
Chris
just
dead.
barely managing to survive for the
Dino's
time
got
being,
3
but
kills.
Veno, Vico, Flixie hot on their heels, looking to just chase them down, looking to also establish themselves with solid positioning. And Veno gonna safely tarp his way through. Shaco's body loot, wants to make sure that he claims as much of that as possible. He knows he's
Definitely
going to
not.
need that
Yeah, it's
material
not gonna. Yeah,
for
definitely
this
not. What?
endgame.
The new
Marius, on
POIs
the
are
other
gonna
hand,
be the
he
best.
knows that they need damage. This trio has struggled today, Takata, with getting their surge online and well above that damage threshold.
Barely even the best POI
Issue
now.
is for Vanya Marius, Pixie
If-
zone
if
pulled
it-
to the
if it
literal
even is.
opposite side of the map from when they were. So they're gonna have to be quick on their feet to get the rotate on in.
Oh,
Demus
Demus
picks
might be
Darm in a
dead.
Similar situation, but Demus loses all of his shield during the rotate now. His teammates are gonna have to play the defensive to give them a bit of time to use any heal possible and continue once again with their rotate.
It's the fact that they were forced to ultimate low. They were forced to stop their rotation. They were trying to claim front side, if anything, and now it's not going to be a pipe dream just yet, but it's definitely going to be tough, difficult
Wait,
to
Mr. Savage is
reestablish.
playing height?
Vanya even getting a chance to look back, see Savage off in the distance. A little bit of
I
elevation.
think they're gonna get
That's
fought for
Vanya's
that, though.
intention as well.
Oh, they came down.
They're underneath that damage threshold now. They need
Vanya's
to
below.
press heavily onto a team.
Yo,
They've got
guys.
plenty directly underneath them, but all these trees is
I don't
what
think they're gonna
blocking
get
their
any
line of sight.
surge.
Yeah, they just need a bit of damage. They're primed up in terms of positioning. If they can maintain that, it would be crucial. for taking home this
it's
match,
the
as
no,
so many
they're
of the
so
top
doomed.
Trios are still up.
It's just the
in
classic.
contention,
You're on
but
height,
Vanya now with
looking
Storm
at
Surge is
looking
active,
at what
124 below. They have to wait for the rotates to come through, and they cannot miss
they
their
need
shots
people
here.
to rotate, but like
They're hoping that there's going to be teams looking to poke their heads forward, like to try and get ahead of where everybody else is at, not get stuck
triple
in that
spray somebody.
low to mid-ground congestion.
Somebody
but
shoot their
Vanya
gun.
is not finding any
Shoot
sort
it at
of bulk of
somebody.
These teams just taking too much notice of what's going on up above, and Marius instead watches, tries to provide some cover up. As now CZB, Nathan
12
on
below,
the other side of height.
above.
They might be the openings, but it's still just barely above.
Demus, though, he's lost one of his teammates. Darm has gone down, leaving it up to him and Pix. The good news is they're together. The bad news, only wood left over, 18 builds, as they're forced to recuperate what they've lost. But Vico, Veno, and Flixie, they're looking up above.
Oh, I think
They know
Veno
high
wants
ground's a
it.
possibility. The Odimasts are going to come through, but so far it was just to get ahead as they continue.
I think
to
Veno
keep
wants
their
this.
eyes and stay aware.
Veno still knows he wants to move ahead further. Pixie
Wait,
on
Swizzy
the other
wants it.
side, gonna block him up for the time being. He needs to shoot them out first. Swizzy trying to help aid with that endeavor. Swizzy, Queasy, Murstache, though, they're on an opposite side because they don't want to let anybody else take height from them. Mongrel.
Wait,
trying to see
Mongrel
what he can do.
again.
They are not done with the
Dude,
high ground retakes.
it's Mongrel
Time and time
again.
We see Panzer, we see Mongrel Savage go.
Mongrel's
Will this be
dead.
the match where they're able to fully
Mr.
secure it?
Savage is on
Panzer leading
height.
the pack in terms of damage. They've not been missing their shots, but they haven't been able to close a game out on height.
Vanya dead.
Mongrel's gone down. It leaves Mr.
It's
Savage
Mr. Savage and
to clutch it as a
Panzer.
duo, and they're forced now
I mean, dude,
to
they're
drop
just
down.
sending it like,
Respect the dedication,
and
but
they're all
the
just griefing each other
intentions
every
may
game,
have
and they gave
been
Vico a
sourly
free
put.
win.
Vico, Flixie, Venom,
Yeah,
they're gonna
Vico
take
just got a
advantage of the
free
chaos
win.
above. Back
Wait,
shot
Flixie's
onto
dead.
Queasy,
They're all
and now
griefing
Venom,
height.
Vico, but they're left
None
in
of them
tatters.
wanted to play
Something
low
has gone
ground this
horribly
game.
wrong. Venom's still trying to
They're
claim
all
height.
just full
What's
griefing
happened?
height.
Vico was left on a sliver of HP.
Nobody
but
wants
he's
to
able
play low.
recuperate it. Now as a duo, they can hold on to height. Panzer still looking strong as he takes down Tayson. They need to get ahead here though, but there's just so many trios, so many players on low ground. It's absolute madness.
Somehow through all the chaos, Venom has managed
Walks
to
and
dart
Pings
his
are
way
still
up
alive as a
above.
duo,
Walks,
barely.
Ping, they might have the heals advantage
First
here,
Stash
though.
is
They need
King's
his
full
build.
dead.
Stash gonna fall.
Walks is
getting
about to
credited for
die.
The Siphon playing such a big part in keeping his HP alive, but no.
King is a
Tag from the
solo.
side. Didn't get a chance to actually block his way off.
Ping left as a solo, doing what he can to scavenge the last points of the
Dang,
match.
Vino
but
still-
and Vico continuing
Vino
to
still
rain
might
down
win this.
from above, taking
Even
player
after
after
all of
player
that.
out, tarping on ahead, but they are running low on mats. The issue is, I don't think there's any trios that can contest them yet for high ground.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get like second here, guaranteed.
More materials.
Everybody's
Kari
too
said he
busy
can't
fighting
be.
on low
They're trying
ground.
to strike yet again. Kari gonna
They're
be
gonna get
brought
second.
Down, though. Cammy, Seti still looking to try
Maybe
and
even
see if
first.
there's a chance
Everybody's
for that
griefing
revive
each
play,
other.
but immediately shut down.
And they're getting
Venom
kills
just
for
relentless
Dage.
with this onslaught.
They're
Dead.
hungry. It's time to get fraggy. Vico
Yeah,
Venom
they're gonna
know this.
win.
To close this out,
It's a
they pick
1v2,
up
they
Cammy.
won.
They pick up another elimination.
They just
Vico
won as a
has
duo.
6, looking unstoppable as now it's all up to Noah in the 1 versus 2 against absolute
10
titans.
kills,
Noah,
11
you
kill
have to
win if
pull
they
off
kill
a
Noah.
miracle to come out on top here,
GG's.
but it's gonna be impossible.
That is
Vico,
4
7th elimination.
wins. Wow. How did they just win that? Our chat, after 10 games, it is a 81 point lead for Vico, Vino, and Flixie. That might be GG, chat. 81 point lead. Swizzy, Queasy, Murstache are in second. Vanya, Pixie, Marius third. King Walks, Malabuka fourth. Hicks, Darm, Dimas fifth. Mongrel, Savage, Panzer sixth. Contry seventh. I Drop eighth. CZB ninth. And Combeck 10th. GG's. Looks like Vino's about to win. They have an 80 point lead. I just don't see how they lose this one now. Win reaction on Big. Oh yeah, I'll pull that up. That is a Vino win. Go to Big Clan. 4 wins, dude. Oh, they're making like a documentary? Oh, dude, this might be GG.
No, no. Come here. Yeah. You keeping up? Let's go!
Oh my god. Oh, hell no.
Let's go!
Is he gonna...
That's how we do it, baby! Oh, I shit on Queasy, by the way. That guy sucks!
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, fucking max to the dome.
Chill on Noah Riley, please. Max to the dome. Alright, GG. He's talking about Queasy? Is he not talking about Noah right there? Oh, he's talking about Queasy? GG's. I thought that was Vino that killed Queasy on height. Those Vico, bro. Their names are just 4 letters and V's, bro. Like, Wheezy wins that if they don't get griefed. I mean, that's like a pretty impossible situation, though. That was literally like 5 teams, like going for height. It was literally Mongrel, Vico went up there, Queasy went up there, and then Swizzy was the original holder. Like, that was doomed. Is Acorn winning today? We'll see. So Vino and Queasy's team might make globals. Yeah, if they stay like this, it looks like it's a battle to see whoever finishes in second. I mean, our leaderboard today's not that bad. I mean, right now we have first, second, third, fourth, all right. Pix is 1 away. Mixon is 3. Entree is 1. TZB is in the right spot. And then Tayson just needs to scooch his way on in there. But he'd kick somebody else out. Yeah. I think this is kind of over. I don't know, Arrow. I think it's kind of over. No, day 2 points are not double. And they've never been doubled. It was 1.5. Is Mongrel top 5? Maybe. I mean, he would need Pix and Dimas to have most likely 2 bad games in a row. So, I mean, which is, possible. Not very probable, but it is on the possible side. I mean, 6th place, like, if I'm like a Mongrel fan, you probably just want them to keep 6th place here, because that's, I mean, they have to battle with a couple teams. 6th place would be a crazy placement. Worst case scenario, Mongrel and them have 2 bad games and literally fall out the top 10. Which is also possible. Like, they have a 9-point lead on this team, 20-point lead on this team, like a 40-point lead, 50. Like, they could fall out the top 10 still. Or maybe down to 10, I guess. Just need to have 2 good games so they stay. They are. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like, this like high ground play is like working in a way. The fact that they're alive long enough to go for height. What place do I think Mongrel gets? Either 6th or 7th, most likely. I mean, they've gone top 7 3 games in a row. This team hasn't gone top 10 in 3 games. Like, they've been struggling. iDrop's been struggling all day. CZB's doing pretty good today. CZB actually might give them a good fight. I don't know if these 2 teams give them a fight, but CZB might.
But let's take a look at number. I'm gonna just pick a number. Any number. In fact, you know what?
All right, chat. I'm running an ad for this game, so we do not have an ad.
I'm trying to see where
our ads are back being fine. I'm just gonna run an ad before the game starts now. I'm gonna start the prediction though. I'm starting the who does better prediction. We have the top 4 teams: Vico, Vanya, Malibuca, Queasy. Top 5 teams are in the prediction.
Greatest performance, particularly in that.
You guys want to support the stream on YouTube? Drop a like.
2-horse race. Very excited to see who is going to come out on top here. It's very, very close. And they did what Vico, Venom, and Flixie they didn't do, sorry, what Vico, Venom, and Flixie did do, which is
I mean,
duo
Blaha's always
clutch.
been
We saw
floating
Malibu
around
going
like
down
top
very
10, I
early on.
think.
Ping and Wox 11, they couldn't make it happen, and that's clearly been the difference
I don't
here.
think they've ever really
It
been
just
inside of
didn't
that,
work
though.
out for them in this particular endgame, and that's clearly been the difference in that game.
Yeah, I think when you look at the you know, those two, you expect them to maybe pull off something, right? You know, they got that sort of chemistry. There's been a lot of situations I feel like where Ping has sort of been left alone as that sole player, but yeah, not able to really squeeze as many points out of it. Again, I'm just looking at this leaderboard and I'm looking at that game that Veno and them just had, and it's like they're starting to pull away. And with 2 games left, you can't afford to let them pull away. I don't want to be that guy, but also 6 out of 12 is still on the cards. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but it still is on the cards. So let's see what happens there.
Well, at number 2, we've got Swizzy, Queasy, and Mercer.
I don't see them winning
loving
these
this
2 next
rivalry that's
games.
building
I
up
mean, they could
between
get
these
6 out of 12,
ex-Duo
but
partners, Veno and Queasy. And Mustaches,
I don't
we've
see
got to
them
say,
winning,
it's been such a huge difference maker for this trio.
3 in a row. Be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a
I mean,
really,
and that would
really
be
great
3 wins in a row
performance
for a
from these
team
guys.
that's
They've
been
sort of clutched up in
pretty
so many important
inconsistent
moments.
today.
Even in that
Or
last
like
game,
in general.
we saw them
Like
sort of
they
rotating
either
through the
like
storm,
win,
popping those med kits
like
we
their
know they
match
love to
history is
do. I
literally
think they got
win
quite
or
unlucky
get
in this
like
game.
0
The zone
points.
didn't
Like
quite
that's
fall in their
literally their
favor,
match
which
history.
I think if they did get a little bit more lucky with those zones, we could have been talking about a
Which is
completely
crazy
different
because if
trio
they
winning
weren't
this
this
game, and it could be
inconsistent,
even
they would be
closer,
winning by
11,
like
but
300.
This is so far so good. Not the ideal game for them, but we've seen what they can do off spawn. We've seen that they can make it to these positions.
Whoever wins
and
is the
put
first
themselves in the
4-peat in
position
an
to
A?
take
Yeah, most
height, so
likely.
it's far from over.
Mini, it's quite close, right, between like
How the heck
second,
did-
third, fourth right now in terms of like the people pushing Veno.
Where the heck did
and them.
Mr. Savage go?
Do you think this is the team that's
Aussie
going to do
stream.
it? Like, who's the team you're looking at now? Is like, who's going to save the region and stop the favorites from winning, that type of thing? Like, who's it going to be out of those 3?
I think
There's
it's got to
the
be
pick.
them. I
What
think just
pick?
looking at how Malibuca went down there, Ping and Watts couldn't quite make it happen. Yeah, for me, it's got to be them. They're the team that's setting up height. They're the team that's taking these, that's playing in the storm, even when the zone isn't pulling to them. It's them for me. Do you
shucks.
agree? What about you?
And I'm just looking at this leaderboard and I'm looking at. I'm leaning towards them for sure. I feel like I'm not seeing the power I once saw from Malibuca and them in previous. Obviously, it's come back to bite me in the bum, right? But you know, like at least in the last couple games, it's not been what I wanted to see ramping up, right? You want to see teams ramp up as we head to those last couple games, but. Regardless of how it goes, it's going to be a fun
What the
ride.
heck is that?
Levin, do you think it's going to be a fun ride for Vanya, Pixie, and Marius? Because I'm
That
actually
is
surprised
not
that they're
Marco.
still holding on to that number 3 spot, given their luck today.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to sound like a hater, but I kind of was expecting them to have like fallen out of the race by now. If I'm actually quite surprised they're still like really in this. I know I'm talking about them like they're not in this. No, like they are well and truly in this race, and they're sort of overcoming a lot of the like problems they're having in earlier parts of the game, and still managing to.
Oh my
like,
God,
clutch
Chad,
up big
imagine if
points out of these
Savage
games, right?
finishes
Like,
with
just
a better
clutch
placement
from
than Clicks.
Pixie
Oh
and
my
Marius in
God.
this game again. You're just getting
be a war.
squeezing so many points just to keep you in the competition. And
We're
that's what
already
you need
doomed.
sometimes in these tournaments to be able to come out on top and win.
Well, sometimes we get our champion decided in game number 11. Not always, and it is so close this time that I have a feeling that is not going to happen. But I have an other feeling that Veno is going to want to make this game in particular count. So let's head to our casters, Takata and Taco.
All right, game number 11.
Thank you so much, Frankie. Look,
Guys, 1 minute
everything
left on
is
the prediction. Make
line
sure to
now.
predict
We've
Vino,
got 2
Venya,
matches left.
Malabuca, or
Taco,
Queasy.
Vico, Veno, Flixie
You have the team in
leading the
first,
pack
the team in
first
second, the team in
place,
third,
but
and the
there's
team
only
in
a
fourth.
6-point difference between second and fourth. Any of those trios have a chance to overthrow them and take home that Axe of Champions.
What is my
But will
favorite
they let
cereal?
that happen? Will Levin Stream come through of the 6 victory royales
Fruity
in the
Pebbles.
major finals?
Bricks.
Time will tell as
Cocoa
game
Pebbles.
11 starts now.
Or Frosted Flakes. Chocolate Frosted Flakes.
And the big thing about that record
Frosted
here,
Flakes or
Takata,
marshmallows?
is that Veno and Queasy set that finals record together. They were 6, and the craziest thing to imagine is that potentially here today in day 2, Veno could also look to replicate that same record he once established, as long as he's able to close year to day. But you can't count on that just yet. It is obvious though that Veno, Vico, and Flixie are here to make a statement on Europe.
And we don't have to wait long because it looks like it's going to be a quick fight once again at Seaport City. Swizzy being quick to the action to pick up that chest, gets a weapon, gets chug splashes, but no quick knocks are going to come through.
I'm not gonna lie, if Queasy's uncon, they probably
that Swizzy,
they probably
Merstash,
win.
and Queasy were going to win the chest,
It's a
win the
more
loot,
consistent team than
shake
Vino.
off sky jump. Momsy decided, maybe it's not a good idea to take that 50-50 once again, especially after it didn't go our way.
The drops have been really solid so far from Queasy, Merstash, and Swizzy, but France is not going to make this one easy. They're still just heckling.
Bro,
Queasy's
I think
team
people got to
at
start
Seaport
realizing it's not a
City.
fourth place
Doesn't want to let
curse.
it go for free, but
He's just always the
after
fourth
a
best
certain
team.
point, Momsy, Skyjump, Shakos,
Literally
you
just
have
what
to
it
also
is.
consider top 25 is where you get the payout.
Playing for the payout, playing for a spot at the Global Championships. So much is on the line for these trios competing here today. Teeny, Haris, and Skavi have not had...
After 5 season 1, he wasn't the fourth best. They were.
With all the third parties that
They had the best drop. That's the
They
difference.
have been able to take home
The only
majority of
season
the
where
matches
he
off
was
spawn,
better
but
than the fourth best team was with
they've
Vino.
still yet to fully convert that in one of these late games.
After 5 season 1, he had a completely
Getting
broken drop.
much more aggressive now, just
I would not
completely
say they were
chasing
the,
down Uick
like,
and
skill-wise,
don't want to allow them
best team or
to
whatever.
escape and just delay this battle over by Shogun Solitude, because the longer it takes, we already know the end result. Another team comes into third party and then another one. So everybody just trying to close out these fights as quickly as possible. Merstash, Swizzy, Queasy still waiting for their openings against Shakos down below, but they are definitely trying to maintain the stronger line of sights inside of the heights of these buildings.
Looking for kind of angles to see if their opponents slip up, right? Find an opening. But it looks like Swizzy... Oh, what a shot from the fire. Onimask even almost getting a knock here onto Skyjump. As that's already a good amount of damage. But as you can see from Merstash, Queasy, Swizzy, they don't want to fully commit. I mean going
Acorn's
down...
Acorn's team wasn't
off
very good
the
in
rip
season 2.
in game 11 on day 2, being already so close to first
They were
place
playing
in
bad,
the
and
second place
then
spot.
they did bad off
I say
spawn.
so close. They've got quite
Just
a lot of
another
points they gotta
day
get to
2.
overthrow Rico Benoflixi, but they're in second
Day
place. They're
2, bro.
literally the
They
position
got
behind
carried
them,
by day 2
so
2
they
seasons
cannot
in a row.
afford to go down in the early game here.
Merstash still kind of peeking underneath, see if Momsy's trying to pop his head out anytime soon. Queasy also, what a great teammate. Perfect money shot, just throwing the shield potion to make sure that Merstash is going to be able to keep that fight going, even if he does get tagged up a little bit here. Flixie, on the other hand, trying to maintain this first spot position on the leaderboard, Takata. There are huge implications if they walk away with the top 3 placement here in game 11. I don't want to say it'd be impossible for anybody else to catch them, but it would clearly establish them as a top 2, and that's perfect circumstances for the Global Championship.
What I love about Rico Benoflixi is even if they have a hurdle where, for example, Veno goes down, it shows how strong it is to be trioed up with a solidified duo that had previous success.
Right here, man.
And being able to just clutch it out themselves, even in fights. If one of them gets knocked, they can still turn those fights around. They can take a lot of these situations where some high-skilled trios would just not be able to make it out of and turn it into a comeback to the end game, still getting a good amount of points, which is why they're leading the
Wait,
pack
Queasy got
currently.
knocked.
Well, you gotta be careful.
Are they gonna die?
Because Queasy has been knocked down at Seaport City. It's the shake
Oh, here comes a team to clean
This
them up.
is now putting a bit of panic onto Swizzy and Merstash.
Swizzy and
Eye drop,
Merstash,
man.
though, this is
Said he
so
died.
unfortunate because they're trying to ensure that they stay well above everybody else for the leaderboard. They know that they can't afford to go down here early. They don't want to bank everything on their match 12 performance, but Momsy might have other plans in mind for this team.
Dang, this
Swizzy
is,
hoping that he can cut somebody
rough.
off if they try to make an attempt up towards the top of this building.
Issue is, Swizzy
They are
pulled
100%
that
getting
off.
clean,
Big Pumpkin's
too.
Connected. Can he finish it off, though? He does get the knock. Momsy's gonna take him down. It's It's a 1 versus 1, but during this,
The other
all
team's
the
in.
trios in the surrounding areas, the third parties are hungry. They hear the shots. They know they can feast. As Merstash has to make the decision to disengage here, even if he ends up taking
Unlucky,
out
bro.
Momsy,
I'm gonna
he knows
refund.
I drop Sky Scroll. They're waiting on the other
Let's
end of
just
the door.
refund and do the top 3.
But Sky Scroll.
All right, chat, predict real fast. Vico, Vanya, or
Everything
Malabuka.
that's gone down here inside of Seaport City, they are left to just try and clean up house. They are not
Just
willing
re-predict
to let
with the other
anybody
top
escape
4.
currently. They know just how important every single one of these elimination points could be for them. On top of the placements, they have
Easy
so
wins?
much ground
Nah,
to
they're
make
so
up for
cooked.
after the start of this day 2 for them.
It's a tough start, Taco. It's a tough start for Merstash, Queasy, and Swizzy in the second to last match of the major finals, but we've seen them get back-to-back reboots and still get close to that end game, so now they have to do it when it matters the most. For Pigstorm and Demus, though, 5th place spot. Contenders for that top 2 get a spot at the Global Championship. And if something goes poorly for Veno, Vico, and Flixie here, it's gonna be a green light for the rest of the trios up above. So Veno has to be extremely careful in these early game engagements. They cannot go down this early.
But if something goes awful here for Vico, Flixie, and Veno, that might just be the saving grace for Queasy's team, considering that he's already sitting back, just having to scan the elimination feed to get news of what's to come here. Cringe, Matt BK, though, not looking particularly healthy. Vico already tarping overhead. Veno as well gets a good line of sight onto Mappy, just continuing to try and break into his box, completely spraying. But unfortunately, Veno not going to be able to find the connection he needs just yet. That is until Mappy exposes himself just a moment too long. No shields left.
Is that going to be
This
the
is an
opening for
interesting
Vico,
fight.
Flixie, Veno? Are they going to get aggro onto that now?
End
Vico
zone.
looks for an angle. He knows it's a potential player
I
that's
mean,
close by. Cringe.
I mean, they're
is gonna be
just
the one playing
gonna
aggressive.
dominate
Shot
him, I
gets
guess,
connected,
though.
but it's not a big one. Just a quarter of his shield taking off. As now a quick second to take a deep breath, refresh on the fight.
First
Consider,
stash
do we keep
died.
on pushing
They're all
forwards?
dead.
Are we finished yet? It looks like they're
First
not.
stash just died.
Veno drops down and looks again for another angle.
I mean, they're
This
just
is
gonna
their
suffocate
fight.
this team.
This is their winning moment, or at least the start
Look, they just
of
have
one.
a
Veno,
complete
Vico,
box
Flixie
around them.
just continuing to try and break through into the center hold that Mappy, Cade, and Cringe have somewhat managed to establish here. But all of this fire, all of these shots going off in the area, it's starting to draw too much attention. Other teams flying in now for Magic Mosses.
Yeah, trying to see, hey,
Oh
what's
my
going on here?
God.
As Vico hits the shots needed onto Cade. Cringe now
Yeah, this is
following
just
shortly
free
behind.
kills.
One knock is all it takes to turn the tables, as now Flixie's gonna finish
GG's.
Cringe. And just like that, they're gonna pick up some quick 3 eliminations right before the third party comes through.
Could not
What do you
have
do
come
in that
at a
position?
better
You're just
time. They
finished.
needed this opener. They're not the only ones.
They're
Chino,
better than you, and they just
big
have you
takedown
surrounded.
Onto Merstash.
Like, you
That
can't let them
is
surround
a
you. You just
devastating blow
have
to
to
a
give
team
up
that had
almost.
just climbed their way
They're just
into
gonna
that
suffocate
second
you.
place position. The
In
door
peace.
is wide open now. Vanya,
All right, well,
Pixie,
second place
Marius,
is dead.
Ping, Walks, Malabuka,
I mean,
even
it's
Pix,
pretty
Darman,
much over.
Demas.
Not
They've
gonna lie.
all got to be taking notice of what's gone down here.
The issue is, though, if Vico, Veno, and Flixie are able to make it to the end game healthy, with potential for another solid match, it just could solidify themselves that Blade of Champions. Even before the last game, if they're able to get another victory royale, they want a huge match going into this. But Malabuka now, once again around night shift, trying to see if they can catch any of these trios that are rotating through Storm off guard. To not even just get a bit of damage on them, but even some eliminations.
Cammy
Looked
dead to
like
Vico. Wow, they're
Sunny,
getting more
Cammy, and
kills
Ari,
too.
They knew what kind of stockpile Vico, Flixie, and Veno like to hold on to.
Just
here
more
at Fighting
kills, man.
Frogs. They were trying to make use of some of those leftover goods, but they've been spotted out. Vico just chasing down Ari now. Knows
5 kills.
that is a freebie elimination once he's been that separated.
it's just-
rest of his teammates having already been taken out. Axe Force though.
4 kill.
could
Oh,
be
there's
another
another
threat.
team in zone.
Veno, Vico, and Flixie aren't out of the woods just yet.
They're comfortable having these in-storm engagements. They know how to get out of them. They know how to play them. So I'm not too worried at all yet. All it does take is one slip up though, and Axe Force is crouching up behind them. He might just catch one off guard. Flixie's already been cracked. If he can connect a shot on the player that's low, it could mean everything, but he's sprinted. They heard the footsteps now. They know the aggro's onto them. They're forced to play defensive, but they drop on in, and just like that, gonna recuperate.
Vino's pulling away.
Shield, making
he's
it
about
that
to
much
he's
more
about to end it
difficult for
in
Axe
11
Force to
games.
Get anything from this.
But this is
But it's about to
unexpected
be over.
company. Veno, Vico, Flixie, this is
Like
not
11
what they were
games.
anticipating to encounter when they made their way back over to Flooded Frogs. Roman, though, tries to
They're just
escape,
getting
but when he
more
looks to follow up with
kills.
his teammates, Axe Force and 9 just shot down from
They have
the
6
skies.
kills.
One thing about this trio, you are not going to have an easy time looking.
They're going for a 20 to close
soar
the
out away
chat.
from them.
The dagger 20 bomb.
5 eliminations, 6 eliminations on
Fix the
board
servers
already.
is Yandy.
Starting this one off in the 3rd zone before Rift Island even appears. This is not looking good for the... As we look back at Ping, Walks, and Malabuka, Walks already got cracked. Has more than enough shield to recuperate it, so it must have just been a beam from afar. I don't think it's any danger yet for this trio.
Is the 20 bomb win going to be the dagger?
Definitely very familiar with playing
Very
from
possible.
inside the storm here, but knowing that Queasy's team has been fully eliminated, knowing that they are right on the cusp of being able to overtake that position,
Queasy's
it's
team is
bound
dead.
to cause them to
They are
consider
dead.
every single
They're
engagement
going
from
to
this
drop
moment
probably
on.
to like 5.
We've talked a lot about the top
4th or
teams,
5th place
but
most likely.
Vanya, Pixie, and Marius are one that's a full trio, already looking healthy, already in zone. And now
they're just
with
gonna call him
Queasy,
Zandy. They're probably
Merstash,
not
and
gonna show
Swizzy
that
being
team, to
knocked
be
out of the
honest.
game, it gives them that much higher of a chance to not only potentially take that 1st place spot, but take that 2nd place spot, which guarantees them a place in the global
I
championship.
mean, even just these 6.
So it's not just playing for that 1st place spot,
6
but
kills,
if they're
like-
able to qualify themselves to GC,
They have
in
24
Major
kills
1,
added onto their,
that's
or
gonna
24
put
points added onto
some
their
relief
lead.
in their mind.
Uh-oh. This is
And we're not even at
trouble.
placement points yet.
Pix and
Oh wait, this is
Darm
good for Mongrel fans.
just trying to
Pix, Darm, and
glide
Dimas flying into
into
zone,
the zone at this
with
point,
no
but
HP
no
as a
Demas
duo.
Takata, another one of our top 5 teams, and a team that has just done so phenomenally throughout the
Probably
course of
don't
this
have Surge.
Major 1 finals. You would not think that it is their first time in a Major 1 finals.
No, not at all, but I'm getting a little scared myself. Being in that 5th place spot, I mean, what, they are incredibly close from 2nd place, and imagine in your first FNCS Major Finals, you qualify
Nico's team a
to
lot.
the Global Championship. That would be unreal
Pretty much.
for this trio. But it looks like
Pretty much, man.
iDrop, Sky,
They're
and
up
Tro
by
are going to be the
probably
first
like
ones
100
to
now.
Shogun's Arena and potentially even be able to take it here.
They've had so many issues throughout the course of day 2 in comparison how day 1 went.
second,
and a
Queasy
lot
was
of
in
it
second, but
just
they're gonna get
exclusively coming
past
down to the fact that that southern section of the map changed so
Malabuka
drastically
and,
overnight. So many teams
Vanya are gonna pass
looking
them.
to try and be adaptable, be
They're gonna drop
flexible,
to 4th.
work around.
They'll most
the
likely
areas
be in
that
4th after
didn't
this game.
work out for them, but with iDrop, Sky, and Scroll in control of that Shogun's
2
medallion
teams from
potentially,
NA go
and
to
Shogun's
LAN.
Arena in general, it's going to make things all the more difficult for our teams that are also
I don't think Mongrel's
to
passing
maintain their
Dimas
position
this
on the
game. It's more
leaderboard.
so for next
Veno,
game.
Vico, and Flixie
They would need
just
80
trying
points.
to stay one step ahead.
Is a lot.
That 1 step's all you need if you want to solidify that place. They have such an incredibly strong start to this match. All that's left is closing it out. They can't get too greedy here, as now all they need to do are play these rotations, play these zones. And looking at Mr. Savage, Panzer, and Mongrel, this is a trio that's constantly went for that high ground. They've gotten so close, but it's been the trio after them that has ended up securing height from them and finishing off the match. So hopefully this time around they'll be able to take
Wait,
it at the
Vino
correct time,
dead.
but just from the blink of an eye, we look
Vino
at
dead to
Mongrel's trio for a
Podesai.
second, and Veno gets eliminated, leaving Vico and Flixie once again to play this out as a duo.
This is such a tragedy. In the middle of 5th zone here as well, Flixie, Vico, they'd have a really tough time trying to make any sort of reboot opportunities, but they can't even think about that just yet. They're still being held. Podesai, X-Squeeze, They're not trying to give them any sort of wiggle room. Podesai, in fact,
Wait.
already starting to just run down Vico and Felixi. Doesn't want to even
Podesai's
allow them the
keying
opportunity
them.
to try and finish up some
Oh my
heals
God,
for their
Podesai's
Storm
keying them, the
adventure.
French.
And Felixi, Vico, they know they're
Flixi's
still being
dead.
chased. Felixi not going to be able to
Flixi's
escape,
dead.
though. Just trapped
Vico's
inside of the
Vico's
box.
100
Nowhere
HP.
left
They're
to
gonna key
run.
him.
It's all down to Vico.
There's no way they don't key him.
Vico left us a solo
First
now.
place
He's
and
lost
second place
Flixie.
might be dead,
He's
game
lost
11.
Venno. It's all up to him to try and maintain their spot in first place.
Doesn't matter. It definitely
This
matters.
is
What?
an absolute tragedy.
If they die,
for the
Vanya has a
trio,
good
but on
game.
the other
Malbuka has a
hand,
good game.
I
It
know
comes down to
Vanya,
the last
Pixie,
game.
Marius are licking their lips right now, watching these players fall. It's that opening for all the trios in the top 5.
This is very
get closer
doable.
and closer to first place.
10 kill win by one of those teams
One
is
thing
literally
Vico does
the
have going
lead.
for him is that he
Like
was
what?
well above the search threshold, which we can't say the same for Pix and Darm. And even worse still, they might be caught in between a couple of different teams.
I don't think
And
Queen's
since
paying
they're
no French.
soon to be desperate to get a little bit more surge online,
Oh, here's Pix about to die.
they won't have the luxury of choosing if they want to
30
fight or
below.
not. Marvik immediately trying to make his presence known, but Pix doing a great job at
Darm's
pushing
dead.
back.
Playing the defensive here, but even
23
so,
HP for
is
Pix.
going to be able to clean this one up? The issue is not only cleaning this up, but finding a way to get back to the zone after.
And he's
Mid
dead.
kit being
GG's,
popped,
fifth
but
place
shotgun
dead.
Shots connected.
That's a
Pix
0-point
gets
game.
eliminated. And this fight's not even finished yet.
No, Loki and Luce still trying to see if they could pick off Adesito in the mix, but Adesito with a massive, that's huge.
Massive?
Elim potential here. Adesito, most importantly, still just not allowing any freebies here.
Yeah, Vico's
Jep on
still
the other
alive.
end of it as well.
All right,
Still,
second and
more
fifth are
teams
dead.
just completely wiped out here. And that's gonna be a perfect
Vanya's down by like
pickings
108.
for Riley Janice and Chap.
Yeah, not only that, a lot of our top trios are going
Vico can
down.
probably
by the
clutch.
second.
I mean,
leaving
look
a
at
little less
Vico's
stress
loot.
for
He
Vico,
only has
but
2
still,
mass.
Even then,
Might get rough.
Vico has so much pressure
Hello,
for
Tessa.
this last match. They've done enough damage where he's still 800 above. Has mobility. Only 2 charges on that Oni mask though. But has shields, has mats.
I mean, he probably actually
Honestly,
could have
just
clutched
to
this if he didn't
scavenge
have
as many
2
placements as
two
possible. And
TPs,
if he
but
gets
with
his
2
eyes on a
TPs, he's
solo, if
probably
he finds
cooked.
any opening to potentially
That's
get a
gonna be
refresh,
too hard to do.
I believe in Vico to take
Because
it.
he's gonna have to use both of these to
Keeping
get
in
in
mind
zone.
just how much surge he had at the starting point.
Unless he pulls.
It
He would have
is
to get
so
God
heartbreaking
RNG.
to know that if his teammates were
Fixated
just
zones.
alive with him still.
Propaganda zones.
But Vico, he's got to be real careful about where he's boxed up at. Another team might have recognized the fact that he is currently in a solo situation. Malabuka, Ping, and Walks.
Oh my God.
also taking
He's
good
gonna
note.
have to use both his
Teams open their surge
TPs
bases
just to get
above,
into
but
this
Malabuka,
zone.
without a Void Oni mask,
He's gonna have no
only this
TPs
kinetic
for the
blade to
rest of the
work
game.
with. Makes sense that they're trying to be first to claim some elevated
They should watch
positionings,
Vico rotate.
because Malabuka would definitely like to find an elimination, find
Vico
a player
rotate.
to take a Void Oni
Please.
mask from.
Just give them that
Vico.
south pull. Give them that south
Go
pull.
to Vico,
And
please.
that's all
Please,
they
Moy.
need to close this one out. But
My
on the
God.
contrary, whatever trio is able to get on that mountain that Ping was looking at could also be a prime position here. The good news for Malabuka, Ping, and Walks, though, is they have more than enough vision to tag every single trio that's going to try and rotate in here. As another healthy trio is going to be
Oh,
Mr.
Mongrel's
Savage,
only 100 above.
Hands or Mongrel, but
They're not gonna watch
even
Vico,
though
are
you're
they?
healthy, you might not
Is
be
that
good on
Vico's
surge,
that
just
orange
96
arrow, I
above.
think.
As now players are going to
It
start
looks like
looking
he's
more
running it.
aggressively for tags. They could quickly get dropped below. As Savage knows this, and now he has to find some.
Not only that, but with the way that the zone is pulling up onto elevation like the mountain range, having only a Typhoon Blade, it's going to be very difficult terrain for
Dang,
Savage
200
to
below
actually
for Mongrel.
charge his
Just
way
sword in
upwards
somebody's
through.
box, bro. Let's
So
crash.
He's gonna
Clicks
have
would
to
have
be
pre-edited this team by
very
now.
cautious with how he proceeds. Once
Clicks
they
would have
actually
100% pre-edited
leave
this
their
team.
current
Right
base
next to them.
situation. And if Panzer and Mongrel can't provide those necessary cover fire,
Oh no.
rotations are
Vico is
only
not
gonna
in
get more
zone.
difficult, and Vico already
He's gonna get
experiencing
lobbied.
the woes of that.
So many eyes are on
50
Vico.
HP. Vico
Not
might be
only
dead
getting
right there.
cracked, just doing what he can to make his
He's
way
gotta
back
get
into
lobbied.
zone. All the
Yeah, he's gonna
pressure
get
is
lobbied,
on his
man.
shoulders. 17 builds left.
GG's,
It's all
that's
wood.
0
Even
placement
more of a
points.
reason for all the other players in the lobby to keep focusing you. They know you must be low on
One
materials.
build, zero
As now just
builds.
one build left in the dream.
Wow,
Vico,
0 placement
Veno,
points.
Flixie
They only got
get shut
24
down
points that game.
in the second to last match of the EU Major
Mongo
Finals.
dead.
Mr. Savage as well is put into panic.
Hands are
He's
dead.
lost both his teammates. Left as a
GG's,
solo once
Mongo,
again. Our
Mongo
whole
didn't
top
do anything
five
off of
are
the
getting
Pix
eliminated.
death. They're gonna
This
drop.
elevation range is
They're
no
full dead.
friend to any of
Sky
our
and Scroll are
current
full
teams
dead.
trying to
Everybody's
break
dying
through
in the top
Sky.
10.
Taken out.
Malabuka.
Walks and Ping on the other end of it.
That's
gonna
like-
be Shogun's medallion potentially in their hands now.
First,
Whether or not
second,
they're able to
fifth,
clean up
sixth,
that trio
and I think
successfully.
8th
They
place
do
are
have
all
3
dead already.
eliminations in total,
This
but
is a Walks and Vanya
Tyler,
game.
This is massive. They might
This
be able
is
to have a
massive.
breakthrough game here.
I want to know where Vanya is. I need to know how healthy they're looking, as Tace and Chicho Trulex are going to be the ones up above. But I believe the only trios in the top 5.
Wait, they're
is
poor.
Malabuka's trio,
He's got 20
is
builds.
Vanya's trio.
This has to be a
and they're
Malabuka
looking quite
win.
healthy as well. It's all or nothing for this trio now.
This has to be a
set themselves
Malabuka
up
win
the
for
last
like
match.
make it close
Vanya
with
knows
Vino.
that he's
This
spotted
is a
out in front of the
Malabuka
shark
clutch.
alone,
Malabuka solo
but
clutch and
not
FNCS
gonna be able
win.
to commit to it just yet. Don't want to leave
He
their
can do it
first
again.
Position. No real reason to either. They know ultimate height. Trulex, Tace, and Chicho watching their every move. They're just trying to punish those who are split from their teams. And sure enough, Malabuka Ping walks with the team wipe against Eyedrops. They do have that Shogun's medallion. They will be able.
I mean, they're
try and
cap
make good
mats.
work
We gotta
of it.
play high here,
Also,
guys.
a healthy amount of material
TP
here for
on?
Malabuka,
Oh, wait.
practically
Oh,
cap
never mind.
mats.
The difference between Malabuka's trio and Vaniac's trio going into this game was just one elimination, less than an elimination in terms of points.
I was about to say
Both
TP on the
neck to
Warriors
neck.
and start
As we
90.
look at Gripey, Rezoy, and Noms taking a good elevated position here. Edge of Storm now, as the zone even pulled towards them. Potential to try and take height here. Tace and Chicho Trulex, they've lost it as they're down below now.
Tayson, Trulex, and Chicho, though. This is a huge moment potentially for Trulex specifically. We're talking about somebody who had
Wow, I mean,
back-to-back
they're still
third
basically
place finishes at global
5-5-5 going into first
championships,
moving.
and now struggling.
Noms
to
is
even
a
carve his
duo
way
on
into
high.
that
Oh
top
no,
5.
Grippy.
Rezoy and
Wait, they're
Noms
playing, and I'm pretty sure
also
they're
trying
pretty
to catapult
poor.
themselves to frontside height, but Malabuka,
They
he's
just got
found
another
Nathan.
kill
He's
too,
got
Nathan.
the
I don't know
knock.
if they get that body
Should
though.
be able to collect the body loot as well.
I don't
and
think they
just
get that body.
continuing to really assert full dominance on this mid-ground layer.
Ravage every player in sight.
Vanya
They
needs
have
a
more than
refresh
enough
so
materials.
bad.
And the issue is, Vanya, Pixie, Marius, they are incredibly low.
They
It's
need a
only wood left
refresh.
over for Vanya. He's got 8 builds. And the
X-Wee's
other trio
dead to
holding that top
Malabuka.
5 is looking more than healthy. Vanya,
Malabuka's
Pixie,
got a
Marius,
15
they
mass.
need to find a solid refresh.
And Vanya, though, just trying to commit.
Are they gonna look
to
for
an
height?
area
Height might
where
be
he'll
too
able to
high.
find somebody
Wait, they're
way
chopping it.
underneath his builds.
Are they going?
Hopefully, but Malabuka,
No,
he's
not
taking
going.
notice of height yet again, just barely managing to prevent themselves from
I
getting
don't think
chopped
they're
out
gonna go.
entirely. Malabuka, though, he's not content to wait. Marius as well, also looking to try and make that same tackle for height, looking to bring down our players, and Shark to be one of the first.
This could be it. Is that going to be
Barry
enough of
still
a
has
refresh
no
for
builds.
them to get more ahead as Gripey, Rezoy, and Noms are doing an amazing job of applying that pressure onto second height. They don't want to let Malabuka, Ping, or Walks retake it from them. They have enough mats to hold it as Malabuka, Walks, Ping forced onto the low ground now, getting incredibly low. Walks forced to use chug splashes as the zone is going to make its second to final pull here.
Thought for a moment that their intention would be to go for the high ground eventually. Instead, they're totally content to just control that frontside low. Marius, on the other hand, still
Vanya dead to
slow.
Tayson.
Vanya falls directly
They just have
behind him. He has
nothing.
no other choice but to keep moving forward.
They're mats.
Trying to break through these builds without a void Oni mats. He's only got the kinetic blade. He's just got to sit still
Malabuka probably
and
doesn't
listen.
really even have any
Wait for
mats
that
either. They've been
opportunity
full
to get
tarping
an
the whole
elimination.
time.
Still so many placements to be made. Malabuka is cracked.
Yeah,
trying to get
Malabuka
back
might.
into
Oh,
zone.
dude,
Drop to
Malabuka's
just 29
cooked.
HP, gets knocked down onto his knees as it's all up to his duo now. Marius left alone as a
Marius
solo
and
gets
Vanya
absolutely
dead.
beamed out of the
Malabuka
sky.
is
Ping
dead.
Walks now
King and
playing
Walks
it
have
as
to
a
do it as a duo.
Ping and Walks as well.
I just don't think they really got enough points out of this game. I think Vino's safe. I mean, 7. Oh, they're dead, man.
in general. Ping does have that Shogun's medallion. All he has to do is sprint. He's running around trying to get as much momentum as possible, hoping that nobody scouts him out just
Oh, he gave
yet.
it the
Couldn't even
walks.
drop that medallion the moment that he realizes he couldn't hold on to it any longer.
GG's.
Walks, though, won't
5th
be able to
place.
pick up anything after the fact.
I don't know if that was enough points to really bring them anywhere. It's gonna be like a Vino sell away.
To put a stop to the high ground chaos, but Rizzo isn't gonna let that one slide as he struck.
It's gonna be very dependent on what Vino does.
Catchery as well, directly underneath where Chicho currently sits.
Like Grippy's gonna win.
Gripe, Rizzo, Noms with this control.
Chicho's alive as a solo.
They've got a real star-studded seat to close this one out.
Chicho's dead. Naku's trio's alive.
That means everything to them. They haven't been able to make it too far in these end games.
Them versus Naku's trio. 3v2.
Putting an end to it.
GG's.
Just one more shot connected.
12 kill win for Grippy. They might fly up. All right, after 11 games, chat, it is a 43-point lead. I mean, it's gonna take another Vico Vino sell. Vico Vino Flixie 43-point lead. Ping Walks Malabuka are in second. Vanya Pixie Marius third. Twizzy Queasy Murstache dropped to fourth. Pix Darm Dimas fifth. Contry sixth. I drop seventh. Mongrel eighth. CZB ninth, and Tayson 10th. The Mongrel drops to 8th place. Mongrel's top 10 is not safe. Their top 10 is not safe here. Yeah, they could. I mean, they're still in play for 6th, though. Down by 35, 34, 36. Whatever that is. But it's gonna be a hard game. I mean, Vino pretty much has it in the bag here, though. They just can't die early, but I mean, they have literally died early once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5 times. I mean, they have shown that they can die early. They've died early almost half the games. Tayson died earlier that end game, I believe. I think he died to Vanya. When was Tayson top 10? This game. In top 10 by 2 points. He just jumped, I'd say 4 teams. Maybe, or 3 teams. He jumped all 3 of these teams. Tayson finished into I mean, it's still a pretty bummer placement, but at least it's not like getting 18th like they were. All right, Chad, let's make our prediction. Does Vino win Grands? They have a 60-point lead, 40-point lead. Basically, you are guessing if they die early, because they have shown that they can die early. So predict if they die early. They've died early 5 out of 11 games. So it is definitely possible for them to die. Oh my god, Hero won on Hero 1 Middle East? Nice. Am I staying on? I'm not sure. Alright, one more game left, chat. Make sure to predict, does Vino win? 100k on Vino to win already. 300k on Vino to win. Predict if you think Vino wins this game. Or not wins this game, wins the tournament. 43-point lead. Should be pretty safe. But, I mean, you never know with how inconsistent they've been. But all of these teams have been pretty inconsistent at times. So, we'll see. Yeah, CZB and them. I mean, CZB and them have been playing pretty well today. They died early game 1, then they got a 3rd, an 8th, a 6th, a 9th. That is probably. Oh my God, they're just 9th today. They're just consistently 9th, I guess. King is winning today. Vico is 2nd today. Squeezy's 3rd. Grippy. Wait, Grippy has 251 points today. Jeez. They played so good today. A win, 4th, an 8th. Good. Game is it? We're about to go into the last game. We're headed into the good old last game here. With Vino up by 40. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right.
Welcome back to FNCS. We just have
One last game.
One more game, and then we're going to find out who our first champions of the year will be. And it is incredibly close at the top of the leaderboard, especially after some of our biggest runners in this race had an early exit in game number 11. And in fact, there's only something like 40 points between a lot of our teams in this top 5. It's absolutely wild, Mini Miner.
Yeah, and it could have been even closer if Ping, Wox,
What's up,
Malabuka,
24K?
Vanya, Pixie, Maris had better games right there. Not to say they didn't have a very good game at all. They had a decent game, 5th place for Ping, Wox, and Malabuka, but that gap could be even tighter. I think right now, Levin, in my opinion, I think it's just too much for them to cut shell. I just don't see them overtaking Vico, Ven, and Flixie. They're just so solid off spawn. And we saw it in that game. They're so aggressive early on. They weren't nervous whatsoever.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one, I think, because obviously they had a rough game, but the other two beneath them
Won
didn't
game
do
11,
enough in that game
Grippy.
really to they made it closer, of course, coming into this, but they needed to have a
They are
good game,
in
right? Like that's the game where it's like,
13th
okay,
now.
your biggest competitors go down, get a win now. Do you know what I mean? Let's have some fun with it. Like let's really start to ramp things up and build some momentum here. And if I'm Vico, Ven, or Flixie, I'm looking at these guys in Malabuka, Ping, and Wox, and I'm smiling because these guys look set up to win it, right? They got the Omega refresh where they took out like 4 different players and had just cap mats, cap everything, and you're thinking, okay, now you just play out the game from here, and surely you just win, right? Or at least, get a top 2 for us. And then things just start going awry. You see Malabuka goes down here. Everything's discoordinated. Ping had the Invis medallion. He didn't know what to do with the Invis medallion. Tried to drop it to Wox, but it was just too late at that point. Again, it just felt like everything was all over the place. This team needs to calm down.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, 11, if you're looking at the leaderboard, if you're looking back at the 11 games that we've had so far today, they haven't won. They haven't actually managed to pick up a victory. So should we really be surprised that they haven't managed to pick up a VR in that game? Because they haven't been doing it all day, and that's been a key for them. Of course, finding some consistency, but they haven't been able to win. So for them right now, it's definitely now or never in this last game.
Another trio without a victory royale to their name is Vanya's trio, and they did
Wait, let's
make
go.
it
Cather just coached his first
close towards
FNCS
the
win.
end game, but they had some serious issues with their mats, Mini Miner.
Yeah, they did. Very, very similar situation to Ping Watson Malabuka. It was almost like a mirrored performance, if you like, from both of these guys, playing these low to mid-ground layers, albeit with a few less eliminations on this team's perspective, but a very, very similar endgame, Levin, to where they just ran out of steam there towards the end, and they also needed to have a massive game. They needed a win in order to close that gap to Vico, Veno, and Flixie. So for them right now, I think they need to set their sights on second.
This game is going to teach me a lot about
Panzer's
Marius
dropping on
and
Vino to help
Pixie.
Malik Qual. GG's. Vino has 3 kills this game.
Shown us that, you know, with the right teammates and the right situation, you can win in FNCS, right? I know that from Vanya. When I look at Pixie and Marius, I look at 2 young stars who have lit the world on fire over the past year and haven't quite had, you know, the best opportunities maybe in an FNCS to actually go out there and win, right? And compete to win. This game 12 tells me a lot about who these players are going forward, especially in the case of Marius, right? With all the hype he had last year, a lot of people counting him out. They said, oh, he's got to get away from Sandguild and play with people better, right? You know, all these things, all these narratives that we've had over the course of the year for those 2 as talented players.
No one wants a boring finish. I mean, Mongrel, Mr. Savage, and
This is
Panzer
gonna be a
force
huge
feeding Vino
next
3
game,
kills.
boys, because we don't
Definitely not be a
have
great finish.
champion secured. Veno, Vico, and Flixie, they might look confident for that #1 spot, but anything can happen when everything is on the line. And there are so many experienced big names who are within arm's reach of that top spot. There are 2 places up for grabs for our trios in the global championships.
Weezy's not landing on nobody. They have
Everyone
no
wants to
chance
secure
of winning.
this at the start of the season so they can just go
I mean, they guess
onwards
they have a
and
chance.
upwards from here. But who
They would have
is
to
going
land on
be
Vino, and
#1
he's definitely not
after
doing
this
that.
game? We'll find out.
Ouais, ils ont l'air d'aller support. On a envie de se battre à support. On n'a pas envie de tenter la
Yeah, they're
game
going
défense.
Mega
En
City.
fait, le problème, c'est que tu vas à un endroit, mais t'as pas les drops et tout. Donc à tout moment, bah, tu donnes des puntos et toi, tu t'écroules. Alors, peut-être miracle. Il y a d'autres mecs qui font ça à ta place. Et puis toi, juste, tu dois faire un gros top 1 et pas mal de kills et ça passe. Déjà, faut gagner le spawn là pour Merstache. Et Vaniac, je quitte pas des yeux le contest parce que là, enfin le contest, le spawn, parce qu'à tout moment, bah, il y a des planeurs aussi. Et là, c'est alarmant. Désolé, les gars, hein, je sais même pas ce qui se passe sur nos Français. On a la petite POV ici, mais. Allez, va faire des armes bien, s'il te plaît.
Will be answered in this final match of the EU FNCS Major Finals. I could not be more excited, Taco.
And considering how we left off yesterday, we get a chance to seal it all up once and for all because we have Game 12 underway.
Vino's most likely going to get grief. Nobody's griefing
A lot of
anymore.
these trios in the top 5 aren't contested. One that is, though, is Queasy, Merstash, and Swizzy. We've seen this battle time and time again at Seaport
Nobody's landing on
City.
anyone.
How will it shake
Nobody's
up
griefing
in this
anyone.
last match? They didn't
The
have
only
a chance
the only people that are
to make something
griefing are going to be
happen
like
in
the
end
people
game last
in
match,
30th
so
place
it's all up to them now in game 12
crashing out.
to do it.
And Merstash, he's got a streak to try and keep alive here. You have to remember, for the past 2
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
chapters, he has
Vino
won
and
the
Queasy
very first
ruined
major
like
finals. And
game
so,
12.
Considering that's now
Everybody
being
thinks
threatened that he might
or
potentially,
wants everybody
I
to
shouldn't say
land on
potentially,
everybody.
It's a huge uphill battle even to try and overtake.
Nobody's
where
ever
Veno,
doing that
Vika,
again.
And Flixie currently sit on the
Most
leaderboard.
likely.
They've got to go absolutely nuclear in this lobby, Takata, to even make up for the time that they missed out with the early departure in match 11.
Now, the main issue with this off-spawn engagement is that even if Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash do end up winning this battle, if it takes too long, they're gonna end up losing it to the third party. So it's either they take it very quickly or they just loot up and disengage. And it looks
Queasy
like
should have
both
landed on
trios
Peter,
right
yeah, and
now
get slammed
are
off
trying
spawn,
to take the
like,
safer route for this last
Just be
match.
stupid.
For Queasy's team especially, they know exactly what's on the line here.
There's no point in doing that.
Atris, a battle we've been watching all day long taking place at Shogun Solitude. They thought if they designated where they wanted to drop here today, that it would bow better for them, but instead it's kind of worked against them. Svi at least trying to win this fight up against Dom, but he watches.
And he dies
his
off spawn
teammate
game
gets
12.
knocked. He might have
just
a
top
similar
2
knockout to
mix.
Dom, but 1 versus 2.
There
the
were
numbers are just
there were
not in his
4
favor.
teams Raf game 12.
Yeah,
If
I mean, not
Queasy
having
would have
that
landed
player
on them,
advantage, he knows they're
everybody
going
would
for
have
the
got
double
off.
res, has to make that push, but unfortunately, they just got too much loot, too much shield, and he doesn't have anything that he can use to close it out. As we look at
Might as well just vibe
Vico,
out.
Veno, Flixie,
Oh,
continuing
this
with
game's
their
not ad free,
uncontested
dude.
top
What the
spot.
frick? I forgot to run an ad.
They're definitely aware of the fact, though, that
I'm
other
running in
teams
now.
have for
I'm
sure
sorry.
taken notice
I forgot.
of just how many goods are actually
I'm running in now.
left
I'm running
over
in
here
now.
from their initial
We're
loot
missing
pack
nothing.
at Flooded Frogs, and
Vico and them
they
are
don't
gonna be
wanna
alive.
let
Everybody's gonna be
anybody
alive.
else,
At most, we miss Queasy dying, but I'm pretty sure
part
Queasy's
in
alive.
essentially that little loot pile they established because they want to be able to get their
If Queasy
damage,
didn't fight
go
them,
back
I
to
don't
Flooded
know.
Frogs,
Queasy's
and
alive.
be able to make sure that when
We
they
don't miss
next
anything.
depart, that they're still going to be healthy
forgot.
enough to
It's because I
just
instantly
pick
got
dead
up,
side
so I didn't even
rotations
remember doing
or
it.
optimal positions deeper into
Remember
zones.
to do it, I guess.
Venya, Marius, and Pixie, though, they've been the talk of the town.
This is a trio that I want to highlight. I mean, you have Pixie, who was previously trioed with Queasy Venno, now just waiting for that shot once again after getting the bad side of the trio switch up to kind of prove himself alongside Marius from a pop-off performance in Major 1, waiting as well for his chance once again on a solid team to put some respect on their names. And like Levin was saying, Vanya, he's a champion, had an amazing year last year, but he couldn't show what he was made of on the global stage, and all it takes is a top 2 today to qualify all 3 of them to the global championships and finally put some respect on this trio as we look at Chino.
Yeah,
Pink,
bro.
and
Yeah,
Nebs,
Momo. Like what?
who are starting off in a dangerous situation.
It's the other side of that leaderboard conversation. Pink, Nebs, and Chino, while they're able to hold down 25th after the end of day 1, day 2 has been an incredibly rough go. Chino, Pink, Nebs are also just trying to ensure that Batman for a strokey Volko caught off guard, though. Didn't realize how exposed he actually was to Chino, but still not enough to claim the life just yet, as Marius now trying to take over.
This could be huge. It's everything for this trio. They cannot afford a loss in the early game here. They've already taken down 2. They're starting off strong, but they have to know when it's time to disengage. They've gotten a good amount of damage. They've recuperated a lot of the materials already. They're Edge of Storm here. The more time this fight takes, the riskier it gets, but Pixie might have just found one more. Goes for the edit. It is a duo, though. You don't want to get double pumped here.
Frozy's gonna cause Marius to reconsider this approach, but Artis might get the better end of this exchange. Only momentarily, though. Marius, known for being such a heavy fragger, and Pixie with a huge knock, but he loses his shield in the process. Artis might just try to shing his way through, but it's not gonna cut it just yet. Marius also with the backup calls, just in case. Might not even be necessary.
I mean,
This
4 kills
engagement
for
Artis
Marius.
Trio just falling apart.
You need like 25
this is
more.
everything for this trio, though.
Just in
They
case
now
Vino
have
has a
4
good game.
eliminations. They've started off with more
wait.
than enough damage and
Moneymaker.
freedom to play for that end game. Venno, Vico, Flixie,
Moneymaker.
though, all eyes were on them coming into this event. Favorites in terms of taking home this championship. They're in the first place spot, but with one bad game here in the early game, they could quickly be dropped down.
Even if it's just a decent match,
Mongrel just
second
died to
place is
Jew.
too close for comfort.
Oh,
They
they're just
want
gonna slam this
to make
trio.
a
I should have known.
statement with how
I
they
don't even know
close
why
out
I thought of
the
like
Major
the
One
possibility of
finals
them dying
Takata
here.
and Vico looking to see if he can get an overhead
This
view
is like
onto
the 0%
Gutenberg. He's just
chance
created
to die.
and controlled so much of the layer directly above, but Gutenberg doing a decent
No
job
third
of
party.
defending. Flixie also nearly finds
Literally
an opening
0%
shot
chance
onto Clownski,
of
but
death.
Gutenberg, his shields, his HP in general, it's not looking good.
This is the exact same trio that they were able to take out in the last match as well. It was a surprise attack, though, and this time around, the trio's ready to get defensive.
This
I
is
mean,
the nail in the
Vico,
coffin for Moneymaker to
Flixie,
switch the
Venno,
keyboard.
There's a trio that's coached
Bro's
by the
doing
same
crouch plays.
person that coaches Peterbot
Over,
on
man.
NA. These are Titans looking to not only
Just
take
3
home
free
this
kills.
Major 1, they want to take home
Just stab
every
padding.
major this year alongside the global event. And this is the start of it. If they're able to win this fight and set themselves up, give them that freedom.
They're
to
kind of
continue
using a
rotating
lot of
later on in
mats
this
here. Like
match.
they're
All
yeah,
it takes is a bit of damage.
They
but on
are
the
building
contrary,
away.
if they go down now, that dream could be eliminated.
building all their metal.
Huge credits to Raz as well, by the way, for his
They might be
coaching
cooking themselves right now.
capabilities, especially when you're working with some of the most
Vico's just
talented
building all
players
of his
in
mats.
EU. You would think these guys, surely they got to know everything, but Raz,
I mean, the good thing is though, Moneymaker might still have all their mats because they're just doing the same thing they did the other game. They're just sitting in a box.
experiencing
not
that
doing
right
anything.
now. Veno, Vico, Flixie just continuing to
Gudenbray
close
has
in,
0
refusing
HP.
to let
Like,
Gudenbray have
he's
a
not even
moment
putting
to
anything
even
on. They have
think
no
about
heals.
trying to regenerate some of those shields.
Looking incredibly in favor of Veno, Vigo, Flixie here. They just have to wait for that moment to strike. They want to find that opening, but you can't get nervous. Moneymaker is almost cracked here. They have
I mean,
the
dude,
HP
look, they're just
advantage. They have the
suffocating them
shield
now.
advantage. You
How
can
has
tell, though,
nobody...
being
There's
this
not a
last game
single
with
soul
so
that
much
came
pressure
anywhere
on the
near
line,
this,
they
too.
cannot afford
Zero
a
chance of
mistake.
getting
They
third
cannot
partied.
get boxed up as a solo here.
This is a
They've already
realistic
done so much damage, but
3v3.
this
They're in a
fight is
lobby by
taking longer
themselves.
than a usual one from this trio.
How far we've come.
I don't even think
Vico
they've taken...
free
Have they
days.
taken
Vico,
damage?
though,
Like...
he's spotting an opportunity onto Kalowski. Gets a piece, but not enough.
I do
Vico,
fear for their
he
mats
still
after
wants
this, but
more.
like they're taking
Kalowski,
0 damage.
Gudenbray,
Whoa, Flixie!
Moneymaker, though, they're gonna be the ones
Flixie!
to actually turn it on to Flixie. This is
We can't die to
disastrous.
this team. They have nothing. Vino has 0 builds. We can't die to this team. They have nothing.
Are they just gonna fully disengage
Oh
and come
my
back later?
God.
How many options do they have? Veno only has
Flixie.
1 build. If Gudenbray, Clown, and Money start pushing
Bro,
them,
they have
this
0
could be lethal.
mats.
This fight is just taking entirely
They're getting
too
pushed.
long. Teams
Vino
with
has 1
distance
build.
Also causing issues with commitment here, but Veno,
Vino has 1
Vico,
build.
They're getting chased out.
He's gotta
Gudenbray
use his mask.
spotted the
Third party's
opportunity.
coming in.
Moneymaker as well. Vico just trying to do what he can to recover.
Oh
some
my
material,
God.
But they're playing so split from each other.
Moneymaker
It's a
just
prime
griefed
opportunity for
Vino out of
Moneymaker.
potentially winning
On the
FNCS.
other end, though, this could be an opportunity for Vico to get that reboot card and bring Flixie back in the game while all
What is
eyes
going
are
on?
Veno as he runs away. But it looks like there's still a player looking at Vico now.
Why would they
I'm
take
not
that fight?
sure
Because they take that fight like
if he's
every
gonna be able
game.
to make it out either. The aggression is getting
It's not the
changed from
fight that's the
Veno
issue. That's
to
like
Vico.
the
It's even a
like you
different
shouldn't.
trio
They shouldn't
that's looking
die.
at him. It's Lucia, it's Nefrizzi, Starkus. It's a whole new trio going for Vico. They know he's a solo.
And they could have maybe disengaged,
Poor
but
Vico, he's left to just try and make a run for it. Veno can't get close because if he reveals himself, not only does he have to deal with Moneymaker's team, but a whole new trio entirely. That would be an easy sandwich, and that's not the kind of pinch that Veno's trying to get himself caught up in.
It looks like Vico
Vico's
might
just swimming.
have been able to make it out from the pursuit of Lucia and his
I
trio.
mean, they still
but
have decent
this
loot
is
for when they
still
res
not
at
what
least.
you want to see from our top
They're gonna be
contenders
very
going into this
shambles on
last
mats.
match of the major finals.
But like,
fully split up from each other.
they have the
One
card,
man
I believe.
down.
They're about to
Now
reboot.
have to get the reboot.
I
and
think
bring
they'll be
themselves
okay.
back
They're
into
gonna
the
need to
match.
get
The
another
good news is,
mask.
though, it looks
something
like
for
they
Vino.
got out of the aggression so far. They'll have a bit of time to potentially bring Flixie back in and look for that comeback.
What's left to be considered, though, is that all our teams
How's
in
Marius
that top
looking?
5 of the leaderboard bound to be paying
Not-
note of
I'm
what's
into it.
actually
I mean, they're
going
fine,
down
I guess.
in that elimination feed. And with that being said, if you know that Veno and Vico
Oh, no.
are going to have to make
I'm
a
not
play
sure,
for a
Kayla.
reboot.
Oh no.
Oh,
Wait.
no. Combat makes
What
him
the-
pause. They caught Marius and Vanya.
Bro,
Another tragedy.
these
for
guys
one of
just
our top trios.
appeared.
Marius, Vanya put into panic as the pressure's on them. A full trio storming on in as Pixie gets dropped to just 6 shield. They're forced
Dang,
to pop
they're-
that water
this
sprite.
isn't great for
the
them.
good news is they were able to get out without a single player getting knocked. They already have the advantage.
So
of
you're
4
telling me
eliminations
they
to
just
start this off.
came,
They can basically play full dead
appeared
side
at their
for
box,
majority of this mid game. They don't need to take
and
any
then are just
risks.
dipping.
But
It's-
that was almost unfortunate with the full trio coming in, already having builds placed. The good news is they made it out, but so did Veno, Vico,
All right,
and
they're
Flixie.
alive.
Comic
good
Law
thing for
makes
them
a
is
view that they had one opportunity
they
to
basically
get the
have
job
all
done,
their
and when
shields
it didn't
still.
pan out in their favor, it was an immediate disengage. They were not willing to stick around. They knew just how heavily based Vanya and Marius were at the time. Flixie being rebooted, though, is massive.
Oh, they were camping on
Granted,
the card?
Veno
Oh.
and Vico and Flixie, they still have
think they got caught off
so
guard
much to
there,
make
though.
up for. They've got
Unsuccessful
surge and
card
time
camp.
lost in that kind of essence, but they can still make up for it, and they can definitely still hold strong here.
Malabuka walks and ping. Walks after day 1 of these major finals. I mean, we've talked about it. Moving to 0 ping looking at huge potential in terms of playing aggressive and getting those eliminations, those frags, especially in the late game. But after day one, he wasn't even up there in terms of statistics compared to other players. But now in day two, he's made an absolute
I'm not gonna lie,
comeback
I think Vino and them are
alongside
fine.
his trio.
I think they're gonna be
dominating
like
the rest of the lobby.
chilling.
Can they
They're
bring that
probably gonna
forward through
find
this
some
last
like brick to
endgame when it
farm,
matters the most?
wood.
As we look back at Swizzy, Queasy, and Merstash,
They
made it
they
on
have
a
their
C4 this
heals.
time, but not without any eliminations.
Oh my God, Malabuka.
Oh, Malabuka,
Oh no.
this is a
Oh
problem,
no.
Panzer.
Imagine
Recognize
Panzer
the
kills
fact this is a
Malabuka.
weekend player.
Oh
I'm gonna
no.
go ahead and charge right through, but cover fire from Ping and Walks. They're gonna be able
Panzer
to
would probably
save
feel
Malabuka
so
for
bad.
the time being. Malabuka might even have a chance to escape.
No.
Take that back. Savage gonna shut that dream
Oh
down.
no.
Immediately, travesty strikes.
Second place going into this match.
Aw, Panzer
Malabuka
probably feels
gets
so
taken
bad.
out, leaving it to Walks and Ping. We were just talking about how much value these fraggers were able to get in the late game, but now with Malabuka gone down, another of our top trios forced to play it out slower. Vico, Veno, Flixie had kind of the fortunate aspect of it being done so early that they did have that opportunity to get a quick reboot, but now Ping and Walks, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them.
Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash, though, they've been trying to set up base on this mountain span next to brutal boxcars, and Lushi, Monet, Loki, they're not looking to let this real estate go for free by any means, but Swizzy still has a good scope of the entire lobby. Merstash also trying to keep other teams in check, trying to prevent them from getting involved in their current exchange.
They lose Flixie Surge? I mean, he probably didn't have
Trying to
much.
decide
And it was early
what's
enough
next
to where they'll be
for
alright.
this trio. They have
We'll
so
get it
many
back.
opponents in the surrounding areas.
I
They're
mean,
able
Vino
to just
literally
kinda
farmed like
take shots at the players that only
300
already
after
boxed
that.
out, but the ones surrounding them, they know they can't put themselves at risk though, as now
right,
Walks
well.
and Ping are going to be forced to go for that reboot
a reboot.
and make it back to zone.
They don't have any other options here, but the problem is that this is going to take so long. And not only that, but you could see what Ping and Walks are fighting for in the
Our
first
two of the
place.
top
Their
teams
very
are
first
have rebooted this game.
FNCS title to come this close.
That would
and
make
then
the win
watch it
even
just
better.
Slip through the cracks. It can be a tough break for
I think the fact
anybody.
that Vino and them are still alive though,
The
they're
good news is they were
probably
able to get that reboot. Hopefully we'll see them later on, but
that was
I'm also
really the only
thinking
chance.
Vanya,
This
Pixie,
Moneymaker killed them.
Marius. Now this is a trio in a similar situation. We've talked about Vanya. Has what it takes to be a champion, but hasn't
Pixie's
yet
getting
had
keyed.
the opportunity to showcase that on a global stage.
Who are these
and
young
being
lads?
Top two, what qualifies you to the global championship. Seeing also that Malabuka, Walks, and Ping are currently in that second place spot, 20 points above them going into this match. They want to not only have that chance to qualify to the global championship, but potentially even just take this tournament down themselves and really show what they're capable of.
Not trying to panic by any means. They just need to work it through calm and steady for this match 12. If they want to net the results that they're after. Chicho, Trulex, Tayson, though, a team that just has so much pedigree in name alone, and yet has largely struggled throughout the course of this Major One Finals. The Surge meta just working entirely against them.
That Surge looking like
Who was once seen as
yeah, they're chilling on
undoubtable
Surge.
GOAT. As now we look
Oh, and they get a free kill.
at Veno, Flixie, Vico, who have caught
The lead
Starkus off
extends.
guard, but
Wait.
they do have to be careful.
Wait, this
Once
is a
again,
trio.
Veno's been cracked. Another fight in the storm.
Uh-oh.
This trio
I don't
cannot
think they have
afford to
very
go
many
down
whites
again.
other
They've
than
already
the splashes on
recuperated
Vino.
that rough situation at the start of the match. They don't want it to happen again.
Oh, they're
Nefrizzi up above.
pushing.
Vico's gonna go for a shot here. Box is placed by Nefrizzi. He's playing on the defense now as Vico gets some shots connected onto him. 43 shield still to work with. Veno
Wait, I don't know if
looking
they have
back,
any whites.
Absolutely cracking
Unless
Starkus,
Vico
but
has
not
the
enough to
whites.
eliminate him.
Veno's just trying to finish what he started. Flixie knows that he's got Rakuzan in his sights, and finally, Veno is gonna get the finishing tag there. Big elimination.
No,
onto
no
Rakuzan.
shield off that.
Just gonna
Pixie's,
extend.
wow, Pixie's full dead.
Marius and Vanya are
Pixie,
out of
Marius,
the
Vanya are
count.
full dead.
Their hopes of maintaining
It's down to
a global
Malabuka, or else
championship
it's just
position
over already.
completely out the
It doesn't
window,
even
I would
matter,
say.
pretty much.
Going into this match in third place, getting knocked out before the second and first
Malabuka
place
got a
trio.
kill.
You can see the second place.
I think
one,
Malabuka and them are
Pingwalk
back.
Still looking healthy. And heartbreaking finish for Vanya, but that much
This
more
is very
motivation
sketch,
for
though.
these next tournaments. They already proved that they can get this close. All that's left
If
is
Frizzy
to
died in
finish it off
zone-
in the upcoming majors. For now, the eyes are on Malabuka, Pingwalks, Vico, Veno, Flixie. All these trios that are still in the match, looking to make something happen.
It's
Several
a
different
63-point
teams, though.
lead.
Malabuka Pingwalks, they want nothing to do with
Or
it.
43.
Shark and
Oh, it's the
Ju
same. Both have one
kind of
kill.
just directly next to them, but all these TPs flying forward.
Vino might be pretty shambles coming
bound
into
to draw
zone,
some
though.
attention
And I
from the
think
team
it's
that's
pulling
still
away from them.
up on Shogun's arena. Granted, Malabuka just trying to make quick work of it. Doesn't want to stick around and find out what might happen next.
Rift Island doesn't
I'm trying to get that split
close inside
screen.
of the zone here as Malabuka takes some shots.
We need that. We
rotating
need
on
that
in.
top 2 split screen.
But the focus for a lot of these trios is just to get in zone, but you gotta be careful.
Oh
on these
no,
rotates.
Walks.
Walks gets knocked down. His team doing what they can to build on out and keep him up. Small Fries getting dropped the double. Revive coming through, and I think
Alright, they're fine.
I can hold my breath a little longer. The match is not over for Malabuka, Ping, and Walks yet.
Dang, they got a fish here. They're kind of
Problem, though,
poor.
is at this time that they're gonna have to spend fishing to bring back some of those
Wait,
heals for
Flixie
later
dead.
on. And it's not time
Flixie
yet.
dead.
Vino
Vino's
has
won.
something to say.
Vino is
He's
won.
just trying to escape for the time being. They've been caught in
Flixie-
too much of an
Vino's about to
exchange
die.
here. Brutal boxcars just looking to teleport
Vico
out.
has 13 builds. They're dead. They're dead. They have to be dead here. I don't think they have any. Vino's the only one with HP. Vico's one. They have like 30 HP combined. 40. Oh my! It's over. It's over. Vico's won 5 HP. It's all up to Malabuka.
And a dream.
They are getting
Oh,
absolutely
no.
lobbied right now. These teams staying behind the rest. Vico
Oh no! 5
has
HP on Vico.
so
It's
much on
over.
his shoulders currently.
They
Because
need to
Ping
get
walks to
673.
Malabuka. Even if Malabuka did take the early
There's no way
spill,
he gets
he's
placement
still
out of this.
back in the running here.
They're gonna need to
His
get
team a little bit
673.
hurt
I think they have
to
point
losing
bug though.
Walks,
We're not
but
even gonna be able to see.
It's not an easy situation
Oh,
here.
no.
Vico knows exactly what he's
I
dealing
think Malabuka
with.
has point bug.
He doesn't want to risk this first place position. It is all down to
Panzer
as
and
many
Mongrel
points
dead.
as possible.
A 47-point difference between first place and second place. Vico, Veno,
673
Flixie being
is
in
the
that
number
first
to
place
beat.
spot. If they get eliminated right now, that will be all that Malabuka, Walks, and Ping need to take that #1 spot from them.
I mean, he's just trying
Everything
to
is on
edge
the line
in.
For Vico.
The problem is he has literally
Edging.
nothing here at Takata. There's no way that he's going to be able to finish with where this zone is pulling to. He's got to just hope that nobody
Yeah, they
even
do
scouts
have
out the
point
fact he
bug.
only has
Frick,
2
we're not
builds
gonna
left over.
know.
Walks, Ping,
Malabuka
they
dead.
lose him one more
They're getting
time.
pre-edited.
Walks and Ping, they've been here before.
It's over.
Walks wasn't
It's
expecting
over.
to go down
Vico's
with
dead,
them.
but it doesn't
Ping
matter.
left as a solo
It literally doesn't
now,
matter.
Just trying to separate from the rest of his team, but CZA
Wow,
chasing
everybody
him
just
out.
died
This is
in the last
tragic.
game.
Ping now not only has to clutch it out as a solo, but even if Vico ends up going down, which he did, now he has to get more than 40 points just
He
by
has
himself in this late
gotta
game.
get
If
670.
this happens, we might be witnessing one of the greatest solo clutches in Fortnite history.
The fact that he was able to shut
Queasy
down
needs an
CZB
11
though
kill
on
win.
that chase
Dude, if
attempt
Queasy wins
is
last game
huge.
to
He's
win,
at least managed to create a little bit of box space for
that would be a bit
himself.
diabolical.
He might even be able to get a big tag onto somebody that's
If he solo
rotating
clutches this
a little bit
win,
later as well.
how
to
many
at least
points
make sure
does
to go acquire some of that body loot
like he has
but
334, but like I don't. What is
interesting that
that?
he's opting to hold
What is that
on
combined though?
to the Fury as opposed.
Chad, what's
he probably just
334
wants-
plus
he
what they had
knows he needs to
yesterday?
be as aggressive as possible. The higher
How many
firepower
did they
is just
have
gonna bode
yesterday?
better
Can
for him
somebody
later
look
on.
real fast?
47 points, Taco. 47 points is what Ping has to clutch up as a solo right now.
He just
Actually,
got
could
another
get some
kill.
Potential mats here from Shakeoff. It's still 8
Or
zones.
is that a
So many
knock?
more placements to be made.
That was a
So
knock.
many more potential eliminations to get. The issue
He's
is
gonna
I don't
need
think
30
he has any
points.
spare shields. He really needs to find
So he
a
needs to get to
refresh recuperate some of
367.
those
Oh, he's
shields, but with
cooked.
the triple spray coming through,
It's over,
dropped down
brother.
to 41
Reboot.
HP and no way
F
to
it.
recuperate
Crash
it.
out.
There's no way, right?
He can't even think about it. He's got exclusively wood builds at this point. He's just trying to make as much box space as possible, but everybody's noticing the fact
Just use
that
the
these are all
reboot ban.
wood builds.
It's
They're
infinite.
trying to take out this solo.
There's no way,
in
right?
Desperate attempts. Desperate
Use the-
times call for
use the
desperate
reboot ban
measures
as, like,
after all.
leverage.
The reboot ban is an unrealistic opportunity.
He is
here
so
at Takada.
cooked.
He just doesn't have enough material to prevent himself
Bro,
from getting
every
locked in the
EU
process.
close grand
Yeah, even
finals, last
so,
game is like
his teammates would
so
get annihilated out of the sky the second
like shambles.
they go
Every
on
team
in.
is
But in
just
the
so
meantime, the Kings of Height,
Oh my gosh.
Murstache, Swizzy, Queasy,
Wow.
Murstache looking to keep history.
So they need an
taking
11 kill
home
win?
All the major one finals
What
on
gets
EU.
them to
He was
674?
able to do it in
11
the past
kills?
2 years. Can he do it once again? If they want to make that comeback, they need not only a victory royale, but they need to get double-digit eliminations, high double-digit eliminations to secure that as Ping continues with his solo clutch.
They also need Ping to just be eliminated already. What's this guy got? He has zero business still staying alive. First moving zone, just trying to break through these pre-existing builds. Hope nobody notices him. Pickaxing from behind.
Dude, Ping is just
hoping
so
to just
cooked.
gather whatever goods he might. And as he continues to break through these builds on the low ground, Takada, it is a miracle that he hasn't been spotted yet because he is one bump shot away from being eliminated.
The other thing to keep in mind
How
is
is
that
he
even
alive?
if he's not able to take that first place spot, if he can at least
GGs.
hold on to second, it might be enough.
They
to
might not even
solidify
qual
themselves a
land,
spot in
bro.
the global championship, but Ping goes down. If Murstache, Queasy, and Swizzy are able to win this game, it could at least put them in second place spot to qualify them to the global championship. But if they're able to get enough
Queasy needs more
eliminations,
kills,
it
though. They
might
need
just
more
be
kills.
possible to take that first place spot.
They've already started the process as well. 2 eliminations on Swizzy, but Murstache, he's just got to get up close and personal. He's got to start building up these elims. He's been building
Oh my
so
God, there's
many
one.
up to this stage.
They need
Gonna
more.
be
They
another
need
one
more.
claimed here. That's 4 more on the board potentially if he can finish them
Peter
off.
Ball
And there
roleplay,
is such
Peter
a
Ball
mess
roleplay.
taking place in this secondary height. Swizzy
Wait,
also
Swizzy's about
getting
to.
involved.
Oh my.
They have to play aggressive, and they know this. That's why
Dude, they
Murstache,
need
Swizzy
more.
are
They have
going straight
3.
down, looking for these eliminations. They not only want to secure that spot at the global championship, they want that blade of champions. They want to take it all the way home as they continue to maintain high ground. But you got to be careful. Pink.
Wait,
wants
Pink
it.
is chopping
He
them.
wants to just chop them out, if anything, the way that the zone is
Queasy's
pulling
dead.
over the hill. But Queasy,
Oh,
he's
no,
gonna find
Queasy.
himself in the victim seat. He's been
Aw,
knocked.
GGs.
Swizzy, Murstache, they're gonna have to run this one as a duo because it's gonna be Nebs and Pink taking over height. Murstache forced to drop. Murstache though pushing Pink back, but he gets eaten alive in the process.
I mean, it's gonna take us.
Teammate Swizzy, he's got
GGs,
his
it's
back.
over.
Look
Vino
at how
wins.
long the whole
Vino
trio
wins
goes
grand.
down. Is it gonna be enough to overthrow second place? As Demas, Pix, and Darm might have something to say about it.
Demas, Pix, and Darn, they've quietly been a part of the conversation, but the last couple of lobbies have not been in
Pink
their favor.
wins
Darn,
grands
though, with
for
no
Vino.
material, just trying to run around, but he can't buy enough time. Demas still left over, scattering, trying to see if he can pick up any goods. that
Demas
might have been
is so
left
dead.
over on the bodies.
GGs.
Big shots to connect,
Nebs is gonna
but
win last
he's
game.
just causing disaster for other teams that are fully intact. He won't
Payson's
be able to
alive
push
still.
through.
Trulex is dead.
Payson,
Chicho's about to
Chicho
die.
doing what they can. They
Payson
weren't
kills
able to close out
Yanis.
these end games. They were so
Payson
good at
kills
getting to them.
Adam.
Payson, are you kidding me? Showing why he's known as one of the greatest Fortnite players of all time, trying to get out from the low ground, forced in zone, as now he has a small fry. He has an
Small
Oni
fry
mask
in
to
zone,
retake the
W.
high ground. It's gonna come through.
And
Can
he's
he
on
stay
height.
up?
And he's dead.
Blind teleport to the front side though, and Nebs all too quick to try and pick
Nebs
him off
versus
for
Cade
it.
for the
Cade,
win.
Cringe, Mappy underneath, Chino, Nebs, they've got to try and close this one out, but Cade, he's actually gonna fall. Chino might actually do it.
Pink, Nets,
GGs.
Chino, they
Pink
close it
wins.
out. Take
Alright, chat. Final leaderboard. Vino, Vico, Flixie win on 673. Ping Walks Malabuka gets second place on 648. Vanya, Pixie, Marius finished on 622. Swizzy, Queasy, Murstache finished fourth on 608. Pixstorm, Dimas finished fifth on 572. Contry, Finnick, Uppel finished sixth on 523. Trulex, Tayson, and Chicho bring it all the way back to finish in seventh. Mongo, Mr. Savage, Panzer finished 8th. I Drop Sky Scroll finished 9th. And CZB, Eclipse, Nathan finished 10th. GG's. So Vico wins. GG's. They win. Naku finishes in 11th. Pink finishes in 12th because of that win. Grippy 13th. Mixon 14th. Chap 15th. Chris 16th. Dynas 17th. Rax 18th. Robin 19th. And Banjiki 20th. GG's, bro. Dang, so Akira, is it top 27 or 25 for money? Top 25. So Seti ends up making money and Akira doesn't. Unlucky. Unlucky, brother. That second place just helped Cade make money. He made money because of that. Yeah, if Marius and them win yeah, if they win 2 games, they make land. Or two with kills, yeah, with the kills. Unlucky, dude. Alright, that is back-to-back FNCS wins for Flixie and Vico. Back to back. Ew, these count as FNCS in this? That's gross. That's actually gross. Chad, that was Vino's 3rd win, right? Third GG's. Am I staying live until NA? Not sure, bro. Alright, let's update the overlay for later. NA game number 7. Alright, chat. NA is in 2 hours. 2 hours from now. Brazil starts in 1 hour. Cash out prediction. Group. Alright, I'm going to be ending my YouTube stream. I might stay live until NA. So if you guys want to keep watching, make sure to come over to the Twitch stream. Same exact name. But I will be back live for NA in 2 hours. So if you guys want, I'll be back live on YouTube in 2 hours. I just got to like change the thumbnail and everything. So I'm just going to end stream. But EU stream on YouTube. I'll see you guys later for NA.